champion. We haven't even seen who wins in this first bout. We haven't even seen who goes out to Riyadh. But I'm going to tell you now, whatever you're expecting is... It's going to be greater. Whatever we see here is going to be greater than whatever you have going on in your heads, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't wait to see it. Again, BLACKLIST International, MINANA EVOS. We had an amazing opening, and I can't wait to talk more about this game. But first, like we always do, the tradition, let's welcome out our marshals, of course, to keep the fairness and the integrity of the game upon us. And it's our boys doing an amazing job once again to kick us off in the playoffs here. It's Jeff, Chico, Patrick, Wilbert, and man, they're just as excited to see this all unfold. Now, let's go ahead and welcome out the teams to the stage.
When the world said they were dusted and done for, they redefined the ultimate bonding experience into something deadly. Championship mindset activate. It's BLACKLIST International.
I'm gonna talk about this shit because I want to focus on the
They finished their 3 seasons long story of returning to the playoffs, but can they prove that to make it past play-ins, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, you can break the code instead. Roar for MNNE EVOS! This match is the first elimination match of the play-ins round, and it's a best of 5 series. The coaches are Coach Bonchan and Coach Imba DJ. Champion Serena, who will be the first to fall? Who will survive? BLACKLIST International versus MNNE EVOS.
Hello, narinig niyo ako? Wait lang. Wait lang, mali yung
And
button ko
there we have it. The teams are ready to rock and roll here, but let's start it off by roll calling BLACKLIST International.
That's Oheb on the goal lane, Sensui on the jungle, Yue on the mid lane, Edward on the XP, and of course Haji on the roam. These guys looking really incredible. Obviously, the younger generation of BLACKLIST International, they have actually been proving really real soon. Sensui on the Frederick, will it be available today? And maybe, I wonder if they have other things in store for us.
Well, let us know, because what's in store for across from them from MNNE EVOS, Leo?
Oh, not to sound clingy, but
Bala,
I missed
okay
this
na?
lineup. MNNE EVOS, the last time we saw Doming, Kaizen, Lancey, Kurt, and Spider Miles on the field was pre-patch. We have yet to see this main 5 from MNNE EVOS, the archives lineup play in the new meta. So I'm excited. I'm refresh these numbers. Throw them out the door. It's because we don't know how they interact with the new meta. Coach Imbadije, Coach Bitoy, Coach Super Kurt have something up their sleeves.
I love that you pointed it out, because that obviously changed the course of those last couple of weeks of the regular season. We saw some changes, of course, go through MNNE EVOS, but this time, and even when we look at the team head-to-head, man, we can't actually take all this for face value just yet because of how things have changed. But real quick, anything that stands out here when you look at this breakdown?
I'll tell you the truth. When you look at the numbers, BLACKLIST trumps MNNE EVOS, but you can't say that again just by saying they beat him out. MNNE EVOS have been able to pull out miracle wins throughout regular season.
Yep.
Actually, the more stability, in terms of score stability, I feel like MNNE EVOS actually come out on top. BLACKLIST International have been able to get to this spot, but through, like you mentioned, like quite high effort, lucky breaks sometimes. So I feel like MNNE EVOS, definitely those numbers really did not do them justice.
Yeah, and let's see, because these guys, we saw the anatomy of a legend if you joined us for that opening part leading into this. Haji and Spider Miles. We know really the impact that Haji has had overall in his career, and Spider Miles, for some viewers out there, especially internationally, you know, they saw him for the first time really in this season, maybe for some of them, but they saw how much of an impact, because I remember getting questions before like, man, Spider Miles is just getting banned out like what they've seen previously from the team across from them in history, right? Is he that good on these roams, on these roam picks? And that answers the question. The respect is there, but also we have to dig into the keys to victory here brought to us by Infinix.
You gotta change the question.
Guys,
It's not if Spider-Mouse
Wait lang
is
ako
good.
dito sa
Is he
ano.
still good? The
Wait lang
patch
sa Discord.
has not been kind to many different strategies. I'm looking at Nolan. I'm looking at Joy. But here we are with the Infinix.
Hello.
Blacklist has to continue challenging MINANA EVOS' identity. Check if that's still what they want to
Hello?
do after that patch.
Hello.
Pinyagan ngayon for another 5 to 10 games at least dahil nga ito nga ang power or ang kaya ng Western format.
At mukhang gusto natin yon kasi this is a play-ins and remember, ang mananalo dito
Eh,
ay
mag-i-start
isa
na
pa
yung drafting phase. Sabi natin yung drafting phase na lang.
Plus, adjust ang mga tao dito sa South. Kaya naman gugustuhin natin yung best of 5 na dire-diretso.
Sulit-sulit na dahil ako ng taga-Midwell.
Rinig, medyo mahina lang konti.
Pero ngayon dito kami ngayon sa South. O yung mga South dyan, meron ba? Ito, ayan, tuwa sila ngayon.
Tuwan-tuwa
Ayun
ang mga
nakangiti, yung
taga-South.
mga taga-South.
Tuwan-tuwa. Yung mga taga-North ang nahirapan dito.
Wala kang problema, Tagalog yung English.
Mga taga-North, no? Di ba?
Meron din, may nag-adjust din.
Oo, marami nag-adjust. Speaking of adjustment,
Market
yung mga
daw, bro.
Blacklist International.
Market.
One of them will go on forward
Ayun,
to
entire
play
season.
against
First half of
Onyx.
the season.
Onyx waiting for them.
Bawa-
And
Pero
you're gonna see
nothing is
here
happening.
as
Di naman, malinaw yung sa'yo. Yung sa akin, okay lang.
Now we saw
Malabo
the
sa'yo.
impact.
Malabo. Wait lang, check natin.
You know, the statistics were there, Leo.
Yeah, 53% of games in the regular season were won by blue side. And on
Na parang
paper,
napakadali para sa kanila na hanapin kung paano ka ba talaga yung magiging strategy nila dun sa isa.
Si Ash nawala, nag-run out daw sa kanila.
Dahil ang available na ang live
This might actually
secure
be playing
rewards
to the
ng
strength
MLB,
of
solid
their
ang road, MLB.
endurance.
Good
They're
call.
going
Para
5
makasali
games.
sa
They
goodie
know
bag
that.
lottery
So now
at
they want to
magkaroon ng
start off
chance of
strong. Maybe get that
magtagumpay.
point in.
Kahit nanonood ka sa venue, pwede kang pumunta sa TikTok. Alam namin
Let's
may
see if
date
that
ka,
happens, but
pumunta lang
also
sa
for all
MIO
you guys
Philippines.
watching
Ganda ng ano kanina, ng intro.
To our official TikTok page, join the
At
lottery.
i-click
That's right,
ang
just open your
Parang pinamukha sa ibang bansa na wala kayong naihingat man eh.
Yo! Tinatago na namin kanina pa kami nanginginig na gamitin yung mga bagay na dala namin ngayong araw eh.
Diba? Nako, may sumasali kahit nanonood dito.
Hello.
Power up!
Sobrang importante na.
Yan, Gojo!
Madami nagpower.
You there?
I'm the only bubuyog.
Oo, alam nga. Yung mga North and we nag-adjust ngayon sa South. Yung dalawang teams yung medyo nag-clear na.
Maganda pala boss.
Rinig, malinaw.
Naririnig pala sa mukha pala.
Yeah, so I think ang pwede natin gawing argument dito para kay Spider-Man is nawala ba yung init ng last 2 games or mas uminit ba?
Or baka habang may hidden pala sila na ginagamit na strategy, tinago nila, may bago silang pinalabas na hero.
Yan, mag-i-intro lang ako sa mga ano ko. Tayo mga viewers.
Players, excited ako. Makakita ng mga bagong hero. Excited ako makita yung laban.
Anong oras na rin kasi? 4 p.m.
Ayan, good afternoon sa mga viewers namin. This is Chelsea Gaming, Kuneho TV at saka Goju sa Puro Place. Ito ng dropping pace. Rinig naman siguro malinaw na malinaw.
At mga bus dyan sa may Zapone area kasi nga drop na, ayun na, first ban. I like it, I like the ban of Viva DJ Hero. It's the Arlot, respecting Hadi Ibang sabi na huwag malaro na si Hadi.
Spider-Mouse onto other heroes. Obviously, Spider-Mouse is able to really deal with it. But you know what? It just does affect how they kind of draft around.
Yeah, but again, if it's an unknown enemy you're facing, you gotta check in what kind of information you have. So with the Angela ban, the Faramis ban, and the Matilda ban, they're respecting both the
Hello, guys.
firepower that
Wait lang.
Lancy can bring
Ayusin ko
in,
lang.
and of course, what Spider-Mouse is known for. First pick up for Blacks International, we're waiting for that. They are known to just lock in the Fredrin since it is open. Givritson Sui has a pretty good win rate on that. And there it is.
There it is, locked in. Fredrin picked up. Old Faithful, if you will, right? The 79 times, 85% contention rate. Fredrin is still him for that jungle pick. We'll see what the answer is going to be, though, for MINANA EVOS. And I'm just admiring, real quick, the effects we have behind us that we have seen in the past as well on the monitors. I'm looking at the crowd's reaction, man. They are loving it. So with that, I'm wondering, does MINANA EVOS specifically pick up their jungle pick now? Can they wait for it? Do they just want to go ahead and lock in? Okay, that sounds like they're going to go this route anyway. Picked up Barrett's and the Moskov.
Yeah, Moskov has been building up stock all around the world. The one time that he has been seen in MPL Philippines, first picked up by Kelra from Fnatic Onyx, did not do so well in the regular season. This time around, they're looking to correct that and build up the stock of this monstrous menace in the gold lane.
It's actually very difficult to deal with here. A lot of times when the Moscow goes past 15 minutes, 18 minutes, you can really expect...
Wait guys, I'm still
speed scales up so quickly.
Yeah, it's
I'm still fixing this
one of the biggest things is when you utilize that ultimate, right?
audio.
The timing on it. It's great that it's
And I'm trying to make a thumbnail.
Also, you've seen it not work in favor of teams that do like to pick up the Moscow here.
Isa sa busy na.
Edith, likely to go into the roam. And of course, they pick up the Vexana. That is US #1 hero. An astronomical number of reps.
Kaya medyo natagalan tayo guys eh.
Win rate.
Medyo busy tayo eh.
BLCK International.
Even with the patch, right? Like, people have already been used to seeing Vexana in the mid lane. And obviously, with that Edith, kind of still flexible. XP lane still pretty good.
This is
Paano
still the
pag-prepare ng
Sensui
ano?
instincts, gentlemen. You saw there, he is leading. Sensui leads the steals in Lord's.
Hindi tayo nakapag-prepare ng thumbnail.
And, you know, that's something you have to keep an eye on, because if you were watching during that week when we talked specifically about Sensui Ultra Instinct, he's able to pull some miraculous steals off, and it's kind of crazy that you actually need to keep an eye on that specifically against Sensui alone. And so with that, to round out that first phase, Minotaur is going to be picked up and locked in for MINANA EVOS.
Oh, that's a hero that Blacklist actually favors banning. They like banning Minotaur, 4th most banned for them across the regular season. So now that Spider Miles has a hero in his hands that he's very comfortable with, I'm wondering if Kaiser's actually been playing the Barats, because Kurt can actually switch it up. Look at this Hellkurt ban. The Hellkurt ban, ladies and gentlemen, is explained by the fact that usually now Hellkurt is put in the roam role. And
Who did that?
Who did that?
Right?
I like the stream, guys.
Into the XP lane, call it a day, and then pick up that Hellkurt. It's very doable.
Yeah, I think this is one of the major things that happened after the patch. Like, people have been starting to really explore it, especially in other regions.
Yeah.
Right? Indonesia's first one to feel the impact of this hero revamp.
Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Hellkurt slip through the cracks throughout at least these next 5 days for the playoffs and have an impact, of course, you know, with the way that's changed. So these last couple bans are going to come out here. We know gold lane's still up for grabs. We saw so much Harith before. It is banned out this time around. So I'm wondering, right, what do you want to match up against the Mozkov for Blacklist International?
All right, Blacklist International, you're looking at their choices. You can put a Nathan, you can put a Claude onto Oheb here, and both are solid pickups. I don't think any of them are banned.
Thank you.
Choices. But check this out, the CC.
Can hear the casters. Is it loud? Is it loud?
And the fact that MINANA EVOS are onto it makes sure that the engagement on the Barats aren't as easily punished. So there's no bad targets for them to dive onto.
Wow. Yeah. Those stats.
I can lower it down.
I know you were reacting to those as well, Rockhard, because who's in the crowd cheering there?
We have a very interesting crowd here for Blacklist International. Some homecoming.
I was gonna say, it's funny seeing them out there, right?
Yeah, a little bit crazy.
Of course, but so, and I like the fact that you have this discussion of the different shades of Ube, because you're gonna see that obviously go head to head here in this matchup. But even so, with the Minotaur locked in, like you guys said, you guys saw the stats there, the healing potential with this Minotaur pick, especially once that Flask of the Oasis is locked in, it's hype. And look at that. There it is, the Royal Duo out here to support Blacklist, of course.
And one of Manjean's teammates, or no, enemies. Not teammates.
Sorry.
Bitter rivals.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
There it is.
There's the Yuzhong. He's gonna dive onto the Vexana.
Sorry, guys.
Gold laner on Blacklist might be, so can hunt down the Nathan, can hunt down the Claude, if ever. That's on Kirk. I wonder. They're still looking for a gold laner here and an XP laner.
Okay.
Man, that's a really bulky lineup we have here right now for MINANA. And
So busy clipping chicken and basic.
Go ham.
Yeah,
that's why.
You can put a Benedetta on Edward here.
You could. Oh, there's the Claude.
What did I say? I hate it when I'm right. Oh, wait, what? Where's the Benedetta?
Wait,
no,
is this
the Benedetta?
I was going to say, is, you know, we
Oh,
saw this
Khalid.
in the regular season where it showed Khalid but it was the Benedetta, so we'll have to wait.
So which is which?
Which is which?
It's Benedetta. It's written there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's
All
a
right.
Benedetta.
Okay.
I take it back. I hate it.
Rewind. All right, that's locked in. And yeah, and the Claude too, of course, being picked up here for Oheb, going against that Moskov. And now this last pick, what are we feeling from Minana?
Very
Still need a
heavy.
mid laner, gentlemen. And the Valentina is the last one left. No Faramis,
Yeah.
no Lo Yi,
No
no
Novaria.
Lilia,
Not
no
even
Novaria,
Lilia, right? So
no Vex.
wow,
That's all that's left.
that is a tricky position Minana's in right now in terms
Put
of
the
mid
Val.
lane.
And then if you pick the Valentina, there's nothing to steal.
So Lancey, what's in your pool, man? What's in your pool?
Okay, that was definitely a not a what I was thinking.
Aurora.
Wait, Aurora. Okay.
All right.
This has actually experienced a pick already here for a few teams already.
TNC Pro.
Yeah.
This is best of 5, guys.
Pretty good.
Best of 5, best of 5.
Optimistically speaking, it was pretty good.
On its own, just on its own, right? It
Yeah.
didn't really mesh well with a comp. That's a problem.
In a vacuum, yes.
Yeah, so
If you think about it, the amount of CC here from MINANA EVOS is devastating.
Through the roof, actually.
Yeah, because you have Daytona's Welcome. You can lock down someone exactly when you want to, and then of course into the Glacier, into
Wait,
every
guys,
other
wait, guys.
piece of CC you have available to you. So
Still
I feel like that's
fixing
one
the
of biggest
thumbnail.
challenges that Blacklist International has to approach this, and I think that's why even the Claude works so great, because you can kind of go in and out, you know, pull little Bobby tricks, if you will. But you know, with that, I think it's really playing around the multitude of CC that's going to be thrown at Blacklist International if they want to go ahead and grab this first game victory here. So, you know, all you watching in the chat right now, let us know who you think is going to go ahead and win this series. Starting off with this first game, is it going to be MINANA EVOS? Is it going to be Blacklist International? Who gets that first blood in the series in the first best of 5? Remember, it's an elimination match ahead of us, and I feel like people have been waiting for this.
But also remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
You gotta take your time with your strats, gotta take your time with your endurance, because also take note, whoever wins is facing off against a fresh, fanatic Onyx that's been watching from the sides.
And
so,
yeah.
Hydrate, basically.
Something to note, the lineup on MINANA EVOS, yes, definitely has a lot of CC on it.
Yeah.
But is it reliable damage that's coming up after? You're only really looking
Nice.
at the Aurora.
Okay
What
now.
if one of them gets popped prior to the major engagement?
I mean, that's the thing, right? MINANA EVOS' lineup feels very powerful, but it has to be done in a very specific order. That crowd control cannot all go in at the same time.
That's right.
And if that chain gets disrupted, it can really be deadly.
I think that's why, again, if you're MINANA EVOS, Barrett's alone. Barrett's in the Fredrin. Like, the beginning turtle dances alone are so crucial with this. Because, again, we're talking about it's Sensui for one. He's on that they picked it up first pick. So you really want to be able to establish your momentum if you're MINANA EVOS going forward here. And that starts with that first objective, that first turtle.
Yep, not to mention that this is Sensui's Fredrin.
Kahit na bumabata, malinaw naman.
The support emblem, which will ensure its nigh off cooldown dashes much faster.
Yeah.
Mechanics. And I think that's what explains Blacklist lineup rating.
Yan, good afternoon sa mga viewers dyan kay Kuneho TV. This is Chessy Gaming, start na ng game number 1.
We'll do this at any point in the game. As for MINANA EVOS, there's at least
Wait,
2 or 3 lines
basag daw yun sa'yo, pre.
and entry
Sige.
Medyo malabo.
Okay.
A lot of it actually does rely on like really good shot calling.
So na start na ng game number 1.
Our teams. Let's see if that's gonna change here today.
Ito na! Let's go!
Ready. We're here to kick off into the Champions Arena. It's the first match, an elimination match for Blacklist International and MINANA EVOS. Both teams
Yan, kasama si Kuneho TV ngayon.
as we get ready for this, we'll have to keep track.
Yan, malinaw na feedback.
Things getting settled in on the jungle specifically. And real quick too.
Ang aabangan natin dito ngayon sa yung ni Haji as a roamer ulit.
Kaya nga medyo umuubo ako guys ha.
With a let me hold my
medyo umuubo kasi
Fredrin with Thrill. So he's trying to make up for the lack of cooldown with just reliable damage early on.
And that can work actually. Pure damage, every one of your shots can do a lot more. Kirk with a kill though.
Kirk
Whoa.
pulled the full combo.
Mainit ito ah.
Already, leading into this, I was like,
Magaling talaga yung Kurt na yan.
gets the momentum
Parang
going.
ano,
They can
yan yung ano eh, isa sa mga factor ng ano eh, Minana eh. Yung Kirk.
But Kirk is sat
Kaya nga,
on his chair.
advantage siya dito kung ano, early game yung harassment na laging ginagawa ng Minana. Iba kasi yung ginagawa ng TNC dati.
Matchup, obviously, Yuzhong not so great.
Kumbaga, early game, magandang ano eh. Alam natin ano, during mid to late game.
But you know what? That was
Ito, 4v1, nag-sip, pumasok si Haji, makukuha si Kirk.
the majority of Minana players going up on top.
Makakuha ba dalawa? Dadalawa ang babaksak.
Responding. Minana Evos already going for
Tatlo.
so this is how they're going to try to expedite that whole communication line issue. They're just going to always be going on ube mode.
Yan is,
Oh!
Three-man knock
takot yun, ang ganda ng pasok ni Haji kanina.
It is massive right now. Obviously,
Yun,
a
no?
little bit of time being bought here,
Ito,
and
patay.
the kill being picked up as well.
Pero ito, papasok pa ba? Ikot. Tulog na masyado yun.
Na-target ba nila mamaya?
That's the shades of Ube we're talking about. I'm still going.
Nice one.
Go just non-stop.
Ganda ng ginawang set niya na ba ni Haji?
Crowd control available for
Oo,
tonight.
ang pasok niya, uhan dalawa agad.
Dalawa.
No damage follow-up. That is Trill going over the blacklist.
Oh my goodness. What a start. A little messy, a little chaotic.
Kaya nga sa Chelsea Gaming, kasama natin yung si Conejo TV and nakalive din tayo sa kanya. Kami ang makakasama niya ngayon sa bakbakan ng Black versus Minana. This is elimination round.
Rotating up
Ang matatapos ay naglagan. Wala nang second chance to.
A false sense of security. They thought they could Uber their way for
Ang mananalo dito, naghihintay mamaya is
fam, check it out.
bagong bago yung Onyx PH.
21. And they got
Pero hindi ko na yan
It
siguro.
was actually a pretty good timing because
mahaba.
some of the
Best of
members
five
of
to eh.
Minana were not level
Best of my bed, dito pa lang sulit na yan.
or they saw an opportunity and they went for it.
That's right. They thought they got it, but Blacklist read the room and saw the entry.
Pag tinarget ba nila yung season 2, may hirapan sila. Pustahan
In
tayo.
recovery mode. That does not mean that this the second.
Kasi possible, kung susunod na targetin nila, ewan natin, bukas pa rin si Edward at saka si ano eh, si Oheb.
Check these bushes.
Hindi na lang ano yan.
That item pickup
Si
already
Oheb.
from Edward.
Si Oheb
Has
ano
that
yan eh.
Albert available now. So,
Wala, may
he
hero pa yan eh.
he
Hindi
was
nila
the
tatarget
first
ba
blood
niya?
Minana.
Baka
Then he
tatarget ba
gets
nila
2
dyan sa
kills
Suwi?
out of the last exchange, and now
Limited hero ko lang din yan eh.
the problem at least with that early sustainability provided.
Malawa yung competitive mamaya ni ano ni Sensowi pag nagkataon pag tinarget ban mamaya yun.
Sana lang kung may tago sila.
Kasi ba kung may iniit kasi kung hindi mo pa ilalabas ngayon, delikado ka, kung meron pa pumasok na yung Minana, Sensowi, baksak!
The Appraiser has been the most winningest hero for the better part of the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Has it been that long?
Yep, and this stat is going to be true for most matchups. But wait, check it out.
Magandang early game to sa parehong side. Wala pa naman nakakalabang sa gold lead sa atin. Parehong 3-3 yung kill.
Or will he? Are you trapped here with me, or am I trapped here with you? Or have that the other way around? So right now, obviously Minana fighting back, showing at least they have some
Yan,
fighting.
pero yung Kirk ang ano dyan.
At least get Sensui down from that.
Hello, Gobta.
Still whittling down the cold a little bit. It wasn't anything crazy.
Hello,
to begin with, but now
Gobta.
that this objective is up.
I like the
Turtle is
stream.
up here.
Well, how long did it take?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, shout out
How
to
many heroes did they send?
Good point.
you know, anything is better than nothing from another.
Kanina eh, may mga viewers na ako, kaya alam.
How that last exchange
Nawala.
went minutes ago, so they're gonna go ahead and start.
Kaya saan?
Both teams getting in position.
Shoutout sa 18 viewers sa Chelsea Gaming. Ito second total na, no?
Just farming up.
Key pickups on the mid lane.
Saan ka na sa Facebook?
He just picked up a necklace of Durans. So you're gonna stop Kirk, you're gonna stop Miles.
Facebook ka nag-live?
Even Kaizen
Yep.
from
Nasabang.
getting some healing on. And
Facebook at saka YouTube.
First pick up, the Queen
Parehas.
of Kings. So he knows
Ano ka na sa
that he
YouTube?
the target more often than not. So he has 2 layers now of protection from
Naka-multi-stream.
shield and that passive. But look at that, Blacklist finessing a free
Ito Sensowi, nakatago, makakuha ba si Pep, pinapoke lang.
Sometimes that's something that
Spider-Miles pala.
So nakakuha dito, Yahagis!
that could be deadly and
Si Spider-Miles ang...
It's a good,
Yun, nagkakabakbakan, naipit si Haji.
Because really for Lancey, You want to just go ahead and
Hindi.
freeze off if you can, and then drop the, drop the ultimate. Try to
Para.
freeze down as much as you can. Okay, they're
Oh,
not.
Sa nadali, dalawa sa blacklist.
He's gonna come in clutch. Good
Ayun,
freezing
goal kasi
coming in
Nino, walang
from
ano.
MNNE, and the damage is true. Not even Haji can
Oh
withstand
my
it.
God.
Zui falling soon as well. Kirk with a double kill.
Man, MNNE EVOS striking back here, and yes, Kirk back on the board.
Yan si shoutout kay Ash. Si Ash, dito na rin. Welcome sa ating live stream si Ash. Ash Bulldog Lagoon.
But they lose
Hey, what's
the
up, what's up?
battle up
Cheers,
top.
Hi, guys.
Zero was just
Hello.
his way into a turret tank, setting up
Think
another
about it,
amazing turtle for Blacks
Hello.
International. That's the long lane. Edward has been living in the long lane ever since he won the Season 7 championship. They pioneered the Lord Dance. So now we're going to see them take control of the lower lane too.
That is a lot of gold going to their pockets.
Oheb, palo si Oheb ah.
Getting ready to set up a fight maybe. But don't forget, Blacklist also has a free-man unit that's quite strong with crowd control. They can get even an internal guard on their side.
This is funny because, both teams have their own forms of Ube here. This is like the most action Ube playstyle has seen early on, I feel like. For the most part, like usually it's a slow kind of build up. Hold on, Kirk.
Oh, Kirk is fighting, and Edward just taking him easily. 1v1, mano-y-mano, no problemo here.
Wait, he had ult, but he just, he wouldn't be able to get away with the dragon form?
He had ult and he had Petrify. That is an interesting turn of events.
Yeah, slow down a bit here, and nom goes the dinosaur here. Kaizen fighting off again. That crowd control we're talking about here. MNNE is really coming in strong here. But here comes Oheb with that blazing duet, just tearing it up quite easily here for Blacklist. And that's another tower down. So much gold inside of the agents.
Okay, in that very engagement wherein you could have
Grabe yung pili ng mga tao ah.
two turrets standing in
Wala, malaki talaga fanbase ng Blacklist International talaga eh. Wala talaga
yes, there was an amazing Minoan Fury.
naman
Was the damage going to
yung fanbase ng Blacklist talaga solid.
for a good solid second and a half?
Rinig na rinig sa sa
That's because
mga mic ng mga casters yung sigawan ng mga tao sa sa venue.
Kaya nga eh.
clearly behind. For the first time I think in this 8-minute bout,
Nahihirapan ako, napapaubo ako.
thinking to do.
Yeah, and I think even when you
Wala, normal yan. Kahit ka sinisip pa naman.
Kaya nga eh.
see that a lot of the heels going for Spider Miles.
Pero ito, may mahuhuli ba? Pumasok dito si Dominic. Pinok lang ni Edward.
This Edith pick is paying dividends so
Grabe yung mga insides dito nila. In at ni Edward.
and so we'll see how the adjustments come through.
Pero nadali si Edward. Napabaksak. Pero si Uwe, nakakuha naman ng Torre. Magandang trade din para sa kanila.
Oh, that combo
Yun, no?
like the final
Wala, di na kaya si Edward.
actually gone a lot done.
Palo si Edward.
Support the Spider Mouse. He will be fine. And they're going for the re-engage. Great stun here coming in from Doming. No assist whatsoever needed. But look at that.
Tangin si Oheb oh.
Again by Blacklist, man.
Ooh, it looks like they want to go straight for the judge.
Wala na, diretso ni Oheb yan.
Bottom lane inhibitor. But Blacklist
So na 35 seconds for
Baka
the first load.
lane tier 1. Interestingly, the map is rubber banding. The map is going back and forth. Oh, Doming!
Very heavily. Doming now.
Doming.
Said, you can't really do much here. Sui trying to make sure his presence is known. Maybe try to attempt a hit here, but no. He went close by Oheb.
Tingin ko magiging below 15 minutes ka itong laban na to. Masyadong mabilis na eh.
Ready for this
Ha?
Kasi best of 5 para iwas pagod. Kasi yung manalo nga, naghihintay pa yung ulit mamaya eh.
Kaya nga, bibilisan nila yan.
the dance for this award here because we know Black International is going to want to go ahead and start that up and see how things go. We're seeing the breakdown here too between the gold laners falling into place. Now, positioning wise,
Check.
Yan, shout kay Ash.
Hello, Ash.
Kay Chelsea at Kuneho, grabe. Parang
Welcome.
bilisan.
Hindi nga ako mapagsalita masyado eh. Puro ano lang ako eh, react.
Mga commentators lang kami. Nandito na kasama ating professional shoutcaster. Si Ash Bulldog Lagoon. Pwede niyang bisitahin ng kanyang page.
Sa TikTok ako ngayon eh.
Ah,
Goals pero yun
nako.
na nga, 10 minutes
Nako,
and 20 seconds.
ano yan, mahirap yan kasi nagmumura ako eh. Bawal sa TikTok ba yun?
Wala bro.
Ay, hindi
Pwede
naman.
yata yun.
Kasi minsan nagbibisaya din ako eh. So,
okay lang. Pero siguro, shoutout kay Ma'am Angel at sa lahat ng mga bumubuo ng MPL Philippines. At syempre follow nyo din po, Chelsea Gaming sa Facebook at sa mga socials, Kunayo TV din. At syempre shoutout din ko sa
Hello, Melvin.
Place.
Oh, be-wise
Live tayo sa
na,
TikTok. Pero yun na nga.
No, dyan. Blacklist supporter ng mga yan eh.
Pero ito, klasa kalahati na ang Lord. Parehong tinatansya ng magkabilang team. Sinusukat dito si Sensui. Maganda PS dito ng MINANA EVOS. Pero nagsusubok sa bottom lane. Si Domeng, gumagawa ng diversion play. Pero pumasok na si Pep.
It's going to be thrown by MNNE EVOS is what's crucial here that BLACKLIST International avoids, and that's why they're taking this so slowly. They want to build up and
Ang sakit at dalawa, bumaksak at naman ang down sa side ng MINANA EVOS. Naipit si Kurt dito.
Uy! Skirt na natitira oh. Ako, putang na. Uy!
Kaya ba to?
Lord!
Putang inang yan. Yun lang!
Ganda ng ng bakbakan sa midlane dito.
Lagi, kunat ng Fredrin eh.
What a disaster!
Ayan, nag-2-1. Talaga nag-bite lang si Kurt doon.
what looks like a great setup.
Grabe, no?
Kasi yung kasi siya, ilalapit lang yung mga minions sa torre. Hindi makukuha yung mid lane nila eh. Naga nice play sa ginawa niya na ba ni Kurt. Tamang buy time lang muna.
Kaya nga eh. Ayun no? Dahil ganda ng ulti ni Edward eh.
The last minute entry by Domeng almost paid off, but check this out right here.
Ito, mali yung ginawa ni Kirk doon. Dapat hindi siya, no?
Like a trampoline. No, to be
Si
fair,
Haji inanap
at
niya.
some level,
Si Haji, kasi ang halos si Haji nasa likod na rin eh.
out their members.
Ang tinarget kasi niya eh. Ang tinarget ni Kirk, yung Yusong, yung Fredrin, dapat yung ano eh, malalambot eh.
Backline.
Kasi hindi na nakakapak sa backline ng Blacklist. It's either haharang si Haji at saka si Edward. Kaya protektado yung backline ng Blacklist dito.
Ganda rin kasi ng ulti ni Edward doon.
Be able to clear lanes pretty well with this lineup here. So for BLACKLIST International, they just have to be happy with what they were able to get themselves and play around this gold lead now that they've secured.
Very least, you know what, MNNE EVOS don't need to panic too much because Moscow scales so well.
Yeah.
They can drag this out to 20 minutes, they'll be fine for sure.
Again, going off of that
Ito, slow push yung ginagawa dito ng Blacklist International. Hintayin natin yung next Lord bago sila mag-engage. Or depende kung makakuha mamaya ng kill before the Lord. Possible to diretso ng Blacklist International.
penetration at 15 or 16. That's the worst case scenario.
As long as they don't get wiped out, maybe.
Yeah,
You know?
best case, Doming is able to work the side lanes, get a split push in, and then even try that same play again.
Ha?
They did
Ano yan?
Because again, it looks like it worked. All they needed to do was not get jumped.
Yeah.
Actually looks so good. Yeah.
But they're so good at that, Lord. They're so good.
Ano yan, Vanica?
We saw shades of Blacklist doing this in week 1, 2, and 3 of the regular season.
Yep.
And now it looks like they're back in shape.
They're back in shape, and you saw what they were able to get off that Lord advantage. Getting the space, getting the gold, and for MNNE EVOS, you even saw how much damage Domeng has done when he's compared, of course, over here to Oheb. Now, Oheb, it's a little bit harder because obviously you're just trying to get those stacks and then go in with that Blazing Duet, BMI on out of there. Domeng's positioning is so much more crucial.
Pero ito, magkakatingin. Naramdaman, dahil nandoon sa bush. Domeng nakabang si Uwe at si Haji. Nasa Lord area na, nasa Lord pit na dito. Si Oheb and Sensui.
They're quite tanky. They're quite durable.
That's true.
Patay to, patay. Patay to! Oh! Putang ina, nakaramdam. Nakaramdam.
This is game sense. This is game
Putang ina, patay sa
And
akin.
you don't make it to the Champions Arena without having to cut your teeth, all right?
Cut your teeth?
It's a saying.
Is it?
I think.
Wow.
I heard my mom say it one time.
Narinig yun, narinig sa audience.
Looking at
Narinig sa audience eh.
the long lane work.
Nagsigawan.
Oo, nagsigawan eh.
Nakaramdam nyo kayo na kayo mo. Ito sa Lord.
Knows that
Ibig
something-
sabihin, ano, walang noise cancellation ni headset
All you
nun.
can see in the map is actually Sensui.
Parang sa NACT, ganun.
EVOS, again, if there's something that you can trust with them, is their communication.
Yeah, the shot calling to stay on your toes.
Yung headset sa NACT, ganun eh.
Don't do it.
Parang ano,
Don't overextend.
rinig yung
Obviously,
audience.
Still waiting there as well, Yue and Edward.
Because
That's the information.
as strong as Doming is, he can
Uy,
Nasa
putang ina, magkano to
Dito, Haji.
you get caught.
Babacktalk to ah.
Play.
So much you can do.
Babacktalk to siguro.
Nabitin, sayang.
Hindi,
In the middle.
papatay nila yung Moscow, yung Moscow.
Oh yeah.
6 or 7 minutes.
Di sila makapag ano eh.
Amazing things.
Yung Moscow kasi easy lang yan eh. Papatulan ng ulti yan eh.
I reckon
Matulti pag tumama. Teleport
Ay, ay, putang ina, sayang!
That was a massive use of the flicker here.
Ang
That
ina
is
mo!
something Minana can use
Kunti
here
ka
in
na!
the coming Lord fight. They know it's coming. They can buy a few more seconds. I think
Don't make timing, man. That's what I like to call athletics.
Yan, ramdam niya din yun.
reaction time.
Yep,
Reaction time.
that's brains and bronze right there. He saw it coming and he acted on it.
Dapat Laker na ni Haji yun eh.
With a preemptive Black Dragon form.
Gani, kumbaga, inaambahan lang din natin na may makukuha ba eh. Sayang yung resources niya pag nag-click walang mahuhuli eh. Eto, pumapak na sa loob. Dito, Black Dragon Form.
You can see the positioning still happening.
Maipit dito si Turkish da. Take care of you eh.
That Blacklist does have. Even though
Asan na ba kayo? Mukhang late ako ah.
available to jump in,
1706.
they still have
1706 ka?
Bay, and that's
Eh.
Ako 16 pa lang.
Another one.
Refresh mo na lang bro.
Obviously, there's gonna be a good freeze.
Lisa,
Sui Kurt
Green
going
Pilar
in.
na.
He's looking for trouble here, and he's the one who got found. Ohad can't go in. Blazing.
Wala na, dalawa na ang baksak tumatakbo ang tatlo sa Minana
Seems
Evos.
like he's ready to take these fights.
All right, free kill for Black.
Nasaan na
Ayun
ako?
naman ako.
And it looks like Minana
Regular ano ako, regular feed. Hindi ako nag-feed ngayon.
might actually be
Saan ka ba naka-connect na live? Uy!
Regular lang sa MPL PH.
Out on top. And here's more. Blacklist are hungry for more here. Haji up on front.
The Lord is marching down.
Really good. Blacklist are
Sa
right
mid
now.
lane, we're under almost 18 minutes.
just when he thought he was safe.
Lamang na ng 7.7K ang Blacklist International.
They just get
Saan nanonood?
started.
LBBS Esports?
For this because now they
Sana MPL mismo, MPL PH.
massive
Tagalog?
to move.
Tagalog.
English mo nga, English ka pre, para tayo.
Have to defend
Sige, sige, sige.
Their clear is pretty good. As long
Okay na
Kasi,
ba?
ano ba?
Bus na.
English ka ba?
Oh, it's Minana's time to pressure now, and they are going to be able to take out Edward, at least for now. Immortality is there. Winter tries to just for good measure. And able
Ito Haji na ulas Spider-Man. Isa rito, ipit na ipit ang Minana Evos. Patapos na.
to take the kill. But
In double.
the base.
he's got to clear.
Tangina, yan na. Uy!
Pero hindi nakakabawi pa tayo ng ano.
But the damage is
Spider-Man sa depensahan.
Blacklist.
Eh, di yan.
Hindi ako nakuha na Blacklist International Picks game number 1.
But it's all for nil, as it will be.
Wala na.
Game number one. It's looking like
Ganon kabilis.
damaging as much as they can. They're holding it up.
Ginawa ng Blacklist International.
That could be
Lipat tayo sa English feed.
Game number 1. Walang huli ako.
Same ato kay Kuleho.
National will take
Pareho
it.
tayo Kuleho.
Number one.
Ganda, sayang lang.
Best of 5 against
Hindi
Minana Evos.
hindi ng Moscow gawin.
began
Sayang.
in that
Nasunod, kumbaga parang ano.
Kabado.
Blacks in
Kabado yung Curtin.
failed a jump on the doming,
Nag-
and that
Kasi pareho nag-aambahan lang ba? Kumbaga hinahanap yung ano, yung possible na play na hinahanap nila. Hindi na mapag-ikot sa side ng Blacklist.
And even if
Oo nga.
there were failed attempts,
Paano to?
there was a pick
Late ako pala.
out on.
Lilipat ka sa English doon, wait lang. Lagyan mo ako na
Comes down to
hindi pa
a
tayo.
matter of reliable damage.
Update lang ng alam sa inyo.
Kasi MLBB Esports ako eh.
Doming, if
I'm
you
MLB, yun lang, dito na ako.
the damage that you expect them to, you have to find another way in. It's just so hard to be Minana Evos in that last game.
I like that you pointed that out earlier, you know, before the game even started. Like I was saying, yeah, they have a ton of CC.
Nasaan sila? Wala.
Unfortunately, if they get
Ito
targeted,
na,
nasa English feed na ako.
got focused
Si
on
Ash.
taken out.
Naka-mute.
Just
Nakamute.
you know, it tanks at that point.
Ayo, ayo,
And
ayo,
so
ayo.
it was a
Yun.
well decision from Blacklist
Ayo, ayo.
through that.
Kailangan ng ano, ng analysis nila ni Ash dito.
Edward to put the pressure
Para maliwanagan tayo sa nangyari sa ano sa Minana versus ano, Blacklist game number 1.
out of there.
Well, syempre, kung titignan natin sa draft, so shout out na sa lahat ng mga fans ni Conejo TV sa Chelsea Gaming. Grabe, gandang pinakita ng bawat koponan, but draft-wise, makikita natin na napakakuha talaga ng Fredlin. That's one thing din talaga na makita natin dun sa kanilang draft. I think it was the positioning. And sabi din dito sa comment section, baka may potential din na leaking sa sabihin natin sa audience sa audience. Oh, naririnig din. But regardless, makikita natin din na makunat naman talaga yung lineup. However, hindi natin masyado na-feel yung tamang target coming from Kirk. Yun nga yung sinabi kanina ni Conejo TV when we have seen that Lord earlier. Hindi ka agad alam ni Kirk kung sino yung target niya. Instead of focusing on the squishy heroes at the backline, mas inuna niya talaga yung si Fredlin. Probably, kailangan niyang i-fend off, i-reset yung Lord para mukul ka agad dun si Sensui just to reset the Lord. Yun siguro yung kanilang comms nun. But, however, nakita talaga natin maganda yung pinosisyon dun ni Edward with that electro final blow. At yun din talaga naging problema sa side ng Minana Evos. At saka yung hindi ko naramdaman dun yung Moskov. I think with this lineup, siguro napapracticean nila si Moskov dun during their scrims, pero with this kind of lineup kasi talaga makita mo kailangan mong makaposisyon na maganda. Pero once ma-charge ka ng isang Fredlin, mahirapan dito ito si Domeng, and isang great armor lang yan, magiging problema din yan sa isang Moskov. Pero overall, maganda talaga yung draft dito. Ito yung this is like the Ube version 2.0. Ito yung blacklist na wala yung VYs. This is the blacklist that we have known with that Edward, with that yun na nga, sabi natin, that's the trademark Edward Benedetta. And yun din talaga, with it edit din talaga, naging problema ito sa side ng Minana Evos, paano sila papasok niyan. Pag nahuli ka ng isang forward, same time air shatter, yatapsination ka kagad doon. And overall, yun na yung nakita ko, medyo nahuli ako kasi na-brown out dito. Shout out pala sa Davao Light. Ngayon lang din talaga. Pero yun nga, pag-review ko sa laro, yun yung nakita ko mga pwedeng pag-aralan na Minana Evos at napaka-crucial talaga ng bawat panalo because we're talking about a gauntlet style na playoffs. Pag nahulog ka dito sa game number 1, matik yan, tanggal ka na sa playoffs. So yun talaga, how makita dun ng Minana Evos, ng coaching staff na they really have to change their lineup. They could have picked differently when it comes to their marksman siguro. Madami naman open yun during their drafting phase. Yun din talaga kailangan nilang i-review for their next match. And speaking of, yun na nga, wala yung Harit din kasi nakita natin dun yung mga bands nila. It was Angela. Target na Spider-Miles. Kumbaga, during sa M3, tinarget nila si ohmyveenus. So dito naman, alam talaga ng Blacklist International sino yung kanilang priority band dito. They're taking away all the heroes coming from Spider-Miles. Comfort pick like Angela, para Miss Matilda, Florin, and even Lilia. Yun na Florin, Novaria. Nagulat nga ako hindi nag-Florin dito si Spider-Man, which is a trademark during the season 13. And yun lang yung masasabi ko. Back to you, Conejo and Chelsea. So yun, sensya po natin. Mamaya bibigyan natin mas magandang mga analysis. Yung nakita ko sa draft pala, madami kasi open na marksman na pwede nilang kunin dito sa side ng Minana Evos. Yun na din talaga. Hopefully, maganda naman yung Barats, tanky din yan. Kirk, maganda din yung Yuzong. Pero yun na, medyo inulang tayo dun sa positioning. And palitan sana nila yung mid lane, yung yung kanilang mid laner. Kasi hindi masyado effective as of the moment. Ang Aurora, they could have pwede lang Odette dun pwede Odette, pwede din Nana dun with this Molina Smooch. Yun talaga yung as a Nana user myself, yun yung masasabi ko. So back to you, Chelsea.
Yan, salamat kay Ash Budog Lagoon. Gandang analysis niya doon, no. Consider din natin doon, yung nangyaring rotation kanina, early rotation na ginagawa ng Minana kanina. Maganda yung early rotation nila
Maganda
nga, yun
Yun din napansin ko. Yung sa Moscow kanina. Feeling ko dun na ano eh. Pero nanalo pa rin naman Blacklist dun. Pero yung sa audience, yung sigaw nila,
First Lord, yung nadali yung ano, nadali yung Minana kanina na First Lord, yung pamatong ano, yung setup play ni Haji. Doon sila nagsimulang ano.
Para sa akin, nanibago ako sa Blacklist eh. Parang ibang
Correct.
Blacklist to ngayon.
Yun din yung masasabi ko doon yun, like, pero regardless, that's a live, ano din, parang considered na yun, para kung sa public speaking pa.
Hello Alex.
Factor talaga na kailangan mo din ma-counter eh. Regardless
na stream guys.
Yung iba, may mga potential na stream snipes, quote and unquote, or may mga coaching ba na mangyayari from the audience. Yung positioning din talaga, I think nag-anchor din o kumbaga ano yung MINANA EVOS dun kay Domeng. Because when you're using Moscow kasi, dapat target mo talaga yung mga backline. Kaso, problematic talaga target Edward. Si Edward, ano lang yan, naka-dash in, dash out lang yan, and hindi mo natatamaan bigla-bigla yan. And also you have Claude na may BMI. And yung problema din with targetin mo si Vexana, meron yan siyang terrify with that deathly grasp, and at the same time yung curse blast niya. Yun may hirapan din talaga, and meron pa siyang malaking duwende na hindi mo basta-basta matatamaan. So yun din yung naging problema, and hindi siya agad naka-snowball at early to mid game. Kasi when you're talking about Moscow, dapat ano ka agad yan, first 3 minutes, kung sa ibang laro pa yan, ano ka agad yan, dapat naka-indie mode ka agad. Naka-lotars ka agad first 2 minutes, at saka naka-typecast yung music mo. Tapos alam niyo yung pinag-uusapan nyo, dapat ganun ka. Naka-invest. Emo kid ka agad. Alam niyo yung pag naka-2 minutes lotars na yan, matik, tapos ng laban. Pero yung Moscow kanina doon,
Wala na, makatin na yan.
hindi siya naka-position din talaga.
Yung ano, yung target meeting niya, ni Kurt, laging problema niya kanina. Kasi lagi niyang hinahabol si ano eh, si Sensui at saka si
How's everybody doing?
Oo, si Edward.
Everyone's happy. Sounds like everyone's happy that Blacklist International won that in 18 minutes.
I mean, it's been a long while since we've had MPL Philippines, and I am sure with the level of competition
nawala si Chelsea.
Especially with what Blacklist International showcased.
Saan yung nagla-live?
Lalo na yung mga 1v1 plays ni Edward kanina. I'm sure that everybody else was hyped about that.
Ako nga sa TikTok ako nagla-live.
Performing with the best they can. Nandito nga si Mom Shu
TikTok
and si Pop
nagla-live.
Shu.
Kasi magaan yung yung TikTok
Nag-cheer
live studio.
na ang ating mga
And
agents.
medyo
Pero
din problematic yung algo ko sa Facebook. Pero most probably investan ko din yung panahon yung OBS. Pero siguro pag nagka-PC na ako, may hirap kasi pag laptop kailangan mo
May hirap. Ako nga ano eh. Sa YouTube lang ako sa TikTok wala kasi ako ano dyan. Wala akong followers dyan. Ilan na ba followers mo sa TikTok?
Ako sasabihin ko sa'yo, kanina lang may plus 10,000 followers ako. Pero syempre mga ano yun, mga ballers yun, mga NBA players or mga viewers yun. Pero kung following lang yun, puro organic. Live lang ako nung Game 7.
Gano'ng kalakas?
Sobrang lakas
Yun,
na
Matic.
walan tayo.
So try nyo dito sa TikTok. Okay din yung live ni.
Wala, hindi pa ako ano dyan eh. Wala pa 1,000 dyan.
Wala pa.
So strong.
Tulungan natin
Kailangan ng 1,000 followers eh.
Kailangan ng 1,000.
Kaya habol yung mga page namin sana sa TikTok niya na may kaneho.
Lang ako dyan.
Less na 100 pa.
100 lang ako dyan. Wala nagpa-follow sa amin masyado dyan eh.
Yan, post ko bukas. Padamihin.
Yan, hopefully makahabol tayo sa TikTok.
I think they're saying that was really
Facebook ko sana dati, kaso yun nga, medyo nagkakaproblema ng copyright kahit may
Everybody
copyright
else was
tayo
like,
sa stream.
whoa, and then everybody else was like, yeah.
Ano kaya yung ano mangyayari?
Okay yun, medyo okay naman ah.
Yeah, and I can't wait for this to go to
3-0. Pero kayang gawin ng Blacklist ang 3-0 pa bro, kasi may laban pa.
until we could hear.
Oo kung kaya naman nila end eh. End nila.
Were there any
Mamaya,
surprises
kung
for you?
in case papalag ko nga dito, di ba?
I mean, honestly, I was very surprised.
Pero
Diba dito, laban ng stam.
The way nila, the execution of the game. Kasi, technically, these two teams are somewhat waiting for the right time to strike. Pero, in this matchup,
Saan ba itong venue nila?
Una pa lang,
Di ba taga Luzon kayo?
Una pa lang,
Saan ba
may
itong
1v1
venue
play.
nila?
Ano, sa SM South. Nasa SM South Mall sila ngayon. Bandang ano, South Park ng NCR. Malapit sa Laguna.
Alam mo,
Malayo-layo.
life to,
Malayo-layo.
anything can happen. But you know,
Luna ka ano, sa usual na venue nila sa Makati.
game 2 and we're gonna go back to our
Makati,
captain.
okay lang. Parang malapit lang sa mga ano, sa VGC na ganyan-ganyan.
Abyss once, yung ano, hindi siya ngayon ano.
You know, I wish we got to
Medyo
a little more from our dear.
Talagang ano, South Park na siya ng NCR.
But maybe we'll get a chance to talk to them.
Itong venue ngayon ng ano ng MPL PH.
One or when they get things situated.
Pero itong overlay nila sa live, parang
Kasi before, nasa ano sila eh.
Nakakagutom ah.
And of course,
Nakakagutom.
we have to go ahead and get a
Di pa ako
Pwede magmerienda ng kasama, mag-alasing ka na.
be part of the digital transformation of the world.
Visit tayo mag-reset.
oh, set na
Ano
ano eh.
eh.
ng-
Smart prepaid eSIM.
Mga oras na ako natulog eh.
Delivery for the smart online store for only 99 pesos.
Well, with that being said, gentlemen, game one
Yan, more ano.
intense, and when we're talking about
Abang tayo na nga dito.
Ube, that's not what I was expecting.
Naghihintay kasi ako ng mga surprise ano eh.
Playing on some
Surprise
amazing phones out there. We have to give them a shout out as well.
galing sa magkabila. Yung mga di pa nakikita ng mga o mga old heroes na kaya lang ano, going play ngayong ano, ngayong
Season 13.
kasi possible ko maging last match na ng sinong team dito eh.
Oh. Ilang minutes na sa'yo? Ilang minutes na sa'yo sa drop before mag-start?
I thought there was another move. I was waiting for
No,
it.
it's the same move, just done
The other way.
Sa akin ano pa,
The temperature in this
naglo-loading screen pa.
Kailangan parehas tayo eh.
No, it's
Ilan sa'yo, Chester?
heating up, all right?
Yung
Wala
sa
na.
drop start.
The G2
Wala na naman si
stays
Chester.
cool all throughout. I
Ilan sa'yo?
I'm putting myself in like
Sa akin ano,
Edwards' position, right?
naka-playoffs,
Suffered
ano,
first blood,
ako eh,
had to pull
naka-playoff.
himself out in the
Clean
early
feed.
to mid as if nothing happened.
2 minutes eh, ano sa akin eh, before
Killing
drop
gold
start eh.
winners.
That's a champion's fortitude.
Walang showing sa akin. Nasa English ano stream kayo, pero pinapanood ko naman yung ano, yung
He
Facebook.
proved why he's the legend there.
That's the
2
MVP.
minutes and 4 seconds.
For game number 1.
So that's him on his Benedetta, who has been slowly climbing up the
Or
ranks.
switch na lang kaya ako sa ano no, English broadcast din. English tayo o
Paquito,
Filipino?
Edward.
Naka-English ako eh.
Heroes right now.
Ikaw, bahala ka kung saan ka ano.
You also have to
English
think
ako.
of how that
Sa English na
Hindi ako nag sa Tagalog eh. Sa
What
English
you guys
talaga
have
ako
to
eh.
think about because the MPL Philippines
Nah.
Kasi minsan may mga ano,
it's
may
now
mga
available
manonood
on
dyan na
guessing
ibang bansa. Di mo alam.
And you know what? You just
Tama, mga
Papasok dyan.
international
English ang ano.
streamers.
Oo. Ang target natin, mga international.
Let me talk.
Kasi mga Pilipino naman nakakaintindi naman ng English yan tsaka
Click the
Tagalog.
app. Go to MPL Philippines TikTok.
Di kaya nga nang naaraan, di ba nag-stream ako ng ano,
Click the official
nag-stream ako ng Malaysia.
and then
Mas malaki pa yung viewers ko sa Malaysia sa PH.
team and
Oo,
win.
pati Indo.
Kasi nandun sa di ba English ano, English.
I'm not
Okay, kasi
Kaya mag-English tayo this week kasi
many
after
different
ng
reasons, but you can. So let us know. Are you for black? Are you an
yung
Asian?
ibang mga taga-ibang ano, Southeast Asia na ano, na mga ano,
I'm gonna guess though.
What are you gonna guess?
na nanonood. Kumbaga para sila makasabay.
Yeah, neither team actually
lahat
wants
yan,
to
kaya
let
mas
you
maganda
on.
English kasi
Blacklist, when they get
pag
their
sumilip
out,
nila, sisilip yung ano, tagaibang bansa.
they put on
Maintindihan nila yung
put
nangyari.
more on Haji.
Kahit na siguro Tagalog
It's
ka,
on Haji.
Tagalog ka ang
Which now comes
dokumentary.
around to how maybe
Pwede
Minanana
mong
now
i-type
have the
doon,
pick
mag-chat ka doon na
for
kaya sabihin mo na
sides, and luckily enough we now have
magtanong na sila na
verdict.
English,
They are
sasagutin mo
blue.
na English.
Okay, so
Ganun.
with blue
Ganun
side,
lang din ginagawa ko.
they can do many different things. Just off the top of my head, they can play for Matilda first pick. They can force out.
Kaya shoutout sa mga viewers sa mga page namin kay Ash Bulldog Lagoon, kay Conejo TV, shoutout sa mga
Something tells me the Aurora wasn't something they were happy with.
It does feel like they were forced.
yung namin, collaboration ngayong ano, ngayong MPL playoffs. Yung saan, pinangulit lang kami sa inyo dito. Kaya salamat sa
Mga poging restreamer.
kasabay.
Tamang tambay.
Ban out the robe completely. Let's look at other people.
Kami po yung pinaka-poging restreamer sa buong MPL.
Yung mga lumang stream.
Man, I love
Ito na yata, dropping case na ba kayo?
for Gore through the playoffs, but let's
3
see
to
if
1.
Blacklist
Oh,
might
teka
not
lang.
be one of these teams. But hey, we're gonna jump into the draft
4,
here for
3.
game number 2.
Ganun ba sa'yo?
And we'll decide
Sabay tayo, na ano na.
see exactly
Game na tayo.
how Minanana
Ayan na 2,
approach being that first pick.
1, yan. Dropping case na.
And maybe even secure something for
Sabay-sabay na tayo ngayon, ha?
Spider Miles roster of heroes that he has here. So once again, you can already see the bands coming out. Look at their win rate.
Pero nandito, nagiging nasa blue side ngayon yung ano, ha?
Blacklist International will go ahead and ban out that Angela, the Harris. They don't want to give that up. We've mentioned this before. Our lot's not going to be played. So
Hello, Frank Adela.
as well. Let's see what these last two bans are.
Okay, something tells me now they're hedging on the gambit of
Arlot, Louis sa side ng Minana Evos, and Blacklist, Angela, Harit.
wouldn't even hurt. All right, both are still up. Fredrin and Matilda.
Same pa rin. Target nila si Tiger Miles.
Hello, Frank Adela.
Kaizen, take it.
Fredrin Johnson, take it. I mean, Fredrin.
I like the stream,
Wait,
guys.
what? Johnson? Is that because you saw? Is that because you saw him out there?
There's a Johnson cosplayer around.
All right, they go with Fredrin. Baksha though, this is identity.
Yep, this is Sensui's second best
Okay,
jungler.
Baksha.
And the Faramis, they deny it from Lancy. Something tells me they
Guys, Faramis, ha? Magandang
get that Nova, get that Vex, get that Val.
Obviously, Valentina looks like it's a prime candidate here.
Get the Val.
At risk of also getting banned out in the next phase. So you don't want to leave that out in the open.
You gotta get that Val.
Yeah.
And maybe a gold laner?
CDR King. Tangin na parang CDR King, ang tagal mo na niyan ah. Parang ano ka.
Hold up.
No.
Never mind then. I guess Moscow is their pick now.
Dito.
Eh, ito lang, CDR King.
Sabi nitong isa. Mike mo, CDR King yan.
Yep. Again,
Siguro ano to?
better than forcing a weird hero onto Lancy.
Nabutan niya yung CDR King.
Impact here is throughout the game, and we know scaling wise.
Ganun kaluma yung bro, CDR King. Mga tiga 150. Okay na yan. Mga USB.
And the Faramis being part of this whole thing.
Mamaya pag
Pero
ano,
itong Moscow, Blobaya, Fred.
mamaya Jesse, ayusin natin yung ano, yung audio, sa audio mo din.
Don't need to deal with it.
Sige.
A lot of teams, to be honest, have evolved to be able to deal with the Faramis compositions without having to pick a Valentina. So, you know what? They can be kind of creative.
Ang hirap din kasi mag-setup ng ano, ng OBS. Totoo lang.
Lancy's already under the Warrior.
Ginagalaw mo yung mga properties niyan.
Oo.
There's the Hellcurt again.
Ano ko rin. Itimpla.
Contest rate in the playoffs.
Mas komportable ako dito sa OBS kasi sa ano, Prism Live.
Oo, obvious din ako, hindi ako nag-aayos.
To really bring out some playoffs.
Paano ba?
I think that's again, you know, it's safe. It's like a safe ban to take it out because
Ang ilan dito sa OBS, makakabos yung tinitimpla. Parang yung ano, makuha mo yung ano, yung clarity. Sa ano sa audio, sa mic.
Pero malinaw yung boses ko dyan.
Yung malinaw yung sa akin dito sa feed.
Spider Miles, right? Just Rafaela.
Rafaela, I was gonna say.
Rafaela and the Florin.
Wait lang.
Alright, Florin.
Binan na. Ayaw nang ano, makaharap ng ano, ng Minana Evos.
Still really good, right?
Si Haji. Yung edit ni Haji dito, mga trauma sila kanina.
And then they can get a good chunky XP laner and call it a day. I think Minana Evos are okay. They're comfortable being in blue this time.
Pero still yan, Moscow pa rin sa side ng ano na, okay, binihintay natin yung pick na ito.
Do they go ahead and pick up their gold lane?
Beatrix ba? The entry champ na Beatrix. Hintayin natin.
Is Faramis still flexible enough to possibly be put in the roam? I don't think so.
Don't do it.
But you know, so what do they go with here?
This is a gold laner.
Feel like it's a gold lane.
Yan, sa mga viewers natin na welcome sa aming live stream, you can visit our page, Chelsea Game.
I mean, obviously, it was not a straight up win.
And Ashbull to Lagoon, YouTube and Facebook.
There it is. Yeah. So they go with the Klon once again. Spider Miles, though, averages 7 assists per 10 team kills this season, the highest among all players with a minimum of.
Pero ito Claude ang kinuha dito ni ano.
So he is the assist king.
He is.
He's the wingman.
Yes.
If there's an expert wingman, there's a master wingman. That's him.
Well, we'll see exactly what Spider Miles wants to bring to the table this time around. That's a Terizla. I can hear that from across the universe. Terizla. Wait, Valentina. So
a Rome Novaria?
A Rome Novaria. So my guy is not healing today.
If anything, this is a MINANA EVOS that is just so hell-bent on dealing damage. This is what it says. This is the message they're sending.
Karisla and Ib.
I actually love it because everyone just immediately defaults to, oh, Lancey's Navaria, automatically.
Makikipagpukuhan ngayon ng ang MINANA Ib, RESTREAM, and Karisla.
I'm not vengeance incarnate. I am actually.
Gandang front line to.
You check out the first few weeks.
Makunat plus damage.
MINANA EVOS was the dive team, and now come the playoffs, they come full circle. They're going full dive again, and the answer from Blacklist is a great way to actually.
Rock naman ang last pick dito ng Blacklist International.
Okay, so
I like it.
Yeah, when you look at Black, I do want to see the lineup break.
Ito, version play naman ang balak dito ng ano,
You know, with
ng
this,
Blacklist
you're
International.
gonna have Spider Miles on this Novaria. I'm wondering, like, that vision that is going to be here for the team, of course, with the Echo dropping down and everything else. That'll help them in a way, obviously, having a Mozcov on their side, but it's like, still, when you're talking about what they have to deal with across from them, Netherrealm, of course, again, Edward with hands on that Benedetta, this is, I don't know, I guess my big thing is, like, how do you execute this with the vision that you're going to have for MINANA EVOS?
Huh. Vision's going to be tricky, and again, Vision's always something that has been taken care of by our teams. There's a specific reason why the health crit has been constantly banned out, even though most likely people will pick it up on their own.
Yeah, again, a lot of people might say, oh, they have the Navaria, vision is good. No, that's the only vision you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there's a walking vision over here in the hands of Haji. Of course.
Yan na, start na ng game number 2, match number 1, MINANA EVOS vs Blacklist International. Gagawin na ba ito ng Blacklist na match point na makakapabla pa ang MINANA EVOS. Start na 23 seconds, 24.
And just cause some havoc using that flicker as well.
I guess if you're going to use a flicker, that's a great time to do it. You don't have no immediate use for it up until the maybe the turtle take.
Yep, can confirm that he is not rocking any cooldown reduction on it. Don't pull yourself together. Yep. Something to note, this is still Tank Frederick.
Haji, tamang invade lang, giving vision, binabaga ni Lancey, Spider Miles, Uwe.
Yeah, it seems to be V-Wave.
Tamang poke lang, pero nagkakabigan sa mid lane.
Oh my god, that slowed him down.
Pag nag-overstint ako si Haji rito.
And, you know, it's not that big of a deal.
Salahin niya yung Navaria.
That adds up.
It does add up.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, with that too, you also have to keep in mind that MINANA EVOS did rock the double. They have the double purify available for them to kind of deal with.
Ang habol dito niya ng Blacklist sa back shot, rotation na talaga eh. Mabilis sa mobility.
Like previous game, we saw him with the Inspire.
Kumbaga makakarest po kaagad.
Really well with him, but this time it's a little more defensive, and I'm wondering if that was the check from the previous game, where it's like, all right, Domeng, now you have to be even.
Ito sa bayan Moskov na naman, tsaka Claude
I'll tell you now, I think what happened in Game 1 did affect that decision, but it's not all just because of what happened in Game 1. I think if it was up to MINANA EVOS and they saw what Blacklist was picking, right now especially, I think they would still pick an Inspire half the time. Because really, what is he afraid of? It's the Haji Grok, that's it.
It's just too much value, right now. Speaking of value, that's a lot of value damage being put in by MINANA already. Onto Haji. Kaizen going to be securing Battle because of that. And Haji with a wild charge trying to...
Pero kung mailit, Haji is...
Okay, so with that exchange...
Pero nakatakas pa isang baktak sa side lang.
The way that they boxed that off in their favor with what they had available to them was great. Even with Kurt utilizing that penalty zone early on to just keep them there was great timing.
Yep, Blacklist International's current lineup, where they are, really has no way of just quickly and suddenly confirming turtle takes, right? Look at the burst that they have to get items, and everything else is pure DPS. So
259 sa akin.
Actually have better goes at early game engagement.
Nasa 3 na ako. 3 minutes, 4 seconds.
3 na rin ako. Uy, patay to.
Oh, Domeng!
Naipit si Domeng dito. Ganda ng pasok doon, Haji.
Anong ginagawa ng Spider-Man? Sa tapat niya na yung ohib, no? Sa ano lang yun eh. Basic na lang. Puta, Haji, oh. Puta, entry.
Nagpailaw na.
Flickering in, and how perfect. The timing. See, it just came off of cooldown but maybe 15, 20 seconds.
Hindi na expect yung ano eh. Tawag man kung saan mang gagaling yung ano eh. Yung blacklist.
with the battle spell.
Kung ma-abante ko siya kayo Herb eh. Pero magaling sa level yung ano eh. Yung
A
rock.
little bit extra gold to work around with.
Pinasok sa to.
Holding it down.
G-Steel. Ibigay ng vision. Laging panggulang mo na ginagawa ni Haji rito.
Has no way to fight back. Even his mind's not quite there.
Tayo pa.
Right now, he's gonna have to force himself to pull
Na
back.
tayo. 4 minutes na.
Oh.
You got Dominic
Patay to,
possibly
patay.
flying in with the spear. Avengers right now.
Lancy,
In
maip.
a bit of
Dito
pickle
na yung patay
here.
eh.
Kill once more. Going to the blacklist. Go later.
Tangina.
So,
Iba talaga may paramis.
the SOD.
Parang wala kang makikita mo sa akin, pero sa MPL gamit na gamit.
Where he is right now. And
Di ba yung Moscow ngayon, gamit na gamit?
He said, you know what, I just need to farm. I'm just gonna try to get some plates in. And so far, Blacklist understands.
Di ba nag-ano ka rin sa MPL
they have
MY?
been in a defensive mindset.
Playoffs na rin doon, di ba?
That defensive mindset is what they have to play around here. Now Sensui rolling in. Want to go ahead and start this dance up by Kaizen for the second turtle of the game. Look at the positioning once again. This is what I was talking about. This time around to Doming. Oh, hold on. It's going to go ahead and get that reset. Haji loves to do it with that grok.
100%.
So they go ahead and back off for now, buying themselves a little more time. You can see this too.
Low.
They still want to battle this out there. They still want to force the fight here. They can clear that mid up.
Rinig.
They don't want to go for turtle. They want straight into
Uy!
Lancy, maiipit. Sa apa. Pero si Kirk ang mabibigyan. Down.
4v5.
Red, buhay pa rin. Ligtas ang backline ng Blacklist International. Protektado ang members ito ng Blacklist kay Haji.
I love it.
Protektado.
Blacklist International, we're seeing Sensui happy to go up front. Haji as well with the wild.
Haji, giving vision, 3v1 sa turtle pit. Para ba? Wala lang. Binilay ko kontrasyon.
Changing these minor plays, of course, around for the turtles for now. But with that,
Tingnan mo lineup ng ano, ng Blacklist.
MNNE EVOS had a good push
Ano sila?
up top. You even saw him earlier.
Comfort ni Ohib. Ka-comfort ni Edward kinuha nila.
He has to just check and see if he was gonna come in.
Comfort niya yan eh.
So now the
Comfort
question
ni
is,
Ohib tsaka ni
are
comfort
these
ni
turtles
Edward.
Blacklist
Pati
conceding
yung paramis comfort din
adding
yung
up
eh.
to MINANA EVOS' plan to get because currently
Ano yung nabibitan niya nun, Edward?
has a corrosion slice. He's on
Kaya nga,
his way
comfort nga nila mga kinuha nila.
Kumbaga,
guessing what it comes in about a minute from now.
silang dalawa minatch yung ano nun eh. Nakilala sa ano eh, sa binideta talaga eh. Pero ito pumasok na, Sensui, naiipit yata.
Fearless wild charge. Straight into
Blazing duet.
Ay na naman yung Moscow, putang ina.
misses out with the appraisal.
Lugi sila sa paramis,
Nada,
papasukin
no?
talaga sila ng paramis dyan eh.
But I think that is going to be mission
May paramis kaya papasukin talaga sila dyan.
Sensui.
Ito Sensui ay nakuha pero okay lang Haji.
Man, so even with the
Sayang, nabawian sila.
if the pressure is there, it's so hard to escape. And even with these shots coming down, Lancey.
Tigan na.
Putang
ina, may ganun ah.
He's feeling pretty good
Pipi ah.
considering the fact that they're down 1 in the series.
I mean, they're down but not out.
They're not out.
Right? And I think it's that kind of bravado, that kind of mojo that gets you back into a winning position. Again, MINANA EVOS in a defensive mindset, and it's clear that if it wasn't for that Doming death second time now, then now it is for sure. He is almost there, but look, he's started to build defense, man. He just paused the DHS and said, you know what, I need armor. Hold up, let me get the jerk in.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, this is a different approach to the Moskov.
Yeah.
You know, and because if you think about it, let's say he Spears of Destruction, it pops in there.
Gutom
You
na ako ah.
have to be ready to either get pulled by the Shadow Stampede, get wild charged into, and that's why you have a Purify, of course, right? But then still, playing around the positioning game is so difficult here for Doming.
And while that's happening, core items locked in. Golden staff already.
Boom.
Is
Is he on the Trinity?
really fast already.
Is he on the Trinity?
I think it's just a duo.
All right.
now.
But still, that's pretty bad. Because,
That's pretty good.
Whoa,
already.
whoa, watch out.
Hoy, bumalik!
Go ahead to
Gago.
trouble here. Backup coming in from Haji. Absorb all of
Puta.
the spears coming in from Dom.
Tayo na matikan na yun, bumalik siya,
Haji,
Ohib.
I think he will have to pay for it
Napakapi.
with his life.
Oh, man.
Dom Nation getting a kill.
All right, they're feeling it. The recall button getting too loud. Okay.
Napakapi
So
si
that's
Ohib
okay.
dun ah.
We asked if he gets the ult in, when does he flick? When does he come in? Right? When does he click the button on the spear destruction? I think they only did that because they know that they were ahead. They sent Oheb home, TKO. But from there, I'd reckon once he gets his 4th item, that's when the Purify is starting to be used aggressively.
Yes.
That's what we're waiting for.
And that's probably why he had to go ahead and pick up some of
Nasecure ng Minana EVOS yung tatlong turtle. Pero ito nagkakabigayan sa ano, sa turtle
Yeah,
bot.
wala makakapatay dyan. Eh, ano eh.
Haji nakatakas din dito si Bayue. Pero agad nag-aggressive play dito ang Minana EVOS. Balak lang kunin tong mid tower ng Blacklist International.
Of Grand Theft Purple. So that's good.
Laking kawalan ni Renegade pala sa kanila, no?
Oo.
Renegade kasi is ano, shot caller nila eh.
Nakuha na kasi ano eh. Meron medyo yung ano yung mismong play ng Blacklist eh. Lalo ng playoffs na last season, di ba? Diba nakasabay na siya sa ano, sa playstyle ng Blacklist eh.
Hindi na. Magaling talaga si Renegade din. Kaya lang, di na masyado na, ano, nung nasa NXP siya, nung nasa account eh.
Oo. Ito, Fredrin, Kizen. Balak manggulo dito sa red buff. Pero nakabantay dito si Edward. Pero bottom lane natin. Sakta rin siya si Lancy ah.
Checking out Lancy. Also on his way to his 3rd core item.
Mauna tayong Fredrin niya, may blade armor eh.
Level of a Queen's Wings or a...
Hindi na basta-basta maano ni
First word ng ating laro. Kizen, nilalibas na lang na dito.
His first item.
Pero hindi na makakahabol dito si ano. Si Sensui.
And cooldown boots, of course, magic boots. Make sure to get that cooldown reduction in. Everyone's spotted out here, though. It is a great
Pero
engagement.
ito,
Tong ina.
sakit mo na Kizen. Si Sensui ang unang nalignatan na Haji. Alangat
Saan
na
na
rin.
ulti ni Haji? Wala lang eh, layo lang ng ano eh.
Oh, grabe Spider Miles. Narayigan. Dumapa din si Yue.
Oh my goodness, MNNE EVOS playing that so well. And even
no? Roam no barrier.
with that, but they're going to grab themselves this Lord here.
Ano ba na may damage?
An amazing Lord dance. And you can't even
Roam no
say...
barrier.
Minana EVOS
For the turn.
Ano na,
And following the right
naka-blood wings
target,
kasi ano,
taking down Sensui
Lancy.
first. Making sure that Oheb regrets his decision of coming in with a blazing duet, half-cocked. Again, it's a Trinity.
May gaya ng comfort pick tong larong to
I don't
ah.
blame him. That should have really taken down Minana. And mind you, they did an EVOS without another realm.
That's interesting.
They did...
Ito na bottom lane. Litan Lord.
I'm really feeling
Pero Kurt, papasok ba rito? Pero Ohe, medyo may damage na yun. Makatikati, maiipit si Kurt dito.
Patay, yan na.
Ganda ng save lagi ni Yue dito sa, ano, sa Blacklist. Lagi,
Ang
hindi ka lang hindi ka lang nag-run.
But here comes the minions. Do see some good burst
Yun,
in.
huli.
Electrofound low in. Dodged out by Lancy. Lancy still
Grabe si Yue bumabawi. Lancy nabaksak doon.
Laging
Pero nag-lead
ito,
ang Blacklist International sa bottom lane.
laging tumatama yung ano ng Moscow.
They are in the base right now. And that is a massive.
Boom.
Sakit ni Deming, oh. Napata si Edward din.
But I think that
Sakit ng ano,
Dalawang baksak sa kanyang
Moscow.
team.
Mga tagos.
Edward trying to
Pero
get
ang makakatak dito, endable na kaya ito bastard na Minana o
is going to be a
back.
successful defense. But that was
Kasi napata si, ano, si Edward doon kay Deming.
Hard times breed better men. And Domeng survived those hard times.
He had hard times.
For the first one.
Kasi, nung worst ni Deming dito.
Game.
Umipitas na ito ng ano,
Aggressively. Look, he didn't even use it in that siege.
He didn't need to. And, you know, he also just picked up the wind of nature.
Kati ng Moscow,
He's
oh.
got that defense at least available to him. So you can even expect him to, if we're talking about aggression on that Purify, if he actually finds his moment to go in,
Kaso bibigyan ko ng Blacklist, hintayin nilang ano.
that could be crucial in a lot of the damage provided. Again,
So,
6K ahead.
Hintayin nila magkamali yung Moscow dyan.
Turrets. They got off the
Ayun,
last one. Edward, though.
Ang na Edward, oh. Lang.
Split push pero ito na ako.
Lang.
World National, tatlo dito.
Tangina, may
Captain,
game 7 na.
minwested si Haji.
Game 5 ata
Pinabaksak
ako,
ni
ah.
Deming. Endable na to.
Boys, we're going to
Oh,
game
ano,
number
pwede
3
pa yun,
here.
ah.
1-1 on the scoreboard.
Pwede pa
Alright, 1-1.
MNNE
We're going to the best of 3.
Tanggalin lang nila comfort ni Sansui, mahirapan sila eh.
1-1.
And with that, we got a ball game.
We got a ball game.
And it had to come off of an
Katilidomi na, sakit ng ano na, kada bato.
Kaya nga eh.
two mages.
Kaya nga, luto lang ako ng ano, homie.
Sige, sige, sige.
Before, but we haven't seen come back.
Wala ako sa
Ayan sa mga viewers natin.
And MNNE EVOS are able to capitalize.
Yan, merienda muna kayo at magsasaing lang din ako. Welcome sa Chelsea Gaming and sa Kameha TV. Welcome sa MPL PH Season 13 Playoffs Day 1. Elimination round, naglagan mo yung araw.
Lagan talaga to.
MNNE EVOS and BLCK International parehong 1-1. Balik tayo sa best of 3.
It's very interesting when you look at it because the minor adjustments made and even the flex that happened in the draft when, again, all of us were like, oh, it's Lancey's Novaria.
Yeah.
And then it was flexed in, and even the minor adjustments that was made from this Mozkov, from Domeng, to be a little more defensive. I think he's still, even at the end, he only had the leather jerkin, right? Like, he never even did anything with it.
Did it last that long?
Casual jerkin.
Really?
He just had it. He had the wind of nature, of course, but really the pushing that he did early on when we talked about, hey, he's Spear of Destruction, but he didn't commit to any of those early ones, but he put pressure on the side lanes.
And I think there's also a psychological effect to Blacklist knowing that he can click it. He can just jump in and change the tide of battle, but he didn't.
I think I completely agree with the shock value, not just in the draft, but also in the way that they play. The Terizla penalty zones were actually super massive here. It's very unlikely that you'll notice, but he starts it off all the time. He dies a lot, but he does get the job done. And Doming's able to do so much because of that.
Again, that's the job of the body of Smith, right? That's how you got to play that Terizla. Let's go ahead and have it broken down by our solo analyst, Redmark.
Thank you, casters. MNNE EVOS takes game number 2, 1-1. Coach Paulo Expert and I, we were talking here. Novaria Valentina, risky yun ngayon sa meta natin, pero gumana para sa MNNE.
Yeah, last on pick siya. Actually, hindi ko rin siya in-expect na pipiliin. Kala ko yung Novaria post 4 na eh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what everyone was thinking at the same time na parang, talaga Valentina nung lumabas siya sa second phase. But looking at the picks, paired up with a Fredrin and of course a Terizla, were those the right picks to make a Novaria Valentina work?
Yeah, yung Fredrin Trisla kasi, pag nag-Novaria Valentina sila, kailangan nila ng frontline. Those two heroes gave MNNE those two tanky heroes sa frontline.
Got that front line, and of course, Miles still looking cold. Taking game number 2 is MVP, the Novaria pickup. And I'm starting to sense a pattern with MNNE EVOS. We're up against a team like Blacklist International na alam natin magaling with the rotations, around the turtle, and Lord Dance is really great. MNNE EVOS, I don't know if you could agree with me here, is that they sort of really want to play for bigger control, map-wide control, something like that. What do you think?
Parang nahalata ko sa kanila, they're more into team fights right now eh. Parang poke muna, tapos team fight after na mapoproc nila yung Faramis ulti, tapos doon pa lang sila mag-engage pag na-force na nila yung Faramis ulti ng kalaban.
And of course, we all know when it comes to poking down the enemy compositions, it's a Novaria that's really good at that job. 6-0 and 7 with a KDA, a 93% kill participation for the MVP of the game. Alam naman natin in the early game, MNNE EVOS got the 3 turtles. Was there something that you remember from their early game rotations na tumatak sa memory mo?
Actually, para sa akin, medyo ahead nga yung Blacklist nung una eh. Pero, nung early game, since super teamfight heavy nga yung MNNE EVOS, and nakukuha na ng Valentina na yung Faramis ulti, doon sila lumalamang. Doon sila nakabawi, pinupok ng Novaria, yung Faramis, and then forcing load.
And that makes sense because like with MNNE EVOS, beautiful entry from Kirk, by the way. I'm glad that na-highlight yung play na to, and this would eventually lead to the win for MNNE EVOS. And to, again, hammer on the point na pag ganito yung lineup nyo with the Novaria Valentina, dapat sapat yung front line, at least 2. Kasi di ba nakita tayo ng mga lineups dati na jungler lang yung front, yung EXP pang pick-off, which is somewhat a little bit risky, but MNNE EVOS made it work here.
next question is, are you surprised that it went this fast para sa game number 2?
Yeah, para sa akin, I was quite surprised na ganito kabilis yung game. Actually, I thought it was gonna go down more on the later stages of the game.
Now, as we look at the stats, you can see here for MNNE EVOS, the purple buff control was really important. At one point, nakita na nga natin na binibigay na ng MNNE EVOS yung purple buff onto that Novaria, and that would just make it a little bit harder for Blacklist to rotate. So, to sum it up in terms of your take here, is it really just with how well MNNE EVOS played the team fights? So sobrang galing lang ba talaga nila na sa mga team fights around the objectives, dun sila lumamang dito?
It was more like a hit-and-run strategy na poke Novaria, tapos yung parang inabuso nila yung Moskov rin eh. Napakataas na kasi ng DPS ng Moskov pag sabayan yung Faramis at saka Valentina ulti. So, yeah, that's why they got the upper hand.
Yeah, and I'm glad na na-mention mo yung mga ultimates dito. And I think that's a new description I like. Hit and run MNNE EVOS. That kind of play style up against Blacklist International. And nakita naman natin, they go to one area, biglang ikot na ulit. If they can't get a pick here, they're gonna go somewhere else. And then at the same time, personally, I don't know if you agree with me here, I like how MNNE EVOS played around their ultimates. Parang ang ganda ng pag-layer ng mga skills nila.
Oh yeah, the skill management, they did it really efficiently that game actually.
Very efficient skill management, and the ultis from MNNE EVOS, 762 GPM for doming, around the average, but as Coach Paolo Expert mentioned in the first series, late game, pag binigyan mo talaga yung Moskov ng chance na makapag-farm, he's gonna deal the damage, 67.5 thousand. Pero surprisingly enough, Lancy as well, malapit lang din in terms of damage. What did you like about Lancy's game in this game number 2?
Hindi siya takot mag-poke kahit may grok sa harap niya. Kasi alam niyang medyo short range yung katapat niya eh. So, bali nag-i-in and out lang siya all the time. Alam niyang kaya niyang bulihin yung grok sa harapan. At saka may alalay rin siya na Novaria for vision. So, kaya nagagawa niya yung trabaho niya na maayos.
I like that you pointed that out. Matapang si Lancy. I mean, you're Valentina up against a grok. Tinitipihan mo yung grok, pinopoke mo, and somehow you'll be able to run away with it. And now, I want to go like outside of the game a little bit. If you were the coach of MNNE EVOS and you saw your mid laner doing that, pero nakita mo naman, nagbigay ng confidence sa team mo, ano sasabihin mo kay Lancy as the coach?
Para sa akin, hindi ko nire-recommend yung TV. May karma kasi yun. Kaya hindi ko nire-recommend sa players ko yan. Pero it depends sa players pa rin. Kung syempre pag confident na yung player, TTP yan talaga nila yan para bumawi. Parang nagbibigay kumpiyansa sa sarili. So.
And tama naman, nakita naman natin, parang nag-change yung mood, yung galaw ng MNNE EVOS. You saw it in their body language, more confidence from MNNE EVOS. Now, going into game number 3, real quickly, what's your recommendation for Blacklist to take the next game?
I think wag lang silang malason sa draft and I think they should be fine. They just got caught off guard with the Valentina pick, I think.
Alright, wag malason sa draft. As we look at the... Lupit ah. Grabe. Try mo nga ano, try mo gano'n, coach, yung ano. Yung hit map, tingnan mo gano'n, gano'n. Wow. Solid. Kita niyo naman yung hit map dito ni Kaysen in the early game. For me, it wasn't a super wow game from Kaysen, but on the side of as a jungler, as a Fredrin, as one of the frontliners, he did his job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So for Kaysen, really, he just got to do his job properly, and I think pinakita naman dito, especially in this game, and in the series so far, just how important Fredrin is in the meta. So, do you think in the next draft, will Fredrin still slip through the cracks?
I think so. Kasi super high contested yung hero na yan eh. Objective taking kasi super lakas ng Fredrin. So.
Alright, so real quick, we gave an advice for Blacklist International. Ano naman ang advice mo for MNNE EVOS to take game number 3?
I think since gumana naman yung draft nila na yon, hopefully makahanap sila ng lason pa or something more na makakasabay sa team fight na end macro ng Blacklist.
Oh, the Poison Tigers, lasunin ang Blacklist with the recommendation of Coach Paolo Expert for MNNE EVOS. Let's see if it'll happen. And nakita naman natin, gumana para sa kanila, of course, with the Valentina swerve pick, putting the Novaria into the roam, position that we haven't seen in a while for that hero kasi parang ang dami ng high invade ngayon, minsan nape-pressure yung Novaria and they made it work. So, the Exorcist skins for Hayabusa and Granger are now available alongside exclusive items. Enjoy 50% off on your first 1x draw every day and get a permanent exclusive item on your first 10x draw. Kagura and Yuzhong's Exorcist skins are joining the prize pool. Grab them while you can. Coach Palo Expert, gusto mo ba mag-giveaway ng skin?
Pwede naman.
Pwede naman.
Pwede naman.
Champions Arena, do you want Coach Palo Expert to give away skins? Well, parang ayaw ng skin na. I'm asking again. Do you want Coach Palo Expert to give away skins? I'm sorry. Not really. You're gonna have to give away a lot of skins now. Let's toss it over to Mara and Hans for an interview with some special guests.
Here in the Arena of Champions, kasama natin ang mga kampiyon mula sa MDL RRQ Kaito. Congratulations!
Thank you po, thank you po.
Grabe, you guys defeated the two-time MDL champion. Tinake away niyo yun. How was your lakbay sa tagumpay? How was the entire journey? How did it feel? Kasi mga champions na kayo.
Ano po, sobrang masaya po, pero at the same time sobrang hirap. Lalo na, ayun, ngayon lang po yung global ban. Sobrang daming adjustment po at saka kailangan sobrang dami ng hero namin. Pero yun nga po, kahit sobrang hirap, kahit na yun, nakalaban namin sa finals back-to-back, is nagawa pa rin po namin manalo. So yun, unexplainable po pero sobrang saya po talaga nararamdaman namin.
Great job, guys. Siyempre, yung coach nyo can do everything.
Kaagaling niya ba lang
Kakagaling lang dun. Analyst, coach, lahat na.
And in addition, I also want to ask you the same thing. Kasi first time na magkaroon ng defeat ng back-to-back or ma-break yung streak na yon. Pero first time ding magkaroon ng global ban system in the MDL Philippines. So, kayo ba, umabot ng Game 5 yung series na yon? How did you guys strategize towards that? Paano nyo ba ina-approach yung every game, lalo na umabot ng Game 5 all the way to the end?
Yung sa may global ban po, nung nilabas pa lang po siya ng MDL, ang unang adjustment po ginawa po talaga namin is dinamihan
What is it, bro?
Namin. Kasi alam namin na, ayun, hindi
What
na
is it?
pwede maulit. So,
Side 96.
New strategies po yung nilalabas. Tapos, yun lang po, dinamihan lang naman po namin yung hero namin, tsaka practice lang po ng practice pa ulit-ulit.
Impressive. You guys were so impressive. But you know,
What do you mean
who else was
resounding?
impressive? Ferds. Ferds, nasan si Ferds?
Tatago.
Ferds! Grabe ka. Alam niyo ba, ito, ano ka, all-star XP laner of the season and
Grabe,
regular
oh.
season MVP?
RRQ Kaito.
How was it for you? How happy are you? At gaano ka-importante kasi
Bibili na
you
sa
topped it
MPL
all
PH.
off with a championship.
Una-una po, sobrang saya ko kasi hindi ko akalain na makukuha ko yung All-Star MVP and yung regular season MVP. Hindi ko po makukuha yung day dahil sa coach ko, sa mga kampi ko at sa mga sumusuportang fans.
Impressive and humble. Pero syempre may tanong tayo dito. Kasi
Syempre.
kung sino mananalo dito sa ating MPL pupunta ng MSC, ano yung tanong natin dito?
Alright, the question is, para sa inyo, sino ba yung dalawang teams na sa tingin nyo or gusto nyong mag-represent sa MSC para sa Pilipinas?
Wala explanation. Name lang. Sino? Wala explanation.
Blacklist, syempre.
Blacklist. Ikaw. Blacklist. Ikaw.
Dalawang teams?
Sige, dalawang teams, coach.
Para sa akin, Bren at saka RSG.
Bran RSG. Alright? Bran RSG.
Para sa'yo, sino naman?
Ako para sa akin, Bren sa RSG.
Bran RSG, kumopya kay coach. Siyempre, idol si coach eh. Sa'yo.
Lahat naman deserving, pero papiliin ako Blacklist tsaka Bren.
Okay.
Bran. Okay.
There's a second sound.
And for you?
Blacklist, Bren.
Blacklist and Bren as well. You know what? One day you will also have an opportunity to represent the country in the MSC. Keep on working hard, champions. And for now, we're gonna go to game number 3. Casters, pasok.
Thank you so much for that breakdown, of course, earlier with Coach Pao and Renmar, and then to hear from RQ Kaito alongside Hans and Mara. Great to hear with them, and congratulations once again. And now, Game 3 is upon us. Man, I love this series already. It's 1-1. Blacklist is going to go blue side this time. Leo, how are we feeling about that?
I feel like they're going to go for the first pick.
Fred?
Fred Gambit again.
Yeah.
And I think MINANA EVOS is not going to let that stand. And they're going to go into a game without Fredrin. Because that's the only choice. I mean, 100% total. Blue side wins, Fredrin wins.
What if it's banned out?
Exactly. You have to change the formula. Then we see a different outcome. That's the beauty of best of fives.
And like Leo mentioned, Fredrin's 100% right now. So think about it.
He is. And we know that teams love the Fredrin for a reason. We'll see exactly how that change happens. But of course, as a way of expressing our gratitude for everyone's continuous support for MPL Philippines, we'll be giving you guys redeemable in-game codes.
All you have to do is watch out for codes that will pop out during the games and redeem it via the MLBB app.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember during regular season when everybody's like, where's the code?
Where's the code?
Where's the code? We heard you.
What is the code? Stone Cold, what is the code?
Where's the code?
Stone Cold.
and we were all talking about the hashtag stuff we had back then. Of course, we had the TikTok goodie bag. But now we've got codes for you guys, so keep an eye out for them, of course. But we're just seconds away from the draft here for game number 3. We already threw it out there. Hey, is the Fredrin going to be banned out? Is he going to be picked up? We'll find out exactly here. And what other adjustments does the Moskov go in the hands once again of Domeng for this game 3? Only time will tell upon us, and also for Spider Miles.
That right there is a solid ban. You ban the Moskov so that you can use that ban instead of the Fredrin, and then see what happens.
Yeah, the Moskov proven to be deadly here, obviously. Throughout, even in the games they lost, Moskov looked really good in the hands of Domeng.
Yeah, it's always a bomb waiting to hold up. Wait, instead of banning out the Fredrin, they're saying, you know what? What do you pick first? We're going to get the Harith. Your play.
Were we talking about the Harith on Ohem earlier? It's like, you know what? There's a low chance that he picks it up. No.
He's not very Harith reliant, actually.
Yeah.
Look at his gold lane heroes. You're looking at the likes of the Nathan. You're looking at the likes of a Kairi and a Claude. And now suddenly, you know what? Maybe in the break, he started picking up the Harith reps. And now you see the response here from MINANA EVOS, looking to recreate their game 2 draft here with the Fredrin and the Novaria. And the Moskov is not yet banned out, so they might pick that up 3rd pick here.
Okay. First, well, there it is. With the Harith, they're going to pair up here. Okay.
This early?
We're going to see that this early. The Carmilla pick.
Let's go. I love this, to be honest. Obviously, it hasn't won yet, but you know what? We're looking for reps here. And obviously, it's been a very long break.
Yep.
Let's see what they came up with during that time.
And again, we don't know what this is going to be. A jungle Carmilla, which was previously shown in the regular season to very little success.
Yep.
And then it could also be a roam Carmilla, which has been making the rounds in the grapevine.
Hey, you know what's funny is I recently played the roam Carmilla, and it's interesting the way that it works. And when you look at this lineup already, the first 2 picks, it could be devastating if they're able to actually utilize the Carmilla for what it's worth. Now, across from them, we're already seeing the bans come out, of course, by both teams. We're down to the last one for the 2nd phase. And the fact, too, that MINANA EVOS gets Domeng the Moskov again, and you have the Novaria here again, it could just already be a great recipe to success for this Game 3. Now, real quick, too, Lancey, he has 6.18 damage dealt per gold, the highest among all players in the league. And I remember it was Redmar during the regular season that talked about Lancey's impact and how much he's had as the mid laner throughout the regular season.
That's why I missed him so much in the last week of the regular season, is because
Horology is my craft.
he's back in heat.
Is my name.
He's got artillery in his hands. And with this Novaria, which I still think they're going to revert to a normal lineup unless they reveal that they won't. What else is left out there? They're going to keep it down to the wire, man. They're not going to reveal the fact that this might still be a Novaria in Miles' hands.
But that's amazing, right? Somehow, you know, MINANA developed a weapon they can use in the playoffs.
Yep.
Miles on a Novaria, man. That's pretty. I'm sure that threw a wrench in the cog of all the research all the teams have done.
And they don't have to, because the Minotaur is still out there. So they can still go back to a normal lineup anyways.
Great flex. I love it.
Good flex available. Once again, Benedetta going to be picked up here for Blacklist International. And this lineup is looking a little weird for me. You know, I know we talked about the Carmilla here. We have seen Ohed perform on this Harith. You can see the stats right there. They're broken down here for that pick. But how do they round this out? That is the Kaja that they're going to pull out here. I don't know. How are we feeling about the lineup from Blacklist?
It's very centric into like a single, single target. They're probably not going to deviate. They're going to deviate a little bit from what they're used to.
Yeah.
Just go wombo combo, all 5-man, all in one location. They can't do that. If they do that here, they actually will be in trouble a little bit.
It's pick off and then punish if there's backup. That's what Blacklist wants to do. And if I was MNNE EVOS, I would bum rush a Radiant Armor.
Yeah,
because look, the only real physical damage that they have is Benedetta.
That's what I was looking at.
On a Bunjingjing, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. There's a whole lot of magic damage here. And, of course, the Florin is picked up for Spider Miles here in their shade of the Ube. And so now, is there to deal with this?
I think so, yes, because that's how you answer the whole kill squad approach that Blacklist has. Again, it's not like they want to go all 5-man. It's more of 2- and 3-man killing coalitions like ganking all around the map. And then what you have is the ultimate on the Florin, healing and nullifying that threat.
It looks really good right now. Obviously, with the swings that
Hi,
MNNE
guys.
they've proven that they can kind of pull off these kind
Homie
of
noodles,
that,
tsaka danggit.
Can kind of be flexed one way or another, and they got so much out of it. And yeah,
Tara.
Radiant Armor, 100%, right? I feel like, it slowed down a little bit, but the damage is, you're still going to get maximum efficiency from it just because of the composition that Blacklist has.
Yeah, it's all magic.
All magic damage. Radiant Armor's going to be a huge
ASMR to boy.
pickup to go ahead and deal with that. And once again, as we look at the lineups here, we'll see exactly how it's executed on both sides as we jump into Land of Dawn once again for game number 3. It's 1-1 in the series. MINANA EVOS and Blacklist International fighting for the playoff lives here, of course. And remember, it's an endurance matchup. We could go 5 games, and whoever wins the series has to face off later today, waiting for MNNE. Now already early aggression, of course, going on. Haji gets that vision available to him, but dealing with the floor in the air for Blacklist will be something they have to do.
That's a good delay. Haji forced Kaizen to take his time with that purple buff, which I think puts Sensui up by about 5-10 seconds. And that's a big deal when you're early jungling rotation, first run.
MNNE can just stick together
Binigay na naman nila yung Moskov.
and still be pretty much in a good shape, even with Haji here. Obviously, without the Divine Judgment, they should not do as much damage. Even though gonna be slowed down just a little bit, but not anything. Right now, with the protection provided by Spider Miles, they can really just get work done.
All right, so with that too, again, we're gonna have to see if this time around the success is gonna be better for this jungle Carmilla in the hands of Sensui. I still think if you look at the way that the team fights are gonna go, especially as we
hindi ako uminom niyan.
seconds for Carmilla to come up, they could really work in favor of the way Carmilla works and deal with that. But MNNE EVOS so far, this is something we've seen time and time again throughout the series. This 3-4 members up here on that XP lane to go ahead and try to get this level 4 available. We know these ultimates are going to be crucial for them. So with that too, Spider Miles having this Florin, focusing Mark, mind you, as well, will help deal with this, dealing with some of that burst damage they should be able to throw out. So Turtle's now up. Both teams have the level 4s that they want available to them. Yue and Edward just getting it. But it looks like MNNE EVOS is going to go ahead and give the first objective up.
Now they are going to slow it down. Obviously, they can't engage just yet.
Doming!
Doming though! No, my goodness, that was perfectly executed by Haji. The game sense of this guy, knowing that the recall probably isn't going to be completed in time, gets a kill over the Blacklist.
Yep, there was nowhere Doming was going to go, honestly. His dash must have been on cooldown. He has a flicker, but they can reposition. Oh, what?
Oh my god, the return spear of destruction going in stonks. Gonna be able to walk out of harm's way as well with a dash. Oh, I love this coming from MNNE.
That's
Instant
why
punchback.
it was premeditated. He knew that he was going to go for that. And I think Spider Miles played as if they were going to play defensively, but wait.
Oh, patay.
Defensive doesn't work, especially if you have Edward going straight on your back. Now Kaysen definitely going to be in trouble. Not able to use that great health. Another kill for Blacklist. They seem to be upping tempo quite a lot here.
Yeah, just with a couple moves, they get themselves this lead now this early on. And they're going to punish. Like, this MNNE EVOS lineup that they have, they're able to punish. They know, too, anytime that Divine Judgment's available, they have to respect it. They have to be careful of it. So they're going to try to force them back a little bit further here, too. You see, once again, Edward picking up that Sea Halberd. He's got it available to deal with Spider Miles, that sustainability. So you see this building up quickly already for Blacklist.
And look at that, 2,000 gold lead. What's that got for you? Yes, there was the clap back from Doming, but Ohib here with the Starlion Scythe already. So I think with just this one item, I think big team fights are abound.
100%.
They can go for pickoffs immediately.
He can even duel out Doming on this Moskov, right? Because of that.
Yeah.
100%.
And again, it's up to Doming to really just have this game. And it's funny because 3 games now, different battle spells, right? Inspire to the Purify to now he's got the Flicker available to try to maybe even avoid getting Divine Judgment. You know, that's one of the main things he has to do. So with this objective up again, Flicker from Haji.
Speaking of Divine Judgment, Lancey just has nowhere to go. If Haji chooses you, you will go down, especially with the Sui, Edward, and Yue close by.
There you go, 100% turtle take rate for Blacklist so far. And I'm curious, we haven't really seen much of a collapse from Tensui. He's just happy taking these objectives. Like, what's the game plan here once MINANA EVOS start to fight back? Because look, Blacklist has free reign.
100%, look at that. Tensui just happy to be there, basically, right? He's like, I don't need to do much. I just have to be here, have my HP good, have retry.
He wants to press his ult.
Yeah, if you just press the ult with this lineup that they have,
he's fine.
It's devastating in the clumped up thing they're going to be from MNNE EVOS. Look at this top side as well.
Yeah, it's a 1v3 for Edward. Let's see if he can walk on out there, but no, it's Praise Wrath. Make sure that is not going to be possible. But it will be traded on the bottom at least for Blacklist, so at least a 1-for-1.
It's kind of what they have to do, right, from MNNE EVOS. It's like we have to focus down, kind of bully Edward if he's left to his own. Because really, when we're talking about these team fights, it's tough. And, you know, dealing with that, it's a question of how fast can MNNE scale with this lineup that they have. Doming obviously going to need a little time. They will get this turret in the top side down.
Oh, nga ako, nanonood din ako dito.
Also has to build up and scale up. So, again, it's more so just dealing with the timer here. Vision's going to be available to them. They're going to hold down to this tier 1 the best they can. But look at that, Tensui just driving them off.
See, I'm just here, guys.
I'm here.
More than the question of how fast MINANA can scale up, it's also a question of how can they even do that? Because Blacklist, again, they are a kill squad lineup. They just send 2 or 3 dudes to any time.
Para sa akin,
and they
medyo
can
ano
usually
dito,
secure that.
gandang pinapakita
How do
ng
you
Blacklist.
farm up? How do you give Doming the
Control
space
lado
if you're
nila.
always
Kontrolado ang mapa ngayon,
of getting picked off? So now, MINANA EVOS, much like in Game 2, I think they thought they could go for the same tempo, but Blacklist with this Kaja says, no sir, not like that. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And now with this 3K gold lead,
Kaja talagang
I'll call it now,
problema
100% turtle take rate. MINANA are just looking at the late game now.
Yeah, especially now that Kaysen can't even go near with fear of a Divine
Oh,
Judgment.
yun din yung lason dyan, yung lason
the presence, I would say, of any Kaja that is picked up. Flicker or not, as long as Divine Judgment is there, and MINANA EVOS has to deal with it. And it's something that really when you approach the game, you don't want to be caught out with this lineup that they have. And even bottom side, look at this Doming and Edward.
Oh no.
Edward, he's on the hunt
Patay
here.
si Edward.
Of course, that's another 3 members that MINANA has to use. Make that 4 to take care of Edward. But Edward just surviving those crucial seconds while the rest of the team is up on top.
Abun Jingjing died for this turret, and it's worth it because he took the attention and the focus of 5 members of MINANA to get there.
That's twice now, right? It was Edward's life for a turret.
Yep.
And that's those minor plays, those minor sacrifices that they make is what's opening up the map for them to work around with. And still, Blacklist International, they got themselves nearly a 3K gold lead to work with and multiple turrets. So their position for this Lord, when it does come up in about a minute, is exactly where they want to be with the lineup. Now you did see Kaysen, he picked up the Radiant Armor. We'll see exactly how the items are falling into place here.
There it is. You're also looking at a photo from Spider Miles. Abunjingjing here, rocking the Hunter Strike and that. See Albert? Oh no, again! Again!
The hunt is on, and now it's going to be Edward who's being hunted down with a follow-up kill coming in from Lancey. Mission successful here for MNNE.
I gotta say, that was clean.
Could get a push happening here.
Third time's a charm.
To dance toe-to-toe with the Lord dance that's going to happen here. Now that it's up, it's spawned. And really, Sensui, this is where it's like his time to shine with this Carmilla pick.
Yep.
Because so far, he's just been kind of up front, being like, hey, look at me.
He's just been there. That's all.
I'll tell you, Joseph, Carl, MNNE EVOS cannot dance against Blacklist. If there was if there was a chance that they were to show up here.
Everyone to collapse so he can get the perfect curse of blood from the Carmilla.
And he doesn't even want all of them. He wants like 3 or 4, 2 or 3 minimum.
And that's damage done already. And we're going to see if that's going to happen here. As we do see everyone just making sure there is space in between everyone. Going on the other side of the map though, and now the collapse is happening for Blacklist. This time around, there is just no way for them to fight.
Binigay niyo pa rin ba naman yung vendetta ni Edward?
As well. Space is being run down here by Domeng. And now, Edward alongside Sensui. The crowd knows what's about to happen here.
He's got a flicker.
It's a question of who goes first, who pulls the trigger. Sensui with the backup here, and that's just, I don't know how to deal with that. If you were Domeng, you would just, oh my goodness, right up with Haji as well. Flicker already used up. Domeng trying his damnedest to stay alive, but it's no-go.
Oh man, Domeng. He didn't have a choice.
An XP laner, a roamer doing that? Hell, maybe a stretch, a jungler? But that's a gold laner that brought what? A good 5 to 10 seconds of time across the map from his teammates to defend. And now MNNE EVOS see a big old Lord knocking on their door.
Waves are cleared, but the Lord is still up on top side. Down goes the Turtle Guard. Cases are quite low here. Sensui still falling. Cases the first rat gets some HP back, but looks like Turtle Lord rather is going to be going straight for that tower. Oh, Spear of Destruction can be triggered, but Domeng decides to go the safe route. They go for the clean defense.
Did you see that? Did you see the Carmilla ult in work there for that fight? It forced even the flicker from Spider Miles to deal with. So that is a preview of base defenses for MNNE EVOS.
And it's not even a matter of itemization or the fact that it's all magic. Damage is damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can only reduce it and heal it away for so long. And now Blacklist, 5K ahead, clearly rocked MNNE EVOS to their core. They penetrated top lane, and now that's permanent damage that MNNE EVOS have to tend to. And across the map, something to note here, you only can hope for a clutch SOD or a clutch DPZ because those are ults that Blacklist see coming from a mile away. You have to know that Edward is never where you think he is.
That's the tough thing to deal with. Edward has done a lot, actually, for the way that things have unfolded. Again, with his life for a lot of this, to get the space to work with around this map. And now that you find yourselves at this position, if you're MNNE EVOS, you don't want to always have to rely on Domeng to do that, right? But the pressure that he can put on the side lanes is great.
Yep.
But if he ends up getting collapsed on, sandwiched in, what have you, he needs to be there for the fights, of course, right? Especially as we get further on. So you want to be able to protect Domeng at this point in the game and allow him to pump out the damage that you need to see from the Mozgov. Since we're going to find Kaizen here, though.
Finally a fight being committed by MNNE, or at least, you know, figured out here by Kaizen. I don't know if they really want to fight this or not. Maybe they're trying to gauge whether or not they can actually take Sensui right now on this Carmilla. And you know what? The signal's been given. This Carmilla is way too tough.
You want me to drop some nuggets of wisdom on y'all?
Drop the nuggets of knowledge.
Dropping. You know who protects Doming best? Doming. Doming protects Doming best. His positioning is going to be key in these big engagements. And if by some chance he dodges the Curse of Blood AoE, then it's fine. Kirk's down.
Down goes the penalty zone, and Kirk, I think he's already done
Goes
his job.
in.
As here comes Doming. He disappeared.
Oh, where'd he go?
He disappeared.
What?
Doming's gone. I need a replay of that. I swear that I need the slow-mo because the moment he landed,
they popped him.
He popped like a big.
He didn't protect himself, Leo.
He's somewhere in the astral zone.
He's somewhere out there.
Oh my goodness. You know, at that point I was like, all right, he kind of has to go in.
He's coming in.
But then he was gone.
Yeah, because again, I told y'all.
Nawala parang bula yung Moscow pa.
Doming is Doming.
He didn't do it that time. He didn't do it that time.
I jinxed it.
What you meant
Spear
is
of
don't click
death
the spear.
of Moscow.
Yes.
Grabe
And I guess
din yung ano, yung
in the middle
lapag
of a fight.
na ano doon.
There was some level of frustration there.
Literal
MNNE was like, you know what?
spear of
We need to deal the damage. It's now or never.
Nahulugan pa ng ano, malaking
And now
ano.
they're staring down the
Eternal
barrel of a
Guard.
loaded gun. Blacklist might just end it
Besa na.
now.
It's going to be tough for
Jackers
MNNE EVOS
Blast,
once again.
na-burst siya
Dealing with
kagad
the
dun.
Lord. We'll be able to make quick work of it, but now the next wave is going to be pushing in here. Blacklist wants these next two turrets.
Okay.
Kaizen goes in.
Yep, Bullhead this time around with the HP bars getting demolished this time around by Kaizen. And now the fight is being given to them by MNNE, who seems so confident now. Up on front is Kirk, obviously doing the work. Sensui not even lasting a few seconds in the front of the speed.
Oheb also, just as quickly as Doming disappeared, got clapped by a single Appraiser's Wrath.
Bang, bang.
MNNE EVOS striking back.
Director, item
Just
check.
when we thought Doming got deleted.
Yun.
Quickly,
nakaantay,
the gold lead
naka-Twilight
and the space
armor.
advantage that
Saka
Blacklist
na-
had is now getting deleted across the map as they make
Pawisan ako
their
to
way
sa-
down the mid lane here.
Grabe.
A couple shots happening, but MNNE
Grabe
EVOS wants
sustain ni
more.
Kaizen.
They could get turned around so quickly. Haji all alone. Same with Edward. Can't even survive the
Yun na naman,
onslaught
DPZ.
of spears being thrown down by Doming this time
Wala
around.
na,
That was a
nabalik.
tasty
Parang
DPZ,
mababaliktad
a
ata.
delayed penalty zone. You saw how Kirk was actually holding the ult
Why na
and
sila
waiting
Edward?
for that tail end of the dash on Edward until he dropped it and killed him. Amazing read. Again, the game IQ on this young man, Kirk, who is a pseudo-rookie.
Kailangan
MNNE
magpaunat
EVOS
si Sensui
previously
dyan.
played for
Sensui lang
RSPH, didn't
maunat
see
dyan
much
eh.
field action, and now he's where he belongs. And
Pwedeng
he's,
tunawin
what,
ni Doming.
ahead?
May sustain
Oh, no,
din
no,
yung
he's
ano
still
eh.
behind Benedetta.
Plus yung
He's
damage
still
pa ng
behind
ano,
Edward,
DPZ,
but
ni
the way
Kirk.
he's playing, it's as if that gap never existed.
Dapat
It's as if
dominance.
MNNE
Isa lang
EVOS
dominance, no?
isn't even behind 1,000
Wala,
gold.
walang dominance sa side
And
ng
Kirk
ano.
doing his job essentially, right? I mean, he's going to be ahead of gold.
Kahit si Sensui, wala siyang dominance.
Goes around the map, gets all the gold
Ah,
sources.
bubuo pa ata, bubuo
But
pa.
compared to other Charisma players probably
Na yung,
right now,
nandiyan na yung leg plate eh.
he's doing a damn good job.
Gentlemen,
Ano
check
yan?
this out.
Tinan mo si ano?
The whole
Tinan mo
early
si
to mid
Dom,
game
si ano, si
for
Kaizen.
Sensui being rather
O-dominance sa
I don't know,
isna
is
eh.
the
Dapat
B word,
nag-dominance sa
boring.
isna to eh.
Yeah.
Ewan ko lang kung dominance sa isna yung binibigay.
Led him to not gaining much gold. See,
Oh,
Kaizen
dominance
is
na, naka-leg
farming up
plate
more,
na.
and this is a losing team.
Pating Kaizen eh.
They were behind for a majority of the game, and still he was
Kaizen,
farming up more.
nag-immortality yung binuo
And
niya.
with all that's happened, they pretty much diminished the gold lead. I mean, it's 1,000, but
Pero may
again,
dominance
they had,
naman din
what,
kasi si Kirk.
5,000 plus
Yun yung maganda
goals
dito
of
sa
Blacklist
lineup
and
ng
now it's
Minana.
negligible.
Mga
Yeah,
tanky.
they don't care because Doming's in the position now that they want him to be.
Athena Shield lang, wala
How
na.
they've
Tangina, meron pa pala silang ano?
into a late game position where all of the struggles in the early
Ano
game
ba silang ano ba yun?
are left null and void. Amazing. Now this is a fair dash. I would say this is a 50-50 Lord
Dogay,
dash. This is a good contest.
Florin.
Doreen.
50 here. Both junglers having the
Sustain nga yung ginagawa dito ng ano. Sustain yung ginagawa na
Ano to eh?
Minana.
back to it.
Blacklist
Look at
versus
Haji's
Blacklist to eh.
positioning, waiting.
Oh, ito yung blacklist na ano talaga, itong lineup
focus
nila.
though.
That's
Ito
so
yung
far
comfort
back
blacklist
down.
lang
Goes
ngayon.
his down force.
Boom.
And
And
Minana
now,
seem to be
Brock
quite
agad
willing to
yung
take it.
Nakuna pa rin si Kaizen dito. Binabaran lahat ng Filipino skills.
And the quick committed.
Pero sustain pa rin, kaya.
Wala.
Nakatakas na si Kaizen si Edward, dumabay pero Kaizen, patapan ni
A
Yawi.
little bit of too much protection.
Ano yan eh? Harit eh.
Literally skedaddled out of there. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Protect yourself, may syrup death na naman, pero apat yan. Ay, lima.
Meron na ano to, Holy Crystal, no?
Overprotected himself.
Holy
He
Crystal.
excised himself from the team
Yo,
fight.
Heb, oh.
And I think
Meron,
that's what
meron na,
Blacklist
meron
read.
na.
They read the map so well and said, you know what? We saw Doming down
Ano eh?
bottom, collapse.
Eh, ang kunat ni Hoy, Bo, may ano, Oracle.
as they get ready for this next
Wala na
assault.
kompleto ng item
MNNE
yan,
EVOS finds themselves on the defense.
Maganda
They
din
Ayan eh.
once again have great
So-
clear.
sustain build.
The rest of the lineup here, Kaizen will come up for this
Sustainable
defense.
dito yung ano,
This
Minana.
time around, expect Haji doesn't have the
Ang damage lang
Lahat-
talaga
lahat-
kasi.
judgment available.
Ang damage lang nila dyan si
We'll see if they
Moscow.
can hold on.
Ang lahat sila naka-oracle na para ano eh, kung ano yung batuhin ng Blacklist. So matitira pang buhay sa mga ultimate ng ano ng Blacklist is doon. Kaya ito nga depensahan ng ano ng MNNE EVOS to.
Here comes the Sound Force for Oheb. Down goes Springtrap. Good damage in. What? Look at the Eternal Guard. Instant punch back coming in from Blacklist.
Tangina kasi tira na
Huwag
tira
lang
si
lumalag
Doming.
na kuha.
Hold on, and they hold on to one turret. Woo!
Ang
And they're
aga
able to
kasi
do
iba
that
to.
at the cost of
Yung
just
aga
Kurt.
kasi iba to ni Doming yung ulti
Well, let me
niya.
remind you, there was a Lord inside
Tingnan
the
mo.
base. And MNNE
Kung
EVOS had to
binato niya
both
yung
fight that
kanina
fight,
nung nag-ulti si Kurt,
protect their base, and
boss
still
na yun,
keep
di ba?
themselves safe.
Oh, they might lose it here.
Ay kung binato niya yun sa
We'll see
banda-banda
though,
doon.
as the turret does go down.
Their base.
Doming dashed
Baka
in
naubos pa
already.
niya yun.
I think that is the signal
Oo.
for Blacklist to go here.
Hindi nag-aabangan siya ng ano eh, na ultimate ni Kurt.
And the base all
Ito
alone.
pinasok ko ng Blacklist International, bumabaya sa Tore. Walang minion. Start bottom lane, papasok dito, makakatitin sa pa rin. Oheb almost, got piso ang buhay.
He's exploding because of the Vexana.
Alam, makauna.
It does
Makauna
seem
tang ano
like
dyan,
the
eh,
minions
mo,
are
yan
to
na
be
ni
here
Oheb
in
yan.
time. And another Zaman Force on the floor. Kurt with a last minute penalty zone.
Wala na to.
Clear that way. And it is
Kailangan daw nila
Blacklist.
Pero Kurt, baitag, laglagan ni Sensui. Match point para sa Blacklist International.
Ano gamit ni Sensui na
match
hero?
point
Tangina.
in the series against MNNE EVOS. It's
Tinawis,
2-1.
B-Wise, oh.
Game 2, MNNE EVOS brings out
Ayan, shout out sa
the
PYs.
Rome.
3-1.
Si Wise?
Game 3, Blacklist brings out the
Lumostra.
Carmela jungle. Getting its first
Sabi ni Wise, 3-1 daw.
13.
3-1 daw. Abangan natin to.
It's strange
Ay,
that
babalik
they
ko nga,
only
screenshot ko
reared
nga.
its ugly head
Nakita niyo si
towards
Kofi,
the
Kofi
last
TV nandyan.
5 minutes of the game, right?
Kasama
Wherein
nila
even
B1.
inside
Tropa
their
nila,
own
ano,
base,
B1 yun eh.
was uncomfortable to pick
Kofi.
fights.
Copy.
So now, we're at match point, just one
Pero
more.
Tropa nila yan.
Zaman Force,
The
Hulog
13.
Eternal Guard,
About
burst
time.
kagad, ubus.
Getting Game 2, Blacklist
Sila
in
lagi
13.
About time.
And to be fair,
Pupuruhan.
its threat really only reared its ugly head.
Wala, sumubok ano eh, pumasok yung ano eh, Minana Kurt eh. Kaso nga lang,
Even inside their own base, MNNE
na ano,
was
delay.
uncomfortable to pick fights.
Di nakakahabol si Domi sa ano sa pagbawas.
Ito.
Match point
Screenshot ko yung ano ni Wise.
in the series against MNNE EVOS. It's 2-1.
Nostra.
Game 2, MNNE EVOS brings out the
I-replay mo na lang, tapos i-click mo ulit yung live.
Kaya nga eh.
I-post mo lang doon sa ano sa 3-1 Nostra ni Wise.
Blacklist International
Pag natalo ang Blacklist, popost ko
takes
yun.
game number 3. At katulad ng mga sinabi,
Kasi Riyash, nandun din pala eh.
dito sa Champions Arena,
Yari,
isa
kompleto dito,
na
dami
lang
tao.
at mag-a-advance ang Blacklist
Yogel kasi
International.
ito eh,
Sino
Seren
nga
Mar.
ba ang the one para sa Blacklist?
Yun, no?
Sensui!
Sensui.
MVP Sensui.
Carmela, and pag-usapan natin
Hindi sa regular,
ang
yun yung ano,
Carmela pick up
tinalo
ng
sila
Blacklist
ng
International
Smart
in the
Omega
jungle.
sa dalawang ano,
The biggest
back-to-back
utility of the Carmela, yes, mahirap
line-up
siya
na
patayin
talo.
dahil sa ability niya, the first skill,
Chuck
yung mga
Bamba.
Rosas, umiikot sa kanya
Ayun,
kung saan
Wala, hindi talaga siya nag-ano.
kinukuha niya yung magic
Kuneho at
and physical
Chester, hindi siya
defense ng mga
nag-dominance.
kalaban niya. And then at the same
Hindi.
time,
Hindi siya nag-dominance.
dominating damage.
Blade armor,
And
immortality
then,
na lang.
of course, yung ultimate
Which is
ng
good
isang
din,
Carmela,
Kasi
Tinalo
late
niya
game
yung ano,
50%
yung kay
of the damage.
Moscow.
50% of the damage dealt by
Okay
your
din
team
naman dominance.
dun sa mga targets na namarkahan
Bukod
niya,
sa may ano, slow.
mabibigay sa
Slow.
kung sino
Tank
man
din, may tank.
ang masakop sa ultimate ng
Pero
isang
pansin ko ba't
Carmela.
hindi,
So, damage
hindi
will
uso
get
ngayon yung
split.
ano,
Kaya nakita
anti-kiras.
natin for Blacklist International, their priorities in this draft were 3 heroes
Na-nerf ba
kung
Sa
nakuha
anti-crash
nila
kasi kung heavy damager yung mga ano, yung mga bumabanat sa'yo.
The Harith, the Vexana,
Kumbaga hindi mo siya ma-utilize kung ano, hindi masyadong high carry yung mga ano, mga hero.
ng burst damage. Kasi kung
Kumbaga ang pipili ka anti-crash sa ano, o yung ano, anti-crash at saka ano, dominance. Yung dominance ka na lang.
Across everyone.
Tsaka blade, mas maganda pa yung blade eh.
Speaking of getting caught though,
Oo.
we could see that in
dito.
that highlight, we have to mention,
Ganda ng
of
mga
course,
pinakita dito,
Lancy
Minana,
in
kaso
the
yun na.
Novaria.
Yung
Now,
Zaman
Minana
Force,
Evos, nakita naman natin
Eternal
yung
Guard
pag-adjustment
combo,
with
yun
the
talaga yung
Carmilla pickup. They picked up 2 heroes
AOE yun
na
Pag nabaksa agad, masakit ka agad.
backline lang.
Plus
Ayaw
may
nila
Curse
masyado
Blast
lumapit
pa,
sa laban.
Death
So that
Grass.
means that's less heroes getting
Dito,
damaged by the
Spear of
Carmilla
Death,
split.
Clippers.
Pero even if
Wala.
you have a front line that has the Fredrin, has the Terizla, na nakita
ginawa
natin
nito.
Ito yung pinto ni ano ni Kaysen, yung binibake niya yung blacklist dito, yung nakuha niya si Oheb.
one of the picks that really changed the
Kasi hindi naman nakalabas kagad yung ano, yung Minana.
the big patch that we had midway
Dapat
through
tatlo
the
makuha
season,
dito eh.
mahirap talaga makakomeback sa scenario na yon. At nakita natin isa sa mga key
Sayang
plays
yung mga fronta
ay
ni
yung pag-frontline
Kaysen,
bigla
follow
ni
up talaga
Oheb
coming
to surprise
from-
MNNE EVOS and BLACKLIST International.
Maganda yung mga pasok ni Kaysen, yung mga play na ginagawa niya. Ang problema yung pagpasok ng ibang members ng ano eh. Hindi siya nababakapan kagad.
Ng ultimate ng
So this na yung last
So
play.
this is a lot of pressure for one Carmilla.
Kaya ako
Because
medyo
with
hindi
the
talaga
Kaja
ako
as
benta
your
sa,
roamer,
ano eh, sa
pick off type ng
Novaria.
roamer ng
Aside
BLCK
sa early
International.
siya,
So hindi naman
maganda.
masyado
May mga
mag-frontline si
capability.
Haji
Pero
ganun katagal.
madaming
Siguro
mas okay ngayon
labag
sa
ng
meta eh.
skill,
Pwede
get
Odette.
the pick off with the
Pwede kang-
Divine
yun yung sabi
Judgment.
ko, Nana.
Then magbaback na siya. Maybe to provide
pwede
a little
Lilia.
feel for the backline. Kung
Lilia at saka Nana, maganda pang disrupt during team fight talaga.
Team fight. Kasi
International
yun
would
yung
be
composition.
the better than
Oo.
Assault
Edward,
ni
yung
Charge Assault ni Kaysen.
technically pwede
Kirk,
mo nakalagay
may
doon yung ultimate ni Vexana kasi
DPZ.
parang 6
Automatic
member na yun
tapon
para
mo
sa
lang yung
Blacklist.
Molina,
And of
magkakaroon
course,
ka agad ng
the
disrupt.
Carmilla as well.
Plus
So
yung ult ni-
again,
Ang ganda
sincerely,
agad
really
yun.
one of
Cancel
the
out
best
na agad yung
examples of
skills.
the utility
At AOE
jungler
din
in
yung
terms of
ano niya.
Yung ult.
yes,
Feeling ko,
and in the late game, kung hindi mo matamaan
Feeling
yung
ko kaya
retry mo,
nagnobarya
eh,
yan.
kawawa naman tayo.
Dahil sa ano,
a lot of
sa
pressure
Moscow.
put
Vision.
into the shoulders of
Vision
Sensui.
Moscow.
MVP performance still
Kumbaga,
is what he
pagka
got.
nag...
Looking at
Kasi
the
di ba
items
pagka
here, of course, a popular
nag-ulti
build
yung
for
Novaria,
the Kajas of the world.
lumalaki hitbox.
Dominance Ice into the
So
fleeting
kung,
time para mahabol mo na
ano,
talaga
madali
agad
tatamaan ng
yung
Moscow ng ulti
ultimate
niya.
as your
At
lineup
least sa,
plays around the ultimate of the
sa
Kaja.
clash.
And because of that,
Makakapasok agad yung
BLCK International
Moscow
played
ng
around their gold
mabilis
lane,
kapag ka
making sure that Oheb can
medyo
come up really
Mobility.
quickly. Looking back at the lineup
Okay
of
lang
MNNE
din yun.
EVOS,
Pero I
other
think
than
vision
sabihin
din
natin
talaga yung priority nila dito.
vision
yung
din niya.
May
Moscow
gadget
ng
sa
MNNE
side ng
EVOS,
May
Black.
there's
Kaja
not
kasi.
really a hero that stands out as
May
something
Kaja,
that can
ano
give
ano
the
din
Harith
yan
a hard time.
Push camping din yung
Yung
Kaja.
Harith nga ni Oheb, may
Kung
purified.
sa Bisaya pa yan,
Mahuli
tawag
siya sa mga
namin dyan,
crowd control
Ilaga
nila.
Gaming.
Kaysen,
Alam mo yung
Kirk,
mga
Spider-Man,
daga?
any other crowd control
Tago.
sa MNNE
Nasa
EVOS.
tagulang yan.
Tago lang.
At natin yan sa damage na
Kaya pang
101.5
anti-daga.
thousand
Kunin
damage
sino
dealt
ba?
by that Harith.
O kasi bang wrong move kaya no ay Kaja pag ano eh, natamaan ka bigla eh, bigla na nagkamali ng ano ng daan eh.
Harith will get split
Anti-daga.
by members of
Anti-daga.
MNNE EVOS. Nakita naman natin with MNNE EVOS,
Bro,
they
yun
showed
nga,
one of their
pwede
bright
naman.
spots
Odette.
here is magaling din naman sila
Laban din yung
magbasa
Louis,
ng mapa
if I
at
could
maghanap ng
remember
trades.
correctly.
Yun
Louis, at
best
saka si
quality
ano.
for MNNE EVOS, I would say.
Wala
Other
kasi
than
silang
ngayon,
ano,
yung
no?
sinabi ni Coach Paulo,
Walang
expertise
AOE.
nila with their ability
Burst.
to trade or
Oo.
poke
After
and
star shatter,
magaling sila
yun,
mag-team
one
fight
hit lang
is
din
that
yun eh, or
if
AOE,
ever
pero hindi
kahit
siya
na
ganun
natalo
ka,
sila, nagko-commit sila ng
lason.
isang plane sa
Or
ibang
sabihin mo, fire.
Hindi siya ganun naman, i-sustain mo na, hindi ka kalakas yung ano, damage niya pag bitawan.
konting bawi, whether
Lilia
it's going to be
sana,
a split
okay.
burst, whether it's
lugi
going to
na
be a
sila sa
single
ano eh, sa
kill.
burst ng
At
ano eh.
siguro nga dahil
Ng Blacklist
mas nakita
eh.
natin yung Moscow pick
Ganda sa clash ng Vexana eh.
EVOS is prioritized.
Oo.
Okay,
Talaga,
sana yung ano, yung
No matter
barya,
how
kung
good
may
you are,
magandang ano,
with splitting the map,
magandang roam.
with opening up avenues
Hirap din yung
against
Spider-Man,
a
sa dikit
snowball
eh.
Harith.
Sustain,
Ang
sustain.
hirap
Pero kung
talaga.
poplorin mo.
So, a question for the Champions Arena. Will game number... Anong game na ba ulit? Game number 4, right? Game number 4?
Match point
Anong
na.
game na ulit?
Match point ng Blacklist, pero kung kaya tong gumawa ng milagro dito mga Minana, dalhin to sa game number 5. May chance,
Blacklist heavy
reverse sweep.
crowd.
Kaya
Will game
binibigyan ng
number 4
Blacklist
go
to.
to MNNE
Yung next match pa eh.
EVOS?
Nakabang tayong Oni.
And you still hear the Tigers roar. Will the journey end here or will it continue to a game number 5? The question will be answered.
Take notes,
Masters,
take notes.
paso.
Pero maganda na rin to. Maganda na rin yung ano, yung
Thanks so much, Renmar. Great to
nakapasok
hear.
yung Minana. At least na-try
Support,
lang
of
playoffs.
course, forth from both sides
Oo,
for
tagal
this.
niyang ano.
Man, it's match
panahon-
point for Blacklist
Napalaki
International
yung-
and
Tatlong season.
the fans behind us. I think this is the
Tama ba?
MNNE EVOS side.
Tatlong season, di ba?
I heard
Anim,
some
anim.
force from here.
Tatlong season.
They gotta get a dub.
Ano ba?
Take us
Tatlo
to
lang.
game number
NXP
5.
pa dati, NXP.
Imagine that again. Whichever team
Pero sa Minana, tatlo pa lang.
has to
Kailan
go
last
play
pumasok
again
ang
later.
NXP?
Yep, the
Season
gauntlet,
6.
the play-ins.
Season
And
6.
it's, there's gonna be a bit of a gap, but there you go.
Yung
We're talking about
Renegade tandem match,
really
yun
wanting
ang
to be
last
champion.
nila
You have to
Yawi.
prove yourself to be able to
Oh, yun
endure
yung last nila,
things
di ba?
like
Season
this.
6
This
yun.
is being part of it. This
Yan
is
ba si
their
Doggy?
part. This
Sa ano, sa HBE, pero kayo Minana, kay Kinabanog. Pangatlo pa lang.
Ba't nakapasok ba yun?
Time since 2021.
Wala.
Hindi pa nakapasok. Wala pa, ngayon pala nakapasok to.
Kaya nga.
I-boss.
The last time
Wala pa.
was in season 7.
Wow.
Wala nang NXP, wala pa.
Simula nung NXT, hindi pa sila nakapasok.
Wala pa, ngayon pa lang.
Ang last na nakapasok si NNE. Yun yung tinali-zero sila ni karltzy.
So now again,
sinabit
it's a test of
sila.
endurance and stamina. And again, how deep your pool
Look
goes.
ni karltzy dun, no? Mag-isa
With
lang.
the amazing breakdown by
Yung ano, yung Ultimate Edition lahat.
you have to consider
Ano
what
yun eh,
else is left in the
nakalaan
tank
sila
for
si
both teams.
karltzy noon, tapos
Because
sinabit
MNNE
niya yung,
let through some
yung
tricks.
NXP.
BLACKLIST let through some tricks. What else?
Ano yun?
'Cause it looks like
Maano pa
the
si
same
Carl
old
Magano
is not gonna work anymore.
I think that's why
Assassin
when
na
you
pata
go
yun,
back
meta.
to the
Yun
keys
pa
to
yung-
victory even, it's really the hero
Wala,
pool, the
panel.
Ano siya dun eh, buy and sell siya dun eh.
And now we've
Kapag
seen it,
savage
especially
eh.
since
Mag-isa
Sui has
na lang
been
siya
someone
dun
that
eh.
a lot of people have talked about
Galing
how deep
talaga.
that hero pool goes.
Doon
So
talaga
we'll see
nakilala
exactly
si
what the adjustments
Carl
are,
Tuso.
but before that, we're gonna have a quick video to hear.
Hindi, matagal na rin niyang
what he has to
pre-kilala
say.
talaga si karltzy. Di ba nga ano pa yan, pinisolid.
Oo.
Kumbaga pinisolid pa lang yan, gumagawa na ng pangalan dahil sa magaling talaga. Kinakatakutan nga ng ano yan eh. Ng brand. Kumbaga parang hirap sila talunin yung sina Carl. Di ba sina Lex Eterena ba yun? Palbo? Kampi ni Carl. Yun, tapos si ano, sina Levi. Sina Dale. Sina Dale ba yun? Oh, sina Dale.
For Minana, we have
Dale.
name
karltzy.
And then we go to
Lex. Sino ba yung iba?
Then
Levi ba yun? Oh, Levi
Malala.
na.
I miss him
Sobrang
because
tagal na rin
we
yun.
always
Dati alam mo ba?
together make fun of
Alam mo, nag-stream ako niya season 1.
Doming, alam ko kaya niyan.
Gusto ko nga mag-restream ulit eh. From season 1 hanggang ano, after ng playoffs. After nito MPL, i-restream ko lahat.
Hindi, nag-stream talaga ako live niyan season 1. Alam mo gamit ko kung ano. Alam mo gamit ko, cellphone.
Yung ano, anong omelette?
Hindi.
Ay, alam ko ulit na yun.
Hindi ganun
There you
pre.
have it.
Ano lang
More
siya?
heartwarming words there from
Paggamit
Brusco, of course,
ko nun.
over
Hindi
there,
ko alam eh, basta may
battling
gamit
it
ako
out
nun,
for
tapos eh.
Hiroshi, and we know how their whole, qualifying things went
nababasa ko
first
yung
for
comments sa
them.
may cellphone
And
ko
again,
mismo.
former teammate of
Pero
the guys here
alam mo
from
kung paano ko
Nanaimos,
na-live yun?
again, when you look
Nakatutok
at
yung cellphone ko sa
the
TV.
struggle that
pinantay mo
players
lang.
have had to
Yung
go
mga mirror
through
gaming.
to get to this point where, they missed
Yung parang
playoffs
nakatutok
multiple
yung
seasons in a row, and then
cellphone ko sa
now they're
TV.
finally here.
Tapos
What they're
pantay lang.
missing again
yung cellphone ko ay gumagalaw-galaw. Sabi ng mga nanonood,
for MNNE EVOS.
tangin ng
It's
live
match
yan.
point for BLACKLIST
Gumagalaw yung ano.
So for MNNE
Kasi
EVOS,
syempre,
I'm wondering if that's enough
Siyempre, yung TV, pantay doon sa cellphone. Inaayos ko pa.
if you will for them, right? A buff for the boys here
God,
to take into the game vibe. Exactly, it did, right? So I think one thing that they could change, and we talked a little bit about this with man, is maybe don't take the Moscow.
Naisipan ko lang
Buti nga kayo may binito na. Mayroon ng streamer program.
It doesn't have to be the Moscow.
Wala pa
Kumbaga, di ka na. Hindi, pati wala pa ngayon na.
Here's what I'm
Kasi
afraid
sila
of.
nagsimula, di ba? Mga
The Fredrin
partner.
is no longer 100% win rate.
Sino bang ano?
Tayo mga tayo last season.
And that's why I was going
First
back
streamers
before that
program.
whole, before we had that whole thing.
Last season, kami mga nauna rin.
Does that hero
Ah,
pool
kayo,
go, especially with junglers?
talagang first.
Speaking of,
Kami yung mga plus back sa Pioneer talaga nun.
5% contention rate. He's
Kasi after ng season 12,
and he's got a
na-invite na kami sa tawag nun, M5.
He's obviously performing out of his mind. He's got 12
Rekta M5 namin nun, after ng M5.
Mind you, these are
Si
stats
Boss
that are collated
si Kuya.
and
Kaya niya na kayo ba?
across the
Kaya
season. So
ni
even
Conejo.
pre-patch,
Kaya na kami sa Games of the Future
I
naman.
assume and I expect that these stats should slightly go up even higher as we go through the playoffs. Because I believe that Fredrin is still the #1 jungler. He's still the best hero to put into
Kaya yung
that
mga, kaya ang ginagawa palagi yun, kapag may mga link, ini-invite ko nga rin kayo para bigay yung link. Diba? Mas maraming makapag-try na mag-restream.
Most compositions,
Ako din sinishare ko na din
is a
lalo na
safe
sa
bet.
mga...
He has no losing matchup.
Kinaganda din sa
You know that
region,
meme where there's like a
regionals.
leak of
For
water and
example,
then
ako
you
sa...
slap on the Fredrin
Sa
and
Mindanao.
Fredrin. That's Fredrin.
No
That's literally
matter
Fredrin.
what happens, if the boat's sinking, throw the Fredrin, it looks good.
Right, so that's what worries me about that last matchup, right? Again, it's still true that blue side wins because Blacklist was on blue. Right? They played the first pick Harris Gambit. And now I hope that whatever happened in game 3 does not change the fact for them that Fredrin is still worthy of being first pick.
Malaking boost din talaga sa amin. And I mean, ngayong year lang ako medyo
first pick.
Don't schlock it. Kasi 5 years ako nag-stream eh. 5 years. Don't
schlock it. Yeah,
schlock it in.
Schlock it in. And then show us something.
Okay, so start with
that's my
the basic foundation ingredient.
That's my two-step plan.
And then sprinkle in the weirdness.
How does one schlock? How does one schlock?
How does one schlock? See value.
Well, you guys can figure out how to schlock, but right now you have to figure out pretty bad TikTok. And here's
Open your TikTok app or the MPL
Ang tunay po niya, wala si Snapdragon, wala eh. Ano eh, message ako, wala silang streamer program. Sayang.
Free sex.
Sayang.
Ganda ka naman sa ano, sa...
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna try to do a record.
Ay, masaya pa rin tayo sa MP.
So you guys, how
Ano tayo, maganda is... LC, hopefully may ilang sa streamer program pa rin.
From Mangine over there?
He decided.
What is the bell? What does it signify?
I don't know, but he decided that the playoffs are a special occasion to bring the bell in.
Why don't we have a bell?
NACT dapat nag-ano siya.
could have a bell.
Do you have a need for the bell?
NACT eh.
No, I just want a bell. You know, once in a while.
Wala mga...
For what?
For
what?
Go schlock his bell.
Yan nga eh.
Ano yun, kung sa streamer ng ano yan.
I mean, Mangine's bell.
Mangine's bell. All right. Well, again, go ahead and let us know in the comments, guys. Don't forget, of course, we are hunting to find winners for 2,000 diamonds as well, so make sure you join that. Now, with this, again, match point ahead of us, Blacklist International looking to cap out the series here.
Hindi pa ganun ka ano eh, kalawak yung ano nila eh.
What could happen in the draft?
Yung market nila, kaya hindi pa masyadong ano sa mga commercials.
Available to them.
Pero yun na, hopefully, pagpasok ng ano,
if he's not banned out. You know, and I don't see him
ayun, diba?
being worthy of a ban, at least in this case, between these two teams. So he's probably just going to get first pick and then build up around it.
Paano magkaroon ng mas malaking market?
International, man, again, the hero pool is a little crazy.
Maganda
It
na
gets a
ngayon,
little
may
crazy
mga
when you have
investors na malalaking ano,
Yeah,
yung liquid
and again, we now know that the Carmilla works. There was a solid plan behind it.
Di ba kasi ng statement ka, na buo na mismo ng Team Liquid. Kaya may ayaw ng ano, ng our...
Carmilla, the Popol and Koopa. I think maybe there's more. There it is.
Alright.
There's our guy.
No more.
No more shenanigans.
No more.
Decide na yung ano, aura.
What else? Faramis is open.
Last game na aura. Pati ang Echo, di ba? Parang transitional para last game na lang ngayon.
You gotta get the Faramis.
Yung sa Echo naman ngayon, na-retain nila yung pangalan ng Echo.
Matthew was banned out
so hindi nila yan.
Magano sila Liquid Echo. Sa Indonesia kasi naging Team Liquid Indonesia talaga.
Where Fredrin is, taking out Arlo, of course.
Diba tayo nawala yung aura. Pero sa Philippines, yung laban ng management ng Echo, para meron silang ano pa rin, distinct na identity. Na-maintain nila. No good. Mas magandang basa.
What is this?
Sila Liquid Echo na sila ngayon.
Alright, let's say Faramis.
May budget na yan.
So all the more, Valentina becomes a priority for Blacklist.
And
Liquid number 1 yun sa Dota.
Angel, what's gonna be the priority?
Di ba Liquid Aura pa rin sila?
Carmilla daw.
Hindi na, next season, magiging ano na.
And
Team
now
Liquid Indonesia na.
turn on the
Lalabas na ng official statement kanina.
gonna have a field day.
Uy, Moscow na
Okay.
sa ano?
Well, you know what? I like
Blacklist?
the combo just because
Moscow para Edward.
make the
Nice pick to
a little bit AOE.
Kinuha na nila.
With Curse of Blood.
Yeah, I think something that I failed to mention in game 3 earlier was I think Reptar did take care of a good chunk of it. Carmilla acts as a force multiplier. Whatever good roster with your lineup, output just gets so much better if you get it right with the ult.
XP.
That's a big if though, right?
Yeah.
So conditional. They made it work for game 3.
Yep.
That's not a guarantee it'll work for game 4, especially with a very fickle hero like Moscow.
Yeah, it's there's no guarantees here. But to take this first phase, that's going to be the Akai, it sounded like, that's picked up alongside the CC.
Oh, first time CC's being picked here.
CC Akai, sustain pa rin. Ang pick ng ano.
They have a solid pickup on
So,
Kurt.
pwede post 5 ano, Lancy?
CC
post 5
and
na
the Faramis.
I doubt.
That's at least two heroes that allow for you to
Hindi.
pick fights.
Meron ka mid lane pa rin. Kay Lancy pa rin.
Okay, so now that they have this, the next pickup here of
Lancy na to, parang miss.
what do they want to do? Pick up their mid lane this early on to not have
Kasi kailangan ng
out for
dito eh.
or
an XP laner.
do they go with the XP lane?
Yeah.
Wala silang magiging burst.
Don't tell me it's Benedetta again.
Benedetta pack.
Maybe they change it up here this time too. You can see this.
Sana, oo nila. Pero yun, papalamis namin na Rome.
Quite impressive stats, but it's going to be the Vexana that they go with instead.
Pero Yue,
Again,
wala, Vexana na wala.
that Yue gets his free pickings.
Ano to, aggressive na yung gagawin dito ng ano, ng blacklist.
If I am not wrong,
Yung season story pa rin yung ano,
number one hero overall.
Carmilla,
Maybe second to the
aggressive to, meron. Kasi sinusod na eh.
In fact, whenever you lock in the
or
Vexana,
split push gaming.
give to a player like Yue who's
Split push gaming, possible din.
So
dapat nag-link
Kasi
sila,
kahit
no?
ano ka sa skill ng CC,
he does so much. Not
kaya itong ano eh, kaya itong ano eh, pitasin niya ano, yung Moscow yung CC.
Good ban.
Yung papakita yan, papakita si
Because
Edward.
really you're wondering, okay, what this time around, what is Domain going to pick up?
Sayang no, hindi
Because
nila yun ano.
the Nathan's banned out. I'm
Okay
wondering
ang
too if
link
they
na
still
yun
want to take out possibility the Claude.
Oh, okay.
If they go with another gold lane option
Humility.
for him, Minotaur is going to be taken out, of course, by Minana.
Okay yan
Wait.
eh, pang pitas talaga.
What are we thinking here?
This is tricky. Because of the Minotaur ban from MNNE
Mas
EVOS,
ano na, nasusunod.
There's a Claude.
are they planting the seeds of maybe Faramis Rome? Are they saying, oh, this might be a Faramis Rome?
Tinanggala ng hero dito si ano, si Doming.
Why would you do that? Spider Mouse is amazing.
Tinanggala ng mga hero.
I mean, the Florin is still out there. The Raphael is still out there too. The Angela as well. That's
Yeah, it's kind of crazy
That's
that the Angela's
uncommon.
still
Magkano siya?
open.
that is uncommon.
Mag-i-retail siya, puta,
And you're also gonna have to
logi
think
ang ano
about
doon.
who's the Rome gonna
Kasi wali retail.
You're gonna try and stay alive, keep
Login
alive
Moscow
here. Is it
plus
gonna be
early.
possibly a Bruno, a Carry?
Melissa, possible din. Kung ano, kung early, pwede malapit ka na yung Moscow, pwede siya maganda ng Melissa.
Goes with I don't
A Roger?
I don't know.
Feeling ko maglalaki na to.
Roger?
Yeah.
Pwede Laila or
Last man.
Bruno.
Okay, of course the help
Or
Brody,
does
open
not
pa, Brody.
slip in just yet.
Nope.
What's
Going
that?
to be banned down.
Ay, Edward. Pakita na Edward, ano? Ano yan? Sustain yan.
XP lane for this
Ito
to
yan.
match up against the CC.
Pakito.
What's best?
Pagbugan ka doon, dito na siya dito.
They're all still out there, to be honest. Like the Benedetta in the pack.
Pakito lang.
Kaya shout sa mga views dito sa Facebook, sa TikTok, and YouTube.
Abunjingi.
Yan, kasama natin yung si Kunero TV and si Ash Bulldog Lagoon.
See him go to the pack.
Ang ating mga professional.
One
Pogi
reason to pick the Riz,
ng
though.
mga kasama ng araw.
Yan, gusto ko yan.
Yeah, there is a reason. Like,
Pero
you
ito
don't
kung
wanna
susugal ng
be,
blacklist
like, the
dito.
solo tank right now if you're Sensui,
Magpapakita
right?
to
So
si Edward,
they
tapos
actually do want that
magliling si
front line.
Sensui.
They're actually
Last pick.
as well.
No?
Amen!
That
Ay, Kaja.
Wala na.
They'll keep
Kami
it
na.
down to the wire.
Same.
Wala.
all
Pretty
right.
much like game free.
And this is the thing.
Ay,
Like,
pwede pa rin.
remember,
Pwede pa rin
going back to the
mag-XP
previous
ano
game,
eh.
it's still
Pwede
the
pa rin
threat
mag-XP yung
of
Carmilla
the
eh, no?
Kaja plus the
Yeah.
Carmilla.
Kajmilla.
Kajmilla.
Yeah.
That's
open.
Because
Kajmilla.
even if it's a
Kung
single
ano,
target
iyaano nila,
ult,
susugal nila,
you
diba?
can spread out the damage, spread out the
Okay.
love, force multiplier.
And you know what?
Labo naman din, no?
That's right,
It
yeah.
spreads out divine judgment.
Wait. That's not CC, that's suppression. Does it?
Yes.
So the
Dito, Bruno.
Double check.
Para Doming.
I just want to know.
Does the math work out?
That's a good
That's
question.
like
It's like you put your opponents in a parenthesis, and then you put a division underneath all of them.
It gives 50%.
Oh,
Angela.
Oh, here we go!
Leslie.
Sustain build pa rin. Leslie.
Up to Leslie, and then he also gets the
Ayan na, nag-link na.
This is the first time we're seeing
Nag-link.
Leslie in MPL
XP ano yan?
2013.
XP Carmilla.
Sustain
That's a
build.
debut
Dito
pick.
ang gagawin ng ano, ng Minana. The new blacklist.
Isa lang oh, isa lang link oh.
100% of the duration. Oh no, never mind.
Alright, so
Yan
here's
natin.
Parang
Not even
Dahil
only has
hindi
one
na
kill,
si ano, si Kunero.
technically.
Pagbigyan mo yung link.
But they
Ling
both
na
go
yan.
different directions. Is that enough?
Nasan pick Ling?
What am I looking at? A
Oo, ay, ang ganda ka pa rin. Kapag yan, hindi makakalitan sa parang.
does feel like a Romangela.
I'm not comfortable. What's Abunjingjing playing?
Ano nung ba si Sensui Ling?
And there's the answer.
Ay,
With the Leslie pickup, all the more. Abunjingjing was given the incentive to go with it.
Maganda dito yung gagawin ng Yusen. Gandang pandugaw nito.
Don't give him time.
Mas nakabang yung ano Kaja.
Hit your teammates.
That's A to Z, in this case, A to Y and Z. Oh, this is tough.
Look at the quake
Yep.
on the cameras. I love it. Anyway.
Just the
Si Darums. Treta mo yung dalawang yan. Si Treta at si Darums.
I am scared for MNNE EVOS.
Pero,
This is too high concept for me.
It's
dapat tapusin na ng
I guess it's like look at their lineup rating though, man. Like
Pahinga
that's
pa sila.
what I think the
Oo,
highest
tsaka momentum.
always 6'3". Yeah, I know we always have
Sa tingin ko, hindi yung napapatalo mamaya yung basta-basta yung ano.
Is
Yung
off of that support utility.
Alam mo, mas maganda yung ano,
Stat.
It's
mas
skewed the
maganda
stat.
yung
There's a lot of
ganyan na
utility
playoff
obviously for
format.
them
Para
with the
yung
Angela
mga
and
top one,
the
top
Faramis
two.
locked in here. Now
Talagang ano
Leslie,
nila,
as
Hinihintay
I
lang.
was going to say, is
Nakuha nila yung
my
mga
biggest
benefits nila,
question
diba?
mark on how they actually make this work because we don't have much data. As this is the debut.
Baka hindi ka agad ano, malaglag. Kumalisan mo kung bahala yung magdukmakan.
Here we go.
Oo, parang kasalanan niya sa regular.
Once
Hindi
again,
kayo
Blacklist International
Tsaka ano,
to move on
bakit
through the
pa kayo,
play-ins
ba't yung
stage
magagaling na sa
here
regular
to
season?
kick off the
Papatapos
playoffs
kayo kung
for
pares
season
lang na
13
palangan sa
MPL
playoff,
Philippines.
Magagit lang.
Early
Kaya mas
rotations
maganda
here.
yung ganyan.
MNNE
At least,
EVOS with this lineup,
yung paiging tapon mo,
this
mapipil mo.
interesting lineup. Work out. We're going to take a look at the
Tsaka ano,
ends here too, but already
basang-basa mo na lahat ng drop nila.
having that
Tsaka
focusing mark paired up again with a
Kaya
Leslie.
kami na
Here we go. All right.
tayo, nasa 57 na tayo.
It's an assassin emblem, of course.
Kurt,
And
laban kay Lord dito.
Witness Finder, yeah?
Yeah.
That's Witness Finder and Weapon Master. Okay.
Okay, so
Bawal yung mga ganun.
once again, burst potential from MNNE EVOS is what I'm going to look out for. Now, other part of that is dealing with Haji, just like in the previous game that we saw.
Kaya ito nga, kasi level mamaya-maya. Level 4.
Every time he has
Bibigay na niya mamaya yan eh.
play, look at this already.
Aggressive flicker in for
Ito ulit, delikado. Ay, mag-unin, makikita si Brock. Pinasok dito ni Gunner niya.
Massive, but here comes Haji.
Trade yun.
Tries to pick up the pieces there. But that was a flicker committed.
Goal for
Spider
Rome.
Miles so in the game here.
Yep.
Ang inaba naman eh, pitik-pitik
Kaya
na
nga, makabenta dito sa bush.
Fire. So, fortunately,
Pakasakit yan eh.
for Oheb, Miles died before he did. See, all of
Pwede
that.
ka, Chiwe, nakatalo. Pakita na kala. Gagawin ko dito dito patayo ng muna
Look
eh.
at that move. Oh, hold on. Heavy spin.
Pero first turtle, under 3 seconds na lang. Heavy speed.
Stop. By
Ulit ang tumututas dito kaya patabain.
Haji can't really do much. And now they created a lot of space. Speaking of space though, top side. Easy pickings for Blacklist.
They traded the turtle for Oheb, and again, it's not like Oheb had to die.
Yeah.
It's just they went full on.
Walang puntos na ginawa dito. Ano?
And so this is what you can expect, the trading across the map to happen here.
Corner nila si Oheb.
Especially with this. So Oheb is quite behind. You know, yeah, he
Kaya wala mga problema sa Oheb talaga. Mata na yan.
We're going to have to kind of pay attention to him, especially
Pagkaganyan,
now that
makakakuha
Haji
ng
is close
space yung
to that level 4. He's going to have that Divine Judgment available.
Kaya
So
pala
then
din
that's where the,
ano,
okay, there's the
Leslie,
threat.
para
It's
may
like
sniper
flipping
siya,
a switch,
makikita niya kung may
basically. Once
nakatago
Kaja has that Divine Judgment, then you got to respect it a
Here we
little more.
go.
Wala nang
Once
check
more
push,
for
check
Blacklist
push.
this time around. The flicker
Ito
are so
na agad
spicy.
yan.
Spider Miles
Bumuhos
can't
eh, no?
even save him. And now with
Bumuhos
Lancy
lahat
on
ng
the
ulti,
way,
no?
my goodness. Blacklist on fire right now.
That's that switch.
Sabay
Boom, it's on.
That's it right there.
Yun lang yung pangit.
We have a play, let's do it.
And no matter how fast MNNE EVOS can burst down whichever target they choose, nothing beats suppression. Again, nothing in the game can go through suppression. So the fact that Haji here, who has spent the latter half of the regular season honing his shot calling, becoming the heart and soul of this new era of Blacklist, that's going to be tough. Again, the numbers are against Blacklist in the early game, but it looks like they've clawed their way through, and now they're in the lead, about 200 gold.
Yeah, which is crazy because when you think, oh man, Oheb, he went down 2 times early on. He's leading in gold right now against Doming. And it's just a little bit, but that'll continue to build up here. Yeah, the battle spells are also down, so they gotta wait a little bit for them to be online. So MINANA EVOS, that window, that early game window that they had, it's close, but they can still find these openings, and that's what's so great when you have an Akai. He's almost, I mean, when you're able to get the heavy spin lockdowns, it's great. You have Kurt on the CC, which has been banned out again for quite a bit of the series. That can pop up now, and we've seen just how strong a CC with a vengeance can be in a lot of these skirmishes and team fights. So now, this turtle, we expect a fight to break out, a dance to commence here. Sensui in position alongside UA, Edward making his way, Haji there too, has a Divine Judgment. Do they trade it though?
This is what I'm really curious about. How does the fight look with Edward in the mix? We're seeing them looking straight into KZen. Already being protected here by the Heart Guard. Yue going down. Sensui still gets the turtle. And the fight looks like it's just trying to just last on it.
KZen couldn't even get close. You saw that. Yeah,
Blacklisted
everything.
Almost did. And then there was just way too much firepower presented by Blacklist, so he just called it off. Interesting though, the fact that, again, you now know that Oheb has seen how Doming plays, and again, if you're a gold laner in the current metagame, you have to understand the ebb and flow of a Moskov in the early to mid. So, it's impressive how he's, whoa.
Oh my goodness.
How he's recovered. Again, looking at this, he's up by 300 gold over Doming.
Yeah, so with that, things have kind of evened out there for the most part too, but it's interesting that the fact, too, that Doming picked up, the Sea Halberd first, rushed that in, locks it in, probably going the Berserker's Fury next. I mean, it's been a while since we've really seen Leslie play that first, but once you get, I was in Berserker's Fury, maybe the BOD or maybe the night is going to be for this build path here for Doming. That's really when you have to respect that damage paired with the extra 6% from the focusing mark.
All right, here we go. Haji taking a face full of the ultimate snipe. Here's something to note. MINANA EVOS, they have yet to get one single turn, right? Blacklist, their objective control is so amazing that one of the main strengths...
Barely slow down that Netherrealm time to dive in here. KZen should be crucial. Gets the whole of Blacklist, and now they take care of business.
Oh man, that's frustrating. He's feeling very heavy, trying to get in position on that.
In more than one avenue, MINANA EVOS should have won that fight. Yes. There were several pathways for them to corner the core heroes from Blacklist, yet Blacklist were able to shimmy their way. Who got shot in the position there.
Oh no.
Also, it was 0, nothing. Blacklist are going to get 100% turtles. Oh no!
Spear hit.
Schlock, bro. That's a good way to explain it.
Oh, they're still going. They're coming up on the turret. They're not afraid at all. How long can they keep this up? KZen takes care of it, but everyone else got wiped off.
This is the Uber revival. Blacklist International. It's like looking at themselves in the mirror.
Oh, you can go.
All you guys in the chat asking, where code?
Let's go.
There it is. Grab it while you can. Man, talk about Blacklist grabbing everything that they could right there.
Okay, Doming's firepower is getting there.
He's got Berserkers now.
But not quite yet. This is 2 items. This young man should have a Sea Halberd in his item path soon. BOD. He definitely needs to get in there.
I think once he gets the BOD, that's really where the threat comes. But I'm wondering, is Blacklist even going to allow that timing to happen here? Look at that.
And over the wall he goes. And
oh man.
Running it out, Doming looking for targets. Sensui is the one showing, but he's just super tanky right now into Carmilla.
Matago si ano, Solid, bro. Laging backline lang, at saka mga pre-hit lang.
Kaysen and Domeng is not
Tago si Yue, tago si Yue.
and there is an attack from behind. Kurt goes down, even with the hard guard.
Alam niyo ba
What
magandang
is
combo?
the power play happening right now? Only going to be dropped, but nothing will be able to suffice for MNNE EVOS with that exchange. They are struggling against what Blacklist lineup is able to do time and time again. And if it's not Haji pulling the go signal, it's either on the backside or it's Sensui just sitting there in the front, standing menacingly. And now, Lord up here, holding
Here by Blacklist.
Lancy yung gandang ginagawang depensa talaga dito. Control lagi yung ano.
That will mean a
Galing.
for Blacklist, 6K ahead in goal.
What's difficult for MNNE EVOS is that their lineup is so honest. Targeting with, right? Check it out. It looks like it's an endless battle first being built onto Domeng before the Blade Repair. I understand, right? Economy's tight. You need to be able to get what items you have in the short amount of time you have. It's going to be difficult to spare. But for Blacks International, this is a very comfortable 6K gold lead. This is the money that is stopping MNNE EVOS from ever even picking a fight. I think that last kill on a Kirk, even after the hard guard, is a sign that, hey, you're not ready for it yet. Please don't. And by playing defensively, MNNE EVOS might actually be able to get back, but it has to be.
That's the question is, how long do they need?
And can they hold on? How long
can they hold on?
And Wilkie's find his target. I mean, it's so difficult, man.
Niyubis ni ano, ni Fredly.
Like with the one
pull in again. That was being very proactive. Now playing up one guard. Care of this is a huge and we're gonna fall as well. Kurt. MNNE getting back on the board.
They needed the whole ball clock back. Amazing work, shutting down Ohmyveenus, taking down Edward, and I think they have found out step one in getting back into this game. They gotta scatter Blacklist.
They gotta Oh man, and with everything that happened,
and they would know.
They would.
And I could have sworn it wasn't possible because they forced Kaysen to use a defensive heavy spin like he
Pero tingnan mo
good already, yeah.
Ma-ulti yan ng Carmilla.
For Blacklist, but yeah, no, look, a negative gold benefit on that Lord.
Oh, and that was all that happened from Domeng was able to pick up the endless battle. So that was his next item that he locked in. Possibly going for the BOD. Next
Now it's BOD time. Now it's BOD time. Checking out what Blacklist is up to on items. That's 3 core items already on US, so he's still definitely a force to be reckoned with, a threat. Great pick up on Haji though. He has a Twilight armor and oh, here we go.
Oh, this time around it's Kaysen who came out on top of the execution. But look at this, Edward straight into the back line, and they take care of Kaysen because of that. Oh, is still alive. They removed the nether realm. It's a defensible here. There's no minions available.
They want the turret.
They want that turret though.
Okay. Oh, wow. Sniping him down. Not enough damage to clean anything up. So down Kaysen, their jungler's gone. Blacklist just says go.
Are they going to try to contest?
Yeah, that's a big question. And they are the ones who got taken care of. Another one.
That's got to have been a communications breakdown if I've ever seen one. Lancy had no business walking in there all by himself. The fact that they saw what their win con could be, something tells me maybe MNNE EVOS, some members of them might want to go much faster than the others. This is a fight where Blacklist was comfortable taking it, despite the amazing heavy spin by Kaysen. So with that said, I think we're back to square one, at least to where we were 2 years ago.
Once again, in momentum for Blacklist International to work with. They got that turret down too. Kirk probably going to want to get back to base unless he's just trying to make a play on the backside.
Pero na, Lord. Papasok na sa mid lane.
They find Kirk once
May
more.
video ko
Hard guards
yung
in
ano,
tow here, but they're
diba,
taking care of turrets
labas
instead.
ng ano, ng,
Lord is there
ano
for the
si
count. And another pullback here by Haji.
Meron akong ano,
Is here by Lassie at the very least, but now it is time.
Ay, meron na?
Now over here for Blacklist, for MNNE rather, and now they take
Pero nakakakuha pa, Haji. Nancy, Malasinor. Isa-isang liberation. Edward, alang ang number dito. Nakatakas pa. Parang mga 23 dito.
mga 15
They're not
minutes,
going
masakit
down
na.
without a
Ano,
fight. MINANA EVOS, their base still
Masakit na.
stands. Blacklist, another taste of what could be. If MINANA EVOS find the perfect entry, look at that, the bodies lay in mid lane. We'll check it out again where it all went wrong. Because again, that could have definitely been Blacklist ending the game.
This is big brain moves by Kirk.
That's right, MINANA EVOS here, still in it.
Dito sa akin, magpasok sa backline. Nag-work siya na siya, pasok sa level, makakatama siya.
And then Doming just with the killer
Maganda yan.
position through the roof.
Pari lahat.
It's very
mahirap
micro, but
din
they
kasi
also like that they
yung
really stuck
pumasok
together. No
kanina,
one can
yung
get targeted.
si Angela.
Yeah.
So even though they are down by numbers.
Yeah, and
Pinasok
Blacklist
sila
had a
sa ano
tough
eh.
choice.
Gusto mo pa ba yan?
Lean into this fight that we could maybe win because we are up on firepower, or do we just back off? And I think it's that confusion in that moment that allowed for MINANA EVOS to win a trade. Again, any kind of
30 seconds for the next year.
Yeah, and this is where it gets a little scary too, because now the BOD's locked in from Domeng. This is going to preview of what the damage can look like as they were trying to defend their base. Yeah, the base is fully exposed here, but you're going to see them check it.
Marami
They have to respect
story
the damage
basic yun.
potential,
Kasi side
and
naman ni
being able to spot
Apple,
things out of
din ako
course
nun.
is crucial too with
Parang
Domeng.
diba?
You know,
Parang
Haji,
masyadong
if he makes a play, if he lands the hail,
Eh, mga talaga, mga Clippers talaga, mga LA Clippers. Kumpleto sa kwento.
minus one to the line of MNNE EVOS. That's going to be a huge play to work with. Lord's coming up here though. Does MNNE EVOS want to find a position?
Di ba pa, kasi,
Given how
underrated na NACP, kaya ba lumaki yan?
that Lord pit, they have to watch
marami
out
drama
here. So Blacklist trying to start this Lord up, and they're not trying to waste any
Hindi, hindi pa kasi lahat yan, no? Mga basing.
Even with 7K ahead, you contest. But I think MINANA EVOS,
Sinimula na ang Lord dito ng Blacklist International, nasa Bushing
maybe
tatlo.
they can just wait until Lord is knocking on their door and then find
Nakatago
another
sa
scatter.
Angela sa base.
Looking for the
AP Brent
opportunity
dito, the
for that
push
opening.
of depth.
Blacklist also just playing.
Bako tumawid.
They have the luxury.
Bawal, mag-check.
good pickups here, taking their time this time around.
Makakusong carry na ng tawid. At pero ito na, Black Dragon Form, Edward, papasok Fly Lansing na habol dito.
Pretty far away. And
Gandang pangtabay lang yun, nakuha ng Blacklist yung leg.
for the Lord at least for now.
Oh no.
Edward good. Kaizen looking for Edward. Eternal Guard
Ganda
trying to
ng
help
ulti
out
ni
here.
Bigsan.
Edward's fine. Now it
Sayo,
is
sayo.
the full-on collapse.
Ito na init.
Doming looking so good with the hard guard.
Oh my goodness, I just found Domeng, but they couldn't kill him! Another Lord! The Lord wants it! Lord wants to end, but I don't think it's going to be what Blacklist going to do here. Provide successful player for MNNE.
The Hokbo are still in it. After a messy team
Ang
fight.
intense. Napatakbo yung MNNE bigla, eh.
Where do I jump? And they got
tagal
an
din kasi
amazing catch,
pumatay
right,
ng
off of
ano
Haji.
niya.
But still, the fact that they found Oheb in the backline and did not suffer any deaths means MNNE EVOS, despite the communicated breakdown prior, are still in it.
Ganda kanina ng ulti ni Yui eh. Hindi naman natulak si ano.
It's insane because Haji was able to get Domeng with that. Now Kirk!
Another divine judgment, pero this time around, it does
Pumasok
feel like
dito, ganda ng tayugi again.
MNNE on the
Lansing,
offensive. It is activated blitz.
So low.
So low, everyone on
Blacklist.
Is MNNE fighting with heart, looking for their mark. Karltzy because of that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Blacklist
Paibigan para sa
the
Siri.
force was in that engagement. Look at the noobs from that player lobby cam, right?
Masyadong early yung pagkuha yung sensory.
And that was just a single engagement wherein you could have argued that was a delayed heavy spin.
Yeah.
That was a reactive heavy spin.
Yeah, maximum respect for Blacklist, knowing that they can't handle it. So
Sabi si, ano yan eh.
test out the waters.
Comfort niya yan eh. Kaysen eh.
Akay.
Picking up the next item here.
Pero Edward nasa bush. Pero turtle drop.
He's defensive
maganda dyan.
as
Ano lang,
hell,
wala,
especially when that
nakita.
vengeance is popped, and depending on where the heart guard goes,
Pinakabili niya ni Angela
it is forcing a final
Pero
Blacklist
Edward,
International to stay in their tracks.
Tagaligtas ka rin nila si Lancy.
They have this much confidence in
Laging
themselves around the map.
Respect my authority.
But you know what?
Wow.
Speaking of map, I feel like MNNE just has to keep doing this. They need to always keep those minions
ito
far.
sila.
Because one Spear of Destiny into
Yeah,
wave by
Blacklist.
wave is game. No matter where Oheb is.
Yep. Just needs to time it well. Someone nearby, and then just
Even a
Hindi
minion
na,
nearby.
maybe 2 seconds with the base for free. That's it. So again, map control still clearly with Black.
Makakalipat ka.
It looks like MNNE EVOS now have their number.
Hindi na lang tumama muna.
They're exactly where they want to be here.
This is gosu 50-50.
Okay, it's going to come down to keep an eye
Pero
once again on
ito, Casey, nasa position dito position dito.
Oh, there's a lockdown.
They locked down Edward.
Pero Casey may spin, so nagdagdag muna dito, mga bakit siya nahatak. Edward is down.
Netherrealm already used up.
Ang sikip niyan, lugi sila dyan.
For a retreat.
Pero,
The base is being pushed in.
He's getting pushed in. Oheb is alive. Don't forget
malupit sila doon, babaksak lang sa liyo eh.
Not be the go time though for now, but MNNE, they know that condition.
Ito, depensa muna ang kwento ng MNNE.
Now we've broken the 20-minute mark. Over the regular season, these two teams both have the longest average game time.
Galing ka, tama yun.
One MNNE EVOS second, and now we're going into the late game, the end game, if you will. And to be fair,
Split push kaya lalo dito ng Blacklist.
solid threat, right?
Magkasama nila sila sa bottom lane, no?
Pag nahuli
Target
nila,
kasi yun.
Here we go. Oh, spotted. Oh, wait.
Ang sinking, nakaiwas.
But
Nahabol.
so that's called off.
That's a minute and a half until he can do that again.
And here we go. Zen used up the
And the spin.
Sensui. He gets the target. Oheb falls away. Oh my goodness, this is looking so good. Rising. And Manus can't
Tatlo ang baksak. Si Sensui,
He is playing up on their towers here. But
Cyber wipe out mode na yung mga simple. Diretso-net na muna.
to the maximum on that season.
Hold up, what is that? At least 30 seconds until
Naikot
he
siya
gets
sa
to the
gitna.
map.
Ano na ulit ito?
Wait for this wave to push in.
It's one
ulti.
Can they maximize that?
Kapag ulti
Well,
yung
not technically even a wave, it's a cart.
Kasi nag-gusto din si Casey, nung kinuhan na si Edward.
He knows the mission, but he
Kaya
can't do
kaya
it.
pa man yan.
He can't get close enough. He might with the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
skill here. Oh, he's got to
Check it out.
sacrifice.
And here,
Kaya ba, wipe out na to, immortality.
And the ball!
We're going to game number 5.
Putang ina eh, number 5.
Di pa tapos ang makmana, batid.
Against the odds,
Delikado pa
MNNE
sila.
EVOS holds on.
Nako, delikado Blacklist dito.
Leslie wins! We have a new
Pinapaganda ng kwento.
gold lane, ladies and
Sabi ni
gentlemen.
Balubs, isa pa, talo na tayo.
And off of the back of the team that was known to collapse and to Ube, they now have suddenly a single target marksman in their arsenal. MNNE EVOS go deep into the playoffs. Teams now have to
Di na rin
moving Leslie.
Hindi nga, ninostra nga niya eh.
Man,
Talo.
was not expecting
Nabad luck.
win, man. Again, at one point, Blacklist International had like what, a 7-8K gold lead, and they let it slip through.
Grabe yun.
You got to put respect on the fact that MNNE
Grabe
was
pa.
on, despite that.
To the point where Blacklist's Ube and their lead
Nabalik na pa ng MNNE EVOS dito bigla.
persevering.
Yung early game na kuha na
This
ng
hero
Blacklist
was built to
International.
do this. And the fact that they found
Prime time,
ways
ano,
in
prime time
I'll call it
playoff,
the late
Day
game
1.
to just flank
Alam,
Blacklist
Yes,
and
welcome.
able to break up that ube formation and make Sensui's
Welcome sa playoffs ng Philippines.
made this win possible. And then eventually it just snowballed and hit critical mass. Wherein almost point and click, MNNE EVOS can say, you know what?
Pero maganda yung ginawa ng Minana kanina, yung
And
binog
whether you're ready or not, we're gonna come in and collapse. And that's how they won.
Si Oheb early game.
Again,
Ganda rin.
amazing game number 4. I can't wait to see how this is broken down.
Binugbog si Oheb ng early game.
Go ahead and take this one away, boys.
Ang story natin sa serye na to, different shades of ube. Two teams with similar playstyles, a shared history. The fighting healers of MNNE EVOS versus the writers of the original code that they were inspired by. And the fighting healers have
Yan.
forced game
Wait lang,
number
wala tubig.
5. Domeng, the Leslie, showing that he is the alpha and the
Ano yan?
omega with his multiple one shots. 6-2-6 on the KDA.
Sige.
Siguro nagtaka tayo lahat. Bakit
Back mo na lang, sige.
kaya ba ng Leslie with a Yu Zhong last pick? Shades of an old playoff strategy. I believe it was season 10 or season 11. A last pick Leslie on the blue side, a Yu Zhong on the red side. The side that picked Leslie lost. But this time around, panalo ang Leslie up against a lineup built to give it a lot of difficulty. Bisita natin ulit yung lane matchup nila. Moscow versus the Leslie. Nag-umpisa yun sa gold lane wherein the first kill of the game was Oheb. Helped by Spider Miles, it was Domeng who delivered that first killing blow. But then, nakita naman natin that later on, even after multiple ganks from the side of MNNE EVOS para hirapan yung Moscow ng Blacklist International to give difficulty to the Filipino sniper, well, they were still able to control majority of the game. Nakita natin na pag hindi nakuha ng MNNE EVOS yung umpisa nila, Blacklist International will be able to control a majority of the game backed up by the Kaja of Haji. There were a lot of questions pinned on this young man. Yung shot calling ni Kapitan, sapat na ba? Pinakita ng Blacklist International at ni Imam God na sapat talaga. It got to the point where it was Blacklist International leading the majority of the game, and with a new signature, the best defense is no defense, galing sa MNNE EVOS, somehow, someway, nakadepensa sila dahil nakapag-farm up na ang Leslie. And the key duo of the lineup of MNNE EVOS, the CC and the Angela, magbigay ng space para sa Leslie para makapag-free hit si Domeng. Two lineups built to protect their backliners. Both have the right tools and options para depensahan ang frontline at ang backline para hindi maabutan ang gold laners. Pagalingan na lang ng
CR break muna,
But
guys.
MNNE EVOS, remember the second part of their title, healers. Yung kunat, yung sustain, the heals dished out. Clutch ultimates by Lancy, by Spider Miles. MNNE EVOS takes game number 4. As we look at the stats here, we're gonna have to revisit Domeng. Full Assassin Emblem, Quantum Charge, and of course Weapons Master to make sure that he gets the quicker scaling and of course more damage dished out. Crit as well. Crit damage assassin type Leslie. No need for attack speed. We go for the increased passive, the true damage dealt out by a Leslie. On the side of Blacklist International, you see their lineup was built to combo around the ultimate of the Kaja. Magpipick off si Haji, and then once you get that pick off, combo na lang. Either Sensui's gonna dish out the roots, US gonna dish out the crowd control and the damage as well. Kitang-kita mo naman yung approach na gusto ng Blacklist International. While MNNE EVOS, dahil CC and Angela, yung combo nila, it's a little bit more scrappy. Magtataka yung Blacklist International, saan manggagaling yung MNNE EVOS? Where will Kurt be? Nakita natin yun at one point. While MNNE EVOS was trying to defend and Blacklist International was starting to understand na hindi ganun kadali tapusin ang laban na to kontra sa lineup nila dahil hindi natin alam masyado kung saan sila nanggagaling. Rich Guy, the carry it's gonna be Domeng, of course, our MVP, and Kaizen here. If Sensui earlier, he showed na I am one of these standards, maybe even the standard for what a utility jungler is. Be a frontline for your team, absorb damage. Sabi ni Kaizen, kaya ko rin yan. 224,000 damage taken. A total assist for Spider Miles of 13. Again, Angela and CC together kept MNNE EVOS alive. Kaizen with clutch heavy spins to get the right routes para ma-disrupt din yung pag-enter ni Edward. And remember that one play, that pick-off in the mid where a good sense by Kaizen. Parang alam nila, feeling ko may tao dito. I think we have the vision, we have the info. Typical understanding of Blacklist International formations. Pagdating sa Lord fight, let's heavy spin right here. As you look at the damage dealt, point proven. Kirk, 83,000 and 700 damage dealt. Second to the Leslie. A lineup, again, that will make you scratch your heads. Why this? Why this pick? This very last one. MNNE EVOS showed us how to make it work. And now we are here. Two teams, again, with very similar play styles. The original writer of the code, the fighting healers. Whoever loses here goes home, and they lose their shot at that. The coveted championship that we and everyone are fighting for. Look at the heat map that we're going to be showing on your screen right now as we look at the rotations. There we go. Spider Miles at the roam. The first 5 minutes here. A lot of work for one Angela to make sure that you can really get the vision that you need and you are able to get the early start. Mahirap yung start dito ng MNNE EVOS again with a really good play by Haji. Alam na ng Blacklist International how MNNE EVOS want to rotate, kaya nahirapan sila sa early game. And you see a lot of focus there onto the gold lane. From the beginning, both teams knew what they wanted. So, what do you want then? As you hear the crowds, you hear our teams, MNNE EVOS, and their cheer. Champions Arena! Will Game 5 go to Blacklist International? Will Game 5 go to MNNE EVOS? One last chance to continue your journey to become a champion. Casters, pasok.
Welcome back to the English Desk. Thank you so much for the breakdown there of that amazing defensive turnaround game for MNNE EVOS, Renmar. And we can't wait. We've gone from a best of 5 to a best of 3, and now it's a best of 1. It's last game, Game 5, tournament lives here, playoff lives.
For all the what's the saying? For all the biscuits.
All the biscuits.
Yeah.
For all the marbles.
For all the marbles.
I was gonna say, are they claiming the biscuits? Are they eating the biscuits? What's going on?
Well, in this case, the marbles is an analogy for tournament life. Again,
tournament life.
Whoever wins moves on to face Fnatic Onyx, waiting right now, and I believe they are in the venue. But whoever loses has to say goodbye, has to
Your biscuits are gone.
Their marbles.
Their marbles are gone.
They have to say, you know what, better luck next season. But
yeah.
It could go either way now. I'll have to admit, I was pretty hard on the whole Angela Rome and Leslie debuting, but MNNE EVOS proved us all wrong.
I think the question mark there is, when does that work? When does it activate, right? Like, it was so erratic.
It took a while, but
I think the fact that it was a single target roamer on Blacklist made it all the more possible for Blacklist.
Well,
for MNNE rather.
Yeah, for MNNE. And if you look at this, Oheb leading the average kills here for the regular season, of course, and then you have Kosei, Kalra, Super Marco, Domeng. And so across them, you have Domeng there at 3.19, Oheb at 3.54. Man, you have to talk about Domeng on that Leslie pick. The fact that he brought it to play and made it work. Again, a debut, a pick that you're not expecting.
It's outings like this and stats like this that make me wonder why I did not put Doming in my top 3 gold laners in Season 13.
Yeah.
I get asked that question like twice every day.
We did.
Right? We all get
Even
that.
I asked that to you.
We all get those kind of questions on social media. And here in this performance and in these stats alone, you got to put respect on the young man's name, Doming from MINANA EVOS.
Yeah, for sure Doming obviously has had a lot of people who are asking his consistency. I think he is the most consistent right there. But you also have to look at the people who are, you know, kind of helping him get there. People like Miles, people like Kurt.
Let me rephrase that sentence. Doming is the best gold laner at protecting himself in all of Season 13.
The win condition.
The win.
That's right.
That should be a built-in keys to victory.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doming, protect yourself.
Yeah, Doming needs to protect Doming.
Oh, man. Speaking of, like, look at this from MINANA EVOS. Team damage dealt per minute. That's a whole lot of damage that MINANA EVOS pulls off.
Mind you, part of the calculation for this is the fact that they have long games in Season 13.
They do, yeah.
Right? So the amount of damage they're outputting divided, I believe, somehow divided by how long their usual games last, means they're still number 1.
I think it's because,
scrappy.
Yeah, it's because it goes to a point where you have to do massive amounts of damage to people who have high HPs because their games go to super long distances.
Yep.
So
Man.
yeah, that's inflated.
And that's the thing though, is they probably have obviously adopted that identity. They are scrappy. They like to play that way, and they are able to, again, you're talking about an 8K lead that Blacklist International had. Most teams would crumble to an 8K gold lead.
Yeah.
I mean, most players out there, as we see Blacklist picks blue side.
Here
Hey,
we go.
we're all in blue, by the way.
That's the one.
Blue side, blue side.
Okay.
That's us. But that's the thing, man. Oh! All right. This is the buff. This is the incoming buff.
Yep.
From the Royal
I wonder
Duo
if
here.
that roar was going to be enough.
Those are 3-time MPL champions, former world champions, former teammates of Blacks International. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing.
Tell me.
So far, the only true thing about this series is blue side wins.
Well, that's why we
Fredrin's lost.
We are blue side.
Right? Fredrin's lost. Moscov's lost.
You know, sorry, this is totally random. But why weren't we the blue suits and the Tagalog was red suits today? Blue side, red side.
Good question. But also, we are red side.
That's true.
Well, why didn't we wear the red suits and they were the blue suits? Jokes aside, let's go ahead and welcome our viewers once again to join the guessing game. It's now available. Every match starts with the guessing game, and it's on the TikTok platform.
Yeah.
So make sure you head over to TikTok.
Come on, watch the MPL matches on TikTok and join the guessing game. Support your team, and you can get game points.
Yep. Go to TikTok. Go to the official MPL Philippines TikTok channel. And go ahead and click that button that allows for you to join. Again, it's at MPLPH_official. The button will show up on the official live stream link. So you got to watch that and then click it from there. Support your team and win game points.
I wonder what the game points do.
It allows for you to...
Support your team.
Yeah, like, what do you get? What
Game
do you
points.
Win? So
You get a bell if you get enough points.
like, is that in-game game points? Like, what?
No.
Let us know in the comments, because I'm curious.
If
Like, what
you've
are game
tried...
points?
Because obviously we've been on desk since this whole time.
We can't open.
We can't open our.
It would
our
be
TikTok
very
app.
irresponsible of us to just open it up while we're working here.
Yeah, so
for your
you know,
entertainment.
So yeah.
Let us know.
Educate.
Educate us.
For once.
For once. But again,
I take that back. Like, you guys are pretty smart. Like, some things show up only because I check the comment section and
That's true.
somebody reaches out to me on social media like, Leo, did you notice this? I'm like, no, I did not.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
There are
You
some
guys are
very
smart.
smart people out there in the audience, of course.
Here we go.
And if you look at the draft recap
Look
here,
at
I'm
this-
sure those
look-
smart people were probably questioning
Look at this abomination.
some of this as well.
Leslie.
Why is Leslie an abomination?
No, I mean, usually in these situations, I would be the Akai, right?
You okay?
And I would be molding even before we got into the game. Like, why are you playing Leslie? Leslie's in the meta. And then, like, I don't know that it's Doming. And Miles on the Angela. So
He's just smurfing, so you don't know.
I think a big part of that is obviously, you know, Doming also not just play the hero as is. he also did some adjustments. Like you mentioned, like the endless battle, he switched up into endless battle instead of going BOD.
An
Stuff
economic
like that.
decision,
Right?
I would reckon.
It's not something that anyone can play. It's just Dominic played it really well.
Yep.
Oh, man. We have had one hell of a series. 4 games back and forth, and it's come down to this for both these teams. Blacklist International, MINANA EVOS. It's come down to one single game, and we are now heading off into the drafting phase. Let's take a look here. Blacklist on the blue side. Are they going for the Fredrin? It is open.
Yep. For sure.
All right. He says it himself. You see value in me? Yes, clearly we do.
Everybody sees value in you, Fredrin boy.
All right, so do they force the Moskov again? Do they go first pick Moskov?
Why not?
Yep.
Why not?
Do they go Moskov Novaria?
I had to check the bands, yeah.
Oh, hello, bees.
At the same time, you also have to pick it up here because Blacklist has shown that they're very willing to also pick it up for themselves.
Yeah. More the Moskov, the Novaria, between that and the Vex, 4 out of 5 times you always gonna pick up the Vex.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
There's also a chance of you picking up the Tharamis, right?
Oh wow.
Let's band out.
Okay, they're going Barretts.
How about neither?
Vex.
They steal away the Vex!
Steal the Vex!
Yeah. Okay. So far, Barat has lost against Fred, right? Like that's a proven matchup. Because again, Fred does not have any bad matchups. But the Vex steal, I bet this Vex is.
Yes.
I was like, oh, yo, we didn't expect that.
I didn't expect them to attack Yue on the draft.
Yeah, because Yue is a comfortable
it's
factor,
monetized.
for Blacklist. Like he's pretty solid. He's a foundation in their
What do you mean?
in their campaign in Season 13 so far. But now, what's the play?
It's monetized, bro.
Okay, the play here, I think, because you have this mid lane locked in, do you want to go ahead and secure yourselves your mid lane as well? Giving you freedom to utilize that. That's going to be, all right, that's Edith. That's locked in. And the Moskov.
There you go.
Yes, of course.
Okay, Edith for Haji. We saw some amazing things from that in the previous games in the series.
Yep.
Moskov being locked in once again for Oheb here.
I'm about 95%. I'm 95% sure this is not going to flex.
The which one?
The Edith. Yeah. It's likely on Haji. So now do we see Miles pick up the roam here? Something I've learned so far. The Minotaur's out there, by the way. Do you want a Minotaur?
That sounds like...
That's a huge!
That's a huge.
Okay, wow. I was going to say, a trend that I've seen from MNNE EVOS post-patch. Again, their first time here on an MPL stage once more after the break. They're willing to flex on Miles now. They no longer have to babysit him in the draft.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then we were talking about, like, what does MNNE EVOS look like post-patch? It does show, like, they're more deliberate with their choices. They're not afraid of any draft, shenanigans.
And there's a lot of calculated risks that they're taking that more than half the time now, again, are paying off.
Interesting, too. So this whole series, we haven't been able to see the hell curve pop up.
100%.
So 100% ban on that for now. No team wants to take that risk. And if you think about it, like at this point in Game 5, this is crucial. So far from what I'm seeing, it's more of let's go back to our basics, at least for now, at least for the first phase. And what kind of changes will happen for second phase? Like, that's where it happens. And when you come down to these last couple of phases, of course, you want to focus and narrow things down for the mid lane. For MNNE EVOS, they go to Novaria. They're focusing on what roams could pop up again.
You see that? I love it. Coach Bonchan respecting what they've seen prior in this series. Folks, if you just joined us now, quick reminder, MNNE EVOS pulled off the double mage roam setup. They put a Novaria on Spider Miles and then a Valentina on Lancy and won. So now they're like, all right, you know what? Maybe we should ban the Minotaur next. I reckon that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, Minotaur just seems so good, especially
I
against heroes
also
like the
clip,
Fredrin
bro.
and maybe
I also clip,
right? So you kind of have to disrupt these heroes the way that before they disrupt you.
Yep. And even if this is most likely an Edith on Haji in the roam, the onward is actually to your benefit. Like, he puts you in a position wherein you're better with the Minnow and Fury.
We'll see if that ends up being flexed or not, but Still last ban here.
It's a Mino ban. I think I heard Manjin said, yeah,
Blacklist.
it's a Mino ban.
Wait, do we see it from here?
Well, he says that.
No, we don't. We don't see it from here. It's on the other side. It's on blue side, folks, of the Champions Arena.
All right, so Minotaur definitely, like, we all put up really good points for it. Just do it, Bon.
Just do it.
Just do it.
No, they went Nathan.
Okay, so they're willing to let that through then.
You know what that means? A very tanky
Oh,
front line
nilabas
here.
ng
That's
ano.
amazing.
For Minana.
Most teams in Season 13 actually flex the
Nilabas
roam
ng
as
elite.
their last pick on red because you allow for, again, you're protecting what your roster can do, what your lineup can do. But here,
Hello, Ken.
even Domin
Have
can
you
flex.
watched my
Domin could.
latest
If he
video
wants
about
to.
basic?
But I don't know, man. At this point, it's the bans for the second phase worked out really well, and I think for gold lane matched up against the Moskov, it's like, do you want to just go the Klon? Do you want to roll
Leslie
that?
again!
Oh no, he's gonna do it again.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. He's
He's
feeling
on
good.
fire.
Okay.
100% win rate.
Not wrong. The numbers don't lie. Okay, so here we go.
Once.
What's getting on Abun Jing Jing and what is going to be in Yue's hands? Lilia's still out there.
CC is CC banned?
Lilia Gord. No, CC's actually open.
He's available.
I'm wondering if too, like with that pickup, Leslie being picked up again, if for some reason we see the Edith flexed. Like, if that happens, right?
Yes.
We see Edward pick it up for some reason, maybe Haji. I'm still leaning towards Haji having that Edith. But let's exactly see what Blacklist wants to do here, dealing with this Leslie. So that is a Farsa. We're throwing it back.
I missed the 0, honestly, but...
And a
And the
Petito.
back, there
All right.
you go.
Hey, you know what? That's just going to burst the Leslie wide open.
All in, Blacklist.
Champ stance in the
Ito.
champion arena.
Just find her and just pow.
Pacquiao.
At
All right.
the same time, that's also a lot of investment
Terry
into the
Bogard.
Leslie. Terry Bogard.
That's right. Yeah,
it
yeah.
is.
It's a lot of investment on the Leslie, and now with this pickup, with these, oh dear lord, with these 2 pickups in the last phase of the blue side for Blacklist, they're forcing MINANA EVOS to think twice about that Leslie pick. It could have been in that last pick, honestly.
It could have.
It could have.
Because this time, too, you don't have a hard guard to help you.
Or is it a trap? Minana wants them to over-fixate on the Leslie.
Is this a Florian? What is
Is that
this?
Angela?
Oh!
Lolita!
Wow.
Wait.
A Lolita, a debut pick in Game 5.
What's the Lolita here to block?
Against Moscow.
Moskov.
Normal
Yeah,
attacks.
number 1 Moscow.
Lolita.
That's all.
Some of the projectiles from Edith and Farsa.
Yes.
Is it that bad?
It's too much. I think that might be an overload. I think that's overreacting. I don't know. The shield's just not the same as it used to.
Yeah.
It doesn't last as long.
All right, it looks like MINANA EVOS is confident with their roster
Let's see.
and their lineup. And this is down the wire again, just .30 between both roster lineup ratings. I'm not Vengeance Incarnate, but I'm wondering if the Barats can finally get one over the Fredrin, man.
Oh,
because
man.
both sides are pretty spicy.
We're going to find out here. Once again with a lineup from MINANA EVOS that you are not expecting. Can this be enough to pull them ahead and move on to the next part of the play-in stage? Or will Blacklist International be able to be the ones to turn things around and go on forward after what just happened in Game 4? It all comes down to this final game for Blacklist and for MINANA EVOS.
Only one may stand. Check out Spider Miles' concussive blast here, helping clear waves quickly. And Onyue, it's not the first Farsa of the regular season of the season, season 13 rather, but it's still rocking the usual Mage, Rupture, and then Wilderness Blessing. As for the Lolita, it's a whoa, interesting.
Yeah,
a
interesting.
support emblem.
Little regen focus there, and also cooldown reduction, right? You want to be able to go ahead, and that's one of the great things about Lolita is the CC potential.
Also, it has the favor boots, not conceal.
Heal?
Yeah.
Shields, right?
Because she has a
Yeah,
passive,
shields.
and then
the shield, yeah, the
and
shield
then she
heals.
can also do it. She also has shields on demand. Oh, all right.
Kazin. He's not going to land that his tone is welcome, so just battling it out here. But yeah, I guess that you really have to just kind of see it in action, right? That's kind of what you're going to have to see, and that's why this is, in a way, it's almost a risk that Spider-Minos locks us in, but maybe this is something they've been holding on to, and it's what better time to pull it through and see if it works out here for MNNE EVOS. And that makes it even kind of a little bit harder, I would say, for Oheb on the Moskov. Now knowing that if I enter into this fight on these crucial moments within a later portion of the game with the spear, even though I have a Purify, I have... Hold on, Haji?
Yep, decision has been made onto the small barrets there, and Edward gets first blood. Instant activation coming in from the shot calls of Haji.
Joseph, you were saying?
Yep, and that's most likely going to be a turtle, but again, Oheb will have to work against the shields obviously being utilized with Spider Miles. That's just going to be objective for them. What a perfect hero. Oh, Doming still going to be alive.
Oh, wow. And then Oheb can just freeze here. Oh, no, he's just bum rush. I think he wants to go for plates. They're going to try to isolate Doming. Oh, just out of range. Just out of range.
Barely.
Whew. That's calculated. He knows. He's got to be that far away.
Look at all the gold on Oheb now.
Well, that's a lot.
There we go.
Oheb already picking up that first item. Wow.
Just a reminder that shield will break after taking 1,000 damage and plus 15% of the total HP of the Lolita. So it's not as good as before.
Look at the gold.
Obviously it reflects.
Right.
But it's not the effect you're looking for. Anyway, we'll see how that looks later.
Thinking about how that... Oh, wait, Oheb.
Oheb getting gold in here. Nominal Blast just for good measure.
Good Purify.
He hit the P, man. He hit the P.
Yep. Good usage there, and so they get that out, 80 seconds before he has that next available to him. So he's got to be very defensive here. As you see a lot of this attention now on this bottom side to help Doming up. Again, that's kind of the job. It's like, all right, we have to almost emulate what we did in the previous game to allow Doming to scale up the way he needs to be. I'm wondering if his build path is going to be very similar that we saw in the previous one. Hold on.
And there you go. Blacklist. You know what? Maybe we can take this fight. And they are going to find KZen for their efforts.
That's a tight little corridor that even an early game Moscow would love. And this is straight up Ube again. In this 5-game series alone, I think Blacklist has gone Ube and turned the clock. I don't know if it's because of the presence of their former teammates that's allowing for them to do this.
Okay, this is, they go in again. Haji
goes straight onto it. Oh my goodness, Doming didn't even last a second there. And it is only going to be a tower kill here for MNNE. Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, we didn't check in on the XP lane as much, but looking at the XP, looking at the waves, and looking at how KZen tried to go help Kirk, Edward's doing fine. Edward's actually winning this lane.
That's true. Doesn't need as much help as other lanes here.
Yeah, so that means he's bobbing and weaving between Kirk's full skill set.
Oh, look
at
this.
Look at this.
Gonna be jumping in. Edward, he's actually in a really bad spot here, but buys just enough time for his teammates to actually get that turtle.
Man, what a distraction he is for Edward on this Paquito. We've seen him do it time and time again, and in fashion this time around, of course. It's hard to really find a moment if you're MNNE EVOS when all these things, not just in one lane, but across the map, are falling apart.
And I think MNNE EVOS, I believe even in that position they could have killed Edward, right? But even that was a failed rotation. Even that was a failed attempt. So all the more Blacklist barreling on forward. 3,000 gold ahead. And a good chunk of it is on Oheb.
3,000 gold ahead, and with that, look at things falling into place here, item-wise.
Dear Lord, 5 minutes in, approaching 6, and he's already got 2 core items.
And there you go, they're hunting for Kirk once more.
Oh, Kirk.
Easy killings, easy pickings. Kirk had no opportunity to fight, even though he just activated his item.
And that's the danger of that Paquito locked in for Edward.
Kirk did not have Petrify off of cooldown. 5 seconds off since he died.
Tsaka
Something tells me he was waiting for that, and Blacklist time, well, again, growing this lead, approaching 4,000 gold now, and the pressure doesn't let go.
The Farsa hunting down that Leslie. It's happening.
It makes you wonder, going back to the draft again, they could have held off
abot
on that
sana yun
nice
eh.
pick, and they locked it in that first pick of the second phase, and they're getting punished for it here. There's no areas to work on this bottom side.
Dito, magkamali ang tawid.
This is going to be demolished by Oheb.
They're going stop to stop, man. It's a journey, it's a trip, and they're just taking pictures with turrets and then breaking them down. Something to note, since
So, mga pass game yung balak galing ng Blacklist International.
Unless he took fatal damage, to just keep going. Again, moving from stop.
Whoa! My golly!
Pumasok
These
din!
airstrikes are hitting like tanks.
Ganda ng ng Karsa. Abot
something you kind of forget. You don't
don't
see Karsa often anymore, but you remember real fast the burst damage, the big dam she provides.
And that's 100% turtle take rate for Blacklist in this final game, Game 5. Looking at the items once more. Oh!
Whoa! Yung dito ng Minana, makapasok sila sa backline ng
Nakita yun
Look for trouble. They're fighting back here.
Spam naman ni dito no, ni para sa
Mid. Minana looking like they're ready to
spam lang ng spam ng ano na ultimate eh.
Dashes in on him though. And again, the crowd control chain. He can't move. Kurt cast the skill
doon, Kurt is down.
Nothing, not an ult, not a petrify.
Kurt can't play.
Let Kurt play.
Let Kurt play.
Game sense yan.
We need him. MNNE EVOS here.
He's so far behind. Domin can't farm, man. Oh, wow, the DG on you.
Pero nakatutok siya doon sa may
He's getting two hits here.
Look at that.
My goodness, look at the damage on the Lolita, even with the shield.
That is pure zone.
The Lolita was an odd pick. Its first item too was a photo. I wonder what the game plan is here.
If you think about it, it's like, all right, we want shields, but what happens when there's just so much damage that the shields don't matter?
Ito, map awareness nila talaga.
Unfortunately, very much a non-factor at
They just let it out. They see the bulwark and they just let it go. Oh, Edward.
Edward.
How is he? Okay, he goes down to Essence.
That's right.
And there you go.
Nadali pa.
Everyone just make sure
Hindi na uwas ayun na lang.
while he is on Feather.
Okay, given the fact that this is a 6,000, almost 6.5 lead for Blacklist International, we cannot count out what happened in the previous game. They had an 8K lead, but this feels a little different. This
Meron pa, naka-receive pa.
For MNNE EVOS to actually pull this one on its head again, like pull it over in their favor. What is that going to take here? We know that they're massively behind.
May manti rapol ako para may budget pa rin.
Given MNNE EVOS' lineup in Game 4, they had the out. The utility that their roster had was through the roof. They were able to scatter, disperse, and target specifically Blacklist. But now MNNE EVOS, they're all over the place in the wrong ways. They have good fights because of the Lolita. They have done position with the Yu Zhong, and
yung nakapasok sa Mena.
in the face of the Fredrin.
Kasi yan sila per views yung bayad sa kanila eh. Mas marami kang viewers, mas mataas yung ano sa'yo bayad eh. Para may ano sila, may bracket, may range.
Yeah, Doming. It's so hard for people like Doming to actually
Mabot ng 5K.
because there's just no safe ways for him.
Yeah, and that's part of it is like, for Doming, this time around, you really don't have much except the flicker. And as soon as you use that, you're almost a sitting duck for them to take. So the
ano kasi yun, hating gabi yan, ayoko.
Doming needs to be crucial.
Masali din na matulog doon.
Okay, we're once again going to be in that position. We got to just defend our base, somehow pull a miracle off with this
4 hours.
lineup.
Minimum 4 hours sa ano, sa Mena.
They're able to pull that off, but even this, Oheb picks up the
Sa hating gabi pa yun.
Dati nakakapag-live pa ako dito ng 7 hours eh.
So already, they prep up for a MNNE. Let's see if they can defend.
Down goes Feather airstrike. Get damage has been done, but this is going to be Kurt trying to cancel out.
Ito na, play.
That's the classic interaction.
Sinabay lang
Right?
dito.
Go in for the direct
Mabawas kasi yun si Oheb.
But the push is already done here for
Papatras
Blacklist.
si Kurt.
Alright, good defense by
Ano niya yung anak ni Daga eh, ano?
Inhibitors.
Oh, yan, pumasok na siya.
Blacklist International at bay, but for how long?
Gets more.
Dalawang pusa namin ang anak para
Hold on. Yeah, MNNE EVOS is making it happen right now.
Oh,
Look at the damage.
Good damage. And Yue, back off cooldown here.
Isang lima, isang apat.
Click dyan. Kaya ko na yung TV. Marami silang ano, kuting.
Packs a lot of punch here in this lineup.
Alright. I'd like to mention something else that MNNE
Dahan-dahan dito lang bumabawi yung
able to move out of their base, at least for now.
Blacklist. Hawak yung buong mapa. Hindi makabanti dito yung MNNE.
Close and also protect Doming. But again, we've made it a clear point that Doming is so good at protecting
Nakaabang na
Doming.
mamaya ang Fnatic Onyx.
But after that, the only other semblance of vision that MNNE EVOS has is Lancy throwing random skills into bushes. And then maybe, on another asterisk note, is Kirk with the Black Dragon form. But that means you spent your ult. So where do you go if you're MNNE EVOS? It's so tough to hold out. That means they have to, again, once more, go into a defensive mindset.
Yeah, I'm thinking like another 8 minutes. 6 to 8 minutes for MNNE EVOS here, which might mean they give up even the next Lord, let that get taken, work in their base.
Which worked well for them in Game 4. So that means it's better if they make that decision now and play for that outcome. As for the other side, Blacks International, they have to understand that that's what MNNE EVOS is going for, and that's what will benefit them the most. Go for the juggler. Man, end it as quick as possible.
And with that, Lord's going to come up. It's going to go ahead and spawn MNNE EVOS. We saw them getting in position at least to ultimately, I just think, again, they go ahead, let that get taken, and get ready for this defense real quick. Of course, with the type of firepower, with a 10,000 gold lead, in the tank to defend once again at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is more on. Is there a possibility of MNNE having everyone's inside the base? And what are the tools they have to make those pickoffs happen? A Turtle Guard, maybe a Numenon Blast Catch. Very conditional, right?
Yep.
Because you don't want to throw KZen in front.
Yes. If Blacklist gets picked off, whose fault is that? Blacklist.
Blacklist.
Right?
Yes,
MNNE EVOS has no way to displace heroes in a way that will not hurt them in return.
Ba't nag-ulti yung Mixana dun? Sinayang niya yung ulti niya.
Break, something's gonna give.
Yeah, something's gonna give.
He's
gonna back off, going back into the defense. Edwards on top side. He is working on that turret. And the fighter still has here. OMS gonna be called out. Back up, allows the kill. Now, MNNE are back on the defense, clearing that Lord, losing on 2 inhibitor turrets.
Still a 2 for 2. They lose to inhibitors, yes. But that just explains how well
Respect sa Blacklist.
right now. They took 2 on the way
Hindi sila lumalim dun.
And
Natali sila ng ano?
they didn't lose. They didn't lose, and so that kind of thing can happen one more time, I would say. And if it does slip through, but you see this, right? You see the damage being pumped out by Doming. As long as he is alive, he's working on the BOD, I believe now. He's already got that, he's got the Berserker Shrew, he's got the Endless Battle, he's got the Sea Halberd, so BOD locked in will be a huge threat, unless he goes, of course, for Wind of Nature to deal with some of that defensive ability. But right now, this is crucial for MNNE EVOS. They have to stick together, they cannot let it picked off, they cannot deal with losing anyone right now. And you can see, the shields provided with this Lolita, with that Flask of the Oasis as well, it could end up helping them, sustain through some of that fights. And then that's where really
45 seconds for the next Lord. Kaya makuha na MNNE EVOS.
You went for the bush check.
Y'all saw that, yeah? That was a Queen's Wings on Lolita.
Boom.
Can't confirm, yeah, it's real.
Oh.
And look at this. It's going to be another one charged up. Haji, this time is going to be in trouble. Where's the backup coming in from Blacklist? Does not seem to be ready as Haji
Haji's down. Meron makuha dito. Wow. Nakatakas pa.
Exit Fred. Not able to get in position.
Team fight excellence from MNNE EVOS.
This is looking a whole lot like the makings of the previous game in a different fashion.
It's deja vu, folks.
Deja vu. What is going on here?
And where is that damage coming from? Y'all saw how when Kirk landed, you could have sworn he was going to die. He just, I don't know if he did it or if Lancy did it, chunked down the 3 members of Blacklist around him.
Blacklist.
What was that?
Si Yuwe may ulta dito, si Suwi may ult na rin.
But they're going for it.
Tamang pagbitaw na lang.
And right now, it is going to be Blacklist this time around going in.
Sabang maaari yun.
Zui not hitting anyone with
Grabe,
the
sakit
freezer
naman ng
spell.
blood eh.
Uy, galing na ginawa niyo. Spider-Man.
Kirk falls. Oh, it's a 4v4. Kaizen gets that
Uy,
word.
sidestep
But
ang
the
Spider-Man.
Blacklist.
Oh, do they want
get
to fight
more.
it? Oh, Edward's on
Yes,
the
tumatak na dito ang Minana.
Oh, JJ looking for Doming maybe.
Spotted.
But the Lord is going to be
Ganda ng Royal Spider-Man doon para makuha Steel Service.
Right
Sidestep.
now, they gotta clear this Lord. They gotta deal with it. Look
Tangina,
at the
sakit
damage!
ng ano.
What?
That is spicy.
Uy, nakatay! Kaizen!
Miles in trouble here, not having to shield up anymore.
Alright, nakatay. Wala na. Spider-Man is down.
And there goes the shielding and the healing.
Ulat na Orin.
Oh, this is tough here.
I think
MNNE
Black
Evos
making the call.
Just making the call here.
Arsa.
4v3. Not much wave clear available for them.
Wala, wala pa.
That's it. And
Para sa gamit lang yun. Eh, nabila.
They are going to be the ones pushing into the play-in.
Yan na.
During the attack.
Hihintay mo. Next game.
And everybody on the black
Hanapit Omi versus Blacklist.
Tangina, tinorin yun. Ang
As
sakit
it
ng
looked
Eblo.
so close.
Grabe yung pagpunta sa Spider-Man is dun. Parang 3 hit ka yata.
Hindi,
GGO
tumatagos.
played for MNNE Evos. The
Gagi
whole
pa
ball
eh.
came out to support them, and it came so close, the wire. Could have sworn they were going to make game 5.
Buhay ka mga agents.
The whole MLB sports world.
First time nila makano eh.
It did feel
Oh,
like
man.
it, right? It did.
Dami sana nakabiyak oh.
MNNE Evos, was it gonna be
Yun na basta-basta ano eh.
against Spider-Man?
Nakakuha ng Blacklist yung pangalan eh.
Damn it.
Pumalag yung Minana dito. Kaya ano, puro sa Minana.
Oh, man. It came down to the wire.
Achievement nga sa niya, Minana kasi maganda
Oo.
yung ano nila eh.
All the tricks and the saves. The
Solid, solid.
Leslie from Doming. Even the Lolita from Spider-Miles, which it was so close to working out. And again, there was very little deaths on Spider-Miles. I could have sworn I owe him an apology, but today only one team moves forth through the first round of the play.
Eliminated na po.
Max International.
MNNE Evos.
I gotta take a breather for that. I was holding on the edge of my seat.
I could have sworn if Miles didn't die there, I could have been good.
Well, again, let's go ahead and throw it over on stage with our host Hans and Mara to hear from our teams.
Thank you, MINANA EVOS, for giving it your all this season para sa tagumpay.
MINANA EVOS, what is your final message? You're hearing the applauses from everybody in the
Hello,
audience.
Ben
The final
Dagmoa.
message for this season.
Ayun, yung story din, no? Before, kasi we're just manifesting and to be part of the pro scene, no? And sabihin ko na lang din, biggest inspiration namin talaga Blacklist. Bago pa kami nag-start, it's a huge privilege for us to fight in this huge crowd. Grabe yung energy. Sana nag-enjoy. Lahat na pumunta, sulit.
Hello,
Rooting for
Juggernaut.
Blacklist. Thank you so much. Kay Trike. Andyan, tol. Ako, sobrang proud ako sa team. Pumiglas kami. Nalabas namin lahat ng kailangan namin ilabas.
Like the
No
stream,
regrets.
guys. Thank you.
Diba? Kaya sabi ko, thank you so much talaga sa mga nandito sa venue. And di pa rin, tuloy pa rin yun, pangarap. Thank you sa opportunity.
And thank you, MINANA EVOS. Tuloy pa
Walang
rin
naman eh.
ang inyong pangarap next season. MINANA EVOS, you may now take your bow.
Great.
Nahirapan to yung Blacklist. Yan. Kudos sa ano.
Let's give
Sino
them
ba
a
yan?
big
Si Tito
round of
Bogi?
applause,
Sa Bagi
everybody.
Ang mga lang.
Kamangalan.
Iba noobs.
Hindi, isa ito, yung alam, Tito Bogi ba yan? Isang ba isa?
And now, let's call in the winner
Tara, di pinakita.
of our first play-ins, Blacklist International.
Yan na, Blacklist versus Onyx. Naglaban
Pagod
pa
na
rin.
sila. Pagod na sila, wala na. Paano kaya sa Onyx?
Congratulations to Blacklist International.
Buhay mo mga punch niyan. O, laban kay ano.
Kelra.
Nagkaroon kayo ng
Kelra.
bagong break. Technically,
Kelra
all of
versus
the other
Onyx.
teams had a 2-week break.
Mag-iinit na naman sila.
to showcase this kind of play pagdating ng playoffs?
Nag-scrim na po kami, tas hindi na rin po kami nag-day off. Tuloy-tuloy lang po yung practice namin. Parang dinedicate po talaga namin yung 2 weeks para sa practice lang.
Practice, and they got what they wanted, Mara. Nakuha nila itong panalo na to to continue their run in MPL Philippines.
Oham, congratulations! Now, we've seen a lot of Moskov in this series compared sa ating regular season. How good is Moskov in the meta right now?
Kasi parang yung nagiging meta kasi ngayon palakasan ng scaling Kung sino yung mas malakas na scaling hero sa Golden, parang sila yung mas nananalo sa late game Kaya parang naging meta si Moskov kasi maganda yung scaling niya. Nakakapalag siya sa mga scaling na Nathan niya kakalog.
O tips naman para sa mga manonood natin?
Farm lang.
Farm lang. Farm lang yan. Yan yung sagot nun.
2 words. This time around, Haji?
Farm lang talaga.
I think I don't need to say this anymore, but I'm gonna ask you this question, G. With the gauntlet format, of course you got the win today against MNNE EVOS, pero hindi pa tapos ang araw na
Pero
International.
sa Echo maganda talaga ang jersey tsaka jacket.
A few hours or a few minutes, kakalabanin nyo ang Fnatic Onyx Philippines. How is the team holding up after this win? Kamusta ang
Malaking world team to yung Fnatic.
Hindi
ko kasi
Siguro mindset namin ngayon kailangan muna namin magpahinga Nakakapagod.
Pagod talaga, magkakasunod
Ngayon na kayo sa inyong first match. Shot calling ng na ba? Ito na ba ang best mode ng Blacklist International?
Tingin ko
sana nung seat nila, pahinga sila Pero hindi, buong best of all.
Dapat yan Dapat data isang game, tapos pahinga ng, mga ilang oras. Ilang oras pa pahinga nila? Isa lang?
I see it.
Ngayon, isang oras yata yun yung break nila.
Someone with a fresh cut,
Parang
Edward.
nakaka-drain yan.
Oo.
We see it. I think kita nilang lahat.
Game nga lang,
Lord.
putang ina
Now, I know you guys have played 5 games. Pero para sa'yo ba, how does this feel for you? Is this an advantage for you guys na meron kayong momentum heading
Sanay naman yung sila dyan, yung tatlo.
or is this the other way around or the complete opposite? What do you think?
Kumbaga, matak na sana sa long game tong tatlo, yung MB3.
May momentum na kami tsaka nakapag-warm up na ng sobra para mamaya sa Onyx.
Seems like they're ready, Mara.
Edward, shoutout naman sa lahat ng mga agents here, lahat ng mga fans na nanonood. Shoutout!
Shoutout sa inyo, agents.
Congratulations once again to Blacklist International. You may now take your bow and take your walk of victory. Blacklist International. Moving on sa next round.
They're still in the running. And just like in Season 12, they want to make sure that they'll leave a mark. Same, probably a major lower bracket run.
And we're gonna break it down for you, so we're gonna go to our analyst. Ranmar, pasok.
Drain na drain yung Blacklist dito. Baka isang oras na break, okay na yun.
Blacklist International advance to the next play-in game. But before we talk about that, kailangan natin pag-usapan ano nangyari sa game number 5. And we have to start first with showing who the MVP is and discussing the key to victory for both teams. MVP, game number 5 is going to be you! 5-0-4, and you have to respect Blacklist International for taking it back to basics. There was a time where teams were thinking, ibalik nga natin yung Leslie, and then there was a time people said, pick na lang kayo ng Farsa, mahirapan ang isang Leslie. And we saw it from the rotations of Blacklist International. To put it simply, it's like Farsa going up against a Diggy. Every time may chance ka na makita mo yung Diggy, you pop the ultimate to force out the time's journey to clear waves. For Blacklist International, US assignment was simple. Pumunta ka sa gold lane,
use the feathered airstrike para ma-zone out si Domeng and to delay the farm of the Leslie as long as possible para makapag-ikot tayo as 4, as 5 so that MNNE EVOS will be busy trying to make a comeback with gold, maghanap ng farm. At yun nga ang nakita natin for the majority of the game. Especially in the early game, Domeng had the toughest time as a Leslie against the lineup with one key pick. That last phase pick, Farsa, paired up alongside the Paquito. Na-predict yun ng mga casters on the Filipino broadcast, and they mentioned that the burst for the Leslie will be deadly kung maabot nila. And majority of the game, they don't need to worry because they have the Farsa with them. But then MNNE EVOS, kumapit sila. Their kapit gaming strategy that we saw. And even though merong Farsa na pwede magbigay ng daming hirap sa buhay ng isang Leslie, well, MNNE EVOS started dealing with the Farsa. And nararamdaman na ng Blacklist International yung damage ng isang Leslie. But as you look at the highlights, especially this key fight, we go and revisit the key to victory, the Infinix key to victory for both teams. Mahaba ang serye na to. This is a long series. Adjust and adapt accordingly. And that is the theme of the story of MNNE EVOS versus Blacklist International for this series. Both of them adjusted and adapted accordingly. Whether it's in the draft, whether it's in the picks, whether it's in the fights. And we saw especially in that last Lord fight, it really looked good for MNNE EVOS. Akala na natin this is their chance to take a good hold of the game to push out. But then, Blacklist adjusted and adapted to the positionings of MNNE EVOS, leading to Blacklist taking this at 17 minutes and 16 seconds. Rupture was the emblem talent picked up there by Yue. Of course, very traditional for a Farsa to pick up. And interestingly enough, in terms of the item build path, very unique. Prioritizing the Lightning Truncheon right away to get that cooldown reduction. And of course, the boots for magic penetration, rushing it into a Divine Glaive, knowing that may kalaban pa rin tayong Barats, we still have the Leslie and even the Yu Zhong to worry about. Dahil yung mga miyembro ng MNNE EVOS, specifically Kaizen, nag-prioritize siya na mag-build ng Athena Shield. Sabi dito ni Yue, mag-build na lang ako ng Divine Glaive kagad and then go into the Holy Crystal and then into the Blood Wings. That's why ang dami nagtataka, ba't ang sakit na ni Yue? Great itemization from Yue. Prioritization of items was correct for the mid laner of Blacklist International. 784 GPM for OHEB, and of course, the majority of the damage shared with you at 10,000 in the lead. And I want to hammer this point on, just how close this game was, especially there in the end. Kung mas linis lang yung approach ng MNNE EVOS in that final Lord fight, nakakahabol na sa damage ang MNNE EVOS. The Leslie and the Vexana together, they were starting to feel the pain and the damage of both. What a story and what a series to start off what we are labeling as the closest season so far. If you doubted that, you were just treated to a 5-game showcase of what it means to fight in MPL Philippines by MNNE EVOS and Blacklist International. One last bit, we have to revisit the heat map. Saan na ba yun? Heat map, yun, no? Late lang onte. It's the rotations of... Guess natin. Sino to? Yue? No. Haji. Rotations to ni Haji. Yue? Oh, it's Yue. Oh, it's there in the upper right corner, yeah. So for the 5 minutes, Yue, you see here, he was everywhere in the map, prioritizing the objectives at the right time. Yung initial pick-off ng Blacklist International onto Kaizen by minute 2. The first blood of the game came from the fact with great rotationing there. But you look in the lower part of the heat map, there's more of it showing up in the gold lane. Again, that's because of the priority of Yue and Blacklist International to stop that Leslie. If that Leslie free farm, pakaiba yung storya ng laban natin. But what happened was, Blacklist International knew what they were up against, knew what they faced, and were able to take the cake. I also really want to commend Haji in this game. The Edith, the confidence, the parang major lack of hesitation on the side of Haji. You don't see him hesitate. He sees a play, he makes it. If he needs to commit the flicker, he will go for it. So they went ahead and got it. What a series to start off the day, but again, we're not done yet. It's one of the newest organizations, Fnatic Onyx PH, will be facing up against this Blacklist International. So just a quick checkup on the Champions Arena. Champions Arena, make some noise! Still going good. We still have one more series for the day. The final elimination match in this play-in round. Blacklist International versus the newly minted Fnatic Onyx Philippines. And I am looking forward to see what else we'll see in terms of strategies, in terms of the drafts, and the gameplay. But before that, let's check up on our two hosts, for they will have a new segment for us leading up to MSC 2024. Mara and Hans, paso.
Welcome to See You on MSC, where we'll feature the teams from all over the world who have qualified for the upcoming international tournament happening in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
And our first stop is North America dahil ang kanilang kampiyon doon ay walang iba kundi ang Bloodthirsty Kings.
That's right. Now, Hans, look, we're seeing a lot of stats right here. Take a look at that. And everything seems to be impressive, especially the match and the game win rate.
We also have to take note of the hero pool na meron sila. They pull off heroes like the Alpha, Uranus, Hilda, yung mga kamakailan lang para sa atin sa MPL Philippines. Pero ngayon, hindi na natin masyado madalas nakikita. That's interesting.
That's right. And after BTK secured their slot for the upcoming MSC 2024, there's been a lot of talks that's noting that it's the return of the NA King, ohmyveenus. What do you think about that?
That's gonna be big. I mean, siya ang naglagay ng North America in the MLBB map by what he did kamakailan lang nung M3 World Championship. And I'm sure that this is going to be exciting, lalo na para sa kanya, heading forward to another international appearance.
Now, aside from him, who else do you think that we should watch out for?
Basically, we have to watch out for everyone. Because there's our fellow Filipinos, this is Mielo at si Basic. And you also have to take note of Cole World na nasa roam position, and also Mark Cutie in the mid lane. Those five are formidable and they really have to watch out for that.
Ang galing ng performance. Ang ganda talaga ng performance ni Cole World. Actually, yung mastery niya sa Kaja and Matilda, 100%.
That is mastery at its finest. And you also have to take note of the Fred rin, itong si ohmyveenus at 69% in 16 games. You can't really give a lot of objective-centric junglers to this guy, lalo na kung ganun yung kaya niyang i-pull off.
That's right. So we're definitely looking forward to the return of ohmyveenus in the international scene. Kaya for BTK, MSCU! Supportahan nyo ang ating top 2 teams ng MPL Philippines Season 13, our grand finalists en route sa ating MLBB Mid-Season Cup 2024 in partnership with Esports World Cup. Nagaganapin ngayong July.
Dahil maglalaban-laban ang napakaraming mga kupunan doon para sa life-changing na $3 million prize pool.
Now, the action hasn't stopped there. For more MLBB, stay tuned only here on MPL Philippines.
The 13th season of MPL Philippines is brought to you by the following sponsors. Smart, the official telco partner of MPL Philippines Season 13. Infinix GT Series, outplay the rest. Experience the MPL PH Season 13 action live at SM South Mall Events Hall in Las Piñas City. Get your tickets now via SM Tickets. Don't miss any MPL PH action by following our official Facebook page and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Follow MPL PH on TikTok as well for more content. Don't miss the latest news and updates about the MLBB Philippine esports scene through our esports news tab. Visit the esports page on your MLBB app now and be a part of Lakas ng Pinas. To ensure the equality and fairness of our games, MPL Philippines is also monitored and supervised by the Games and Amusements
Hello
Board.
guys, bukas naman ulit. Salamat. Thank you. Bukas ulit, kita-kits.
Generation Z, authentic, real. They thrive in the mundane.
GG's.
But let's be real, nobody knows what they want. Only they truly understand.